The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, beautiful people. It is full first round Fallout Feel Good Friday, April 29th, 2022. This show begins now. Can't thank you enough for joining us yet again. Last night was obviously spectacular. I mean, the first round of the NFL draft was a story of runs, wasn't it, boys?
It really was.
First, it was the defensive ends. Then it was the offensive tackles. Then it was the wide receivers. Then it was, oh no, there ain't no wide receivers left. Let's go trade. The only quarterback that was taken was Kenny Pickett to the Pittsburgh Steelers. If the Pittsburgh Steelers don't take Kenny Pickett there, does the rest of the NFL think to themselves, well, Tomlin and Colbert have been able to see this guy for the last 5 years. How come they didn't take Pickett? If he didn't take Pickett, would Pickett then fall mightily because of such a thing, especially in the NFL when, did they not go to his birthday party? Could potentially come up. It was an incredible evening. We can't thank you enough for joining us last night. We did obvious hilarious numbers, so thank you so much for watching.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much to Ari Mirov for going to work, letting those things eat. Also, Doran Dickerson, former player, also tipping picks out there. Congrats to him getting into the game.
Baby.
Appreciate that. I guess we were ahead of the main network broadcast by a few minutes on some of the picks. We did not mean to do that. We do not apologize for it at all. That's just the internet being fucking better than you guys yet again.
There you go.
It was a fun night, obviously, at Boston Connor, dressed up in a
Stormtrooper, sure. Star Trooper.
Stormtrooper costume. And you guys, New England Patriots, make a massive move and draft somebody that Sean McVay thought was going to be on the board at 100 and something. Good old
Cole Strange. Yeah. Unbelievable. I'm juiced. I mean, once you saw the face mask, you knew, okay, this guy's going to be a hell of a player. And I listened to People a Stranger when they're a stranger. Probably like 100 times since we've drafted him. So I'm juiced. I'm already printing the 69 jerseys with Strange on the back. So, I mean, we're back to the Super Bowl.
You guys should make hats that just have the metal.
Oh, just the duck face mask?
Hat and the glasses. That have the vibe, like
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I love the fact that New England Patriots fans are the only fans that are like, yep, that's what Bill does. We don't know who the fuck this guy is, but hey, did you guys win? Fucking 6 Super Bowls just like that? Have you? No? Okay. If this guy wants to draft somebody from Nobody University, we got nothing but faith. He's actually mocking the rest of the NFL with every single draft pick he makes because he builds the team prior to the draft even happening. Did not expect Cole Strange to go off the board. No. Did not know Cole Strange existed, but I think he's going to be a player. Yeah. There were some surprise picks last night, I think. I think the biggest surprise for me, though, was at one point, Mad Mel Kiper was on the screen with Jason Glazer, who was also on the screen with Coach Lou Holtz, who was also on the screen with Coach Sirianni, who was also on the screen somehow at the end with MCDC. Yeah. Now, Ty, you weren't here for any of it. No. You missed it all. What a night for a lot of your favorite people on the Draft Spectacular.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look forward to it every year. It's always a lot of fun. Doing it with you guys is the best. And one of the most fun parts is we get to come in today, and I really don't remember or know anything that happened last night. Like, it's kind of just a blur. Had a lot of time to sit on what the Packers did, and once all those receivers went real early, I kind of knew, okay, they're probably not going to get one of these guys. They had apparently 6 guys on their board that had first-round grades, but, they get 2 dog defenders who will probably, make a day one impact. And then, it wasn't as exciting as I think a lot of Packers fans would have hoped it would be, but I think they're in a good position. You just got to go get a receiver today.
Obviously, Aaron joined us last night for an incredible conversation. Can't thank him enough. He was...
Thank you, Aaron.
I feel like he's dialed in with the Packers organization front office a lot more than he's ever been in 18 years. Shout out to him finally getting that right to know what the hell's going on with the team that he guides, and he's been around the longest. But I think him telling you guys, like, hey, we're going to be all right. All right. He went on an entire run about second round wide receivers, third round, fourth round, fifth round. I think he even dove in there. It was like, that's one of those positions that's very tough to tell. It seems like he did get a lot of information from Goody going in the draft, like, hey, this is what we can expect, this is what we're thinking. If these guys are available, we have to take them. But if they're not available, which is what we're thinking is going to happen, which is exactly what Cliff Kingsbury told us, by the way.
Yeah.
Cliff Kingsbury said, felt like where we were, those wide receivers were going to be gone. So they made the decision about Hollywood, like, I think a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
Right.
Genius.
With where they were, they're like, we can trade actually just the pick itself for a guy who's already proven, a guy that wants to get out of the system that Baltimore was running via the I Am Athlete, I believe, conversation that Hollywood Brown has had since the trade has been announced. He said, hey, Lamar, I love you, man. It's not you. It's just the system that we run here. I'm a wide receiver. If I ever want to make any money in this thing, I'm going to have to catch some goddamn balls, more balls. You're the guy. I appreciate you. Baltimore Ravens should do what they do with you, let you do your own thing. You're an alien. But with that being said, like, I got a business for myself as well. And Arizona now is packed to the gills. Cliff Kingsbury joining us last night looking as cool as he looked.
God. Clean.
And the fact that they were able to keep that trade under wraps without all the insiders, we will certainly ask Ian Rapoport how that happened.
Yeah.
Ian Rapoport's so busy boozing and reporting fake contract numbers, he doesn't even know the Hollywood Browns are already on a fucking plane to Arizona.
Unbelievable.
Before the draft even starts, this guy, yesterday, he's on a plane to Arizona so they can be there at the draft party, which looked awesome.
Unbelievable.
The Cardinals are doing everything right now. I would love to be a Cardinals fan. They should be pumped. Ty, you had a hell of a night, buddy.
Appreciate it.
Incredibly proud of you, man. That was awesome to watch. At Tone Diggs, your team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, take the only quarterback on the board. I referenced this in the open, but it's very real, and I think it would be something that NFL coaches would look at and NFL front office would look at. They've seen every single thing they've heard about every shit this guy has taken, every towel he has maybe not put into the hamper, every janitor that he could have potentially pissed off, chef, parking attendant, you name it. They have had him in their building for 5 years. Some people would say, well, that's a little bit, isn't that cheating?
A little bit.
No one say that.
Some people will. I think
Tampering, I would say.
yeah, because they only get to go do dinner with Kenny Pickett the night before.
That's right.
The Steelers actually have it, and that's the benefit, I guess. I guess it's a benefit to go to the University of Pittsburgh. Not that there's many others. Okay, just would like that to be known. Oakland, terrible area. People are good. Pittsburghers are good people. Okay, but whatever the case,
not really
if
Pittsburgh.
they don't draft Kenny Pickett, I think I thought about this. I don't know, like 4 a.m. this morning because I couldn't sleep up till like 5:30 this morning or whatever. It was quite an adrenaline dump, I think, after that show. We were live for 5.5, 6 hours yesterday. I was thinking about that, though. If the Steelers are the only team that takes a quarterback, and it's not Kenny Pickett, I think that would have been bad news for Kenny. As I'm watching the draft, watch along there, Narduzzi's there, Kenny Pickett's there, his family's there, his lady's there. If the Steelers draft somebody outside of that building or that family, I think there's an immediate what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Instead, everything else, it appears that they were meeting with everybody else was just to see if they were a baseline alongside Kenny Pickett. You have your quarterback of the future in the Steelers' minds, I think, in Kenny Pickett. How do you feel this morning after getting to sleep on it, getting to take it all in? Mitchell Trubisky would be a great guy to learn from, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Been a
Especially
starter.
after Buffalo.
Been a backup, been a starter. He's been in a terrible situation, been on a team that's been on a run. Feels like everything's really going good. And after you see Kenny Pickett react to that draft, I'm pumped for him. I am fucking incredibly pumped for him and for the Steelers.
Yeah, a few things. I was incredibly pumped to see how happy he was that he was going there. And you guys always say, like, when I wear like something, the same shirt every game, oh, you think you're important. In this situation, I do not think I'm important. I do not think that I know more than Tomlin and Colbert when it comes to football or drafting players. And Tomlin and Colbert both, especially Tomlin, seemed fucking ecstatic to get him.
Tomlin's actually skipping into the room
Correct.
to call Kenny
Yeah.
Pickett. What was he say? All right. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. To call Kenny Pickett to make the pick.
So he calls Kenny. He was very happy to call Kenny. Texans said that they got a call from 20 to move up to 15 to potentially move back to 20. So I think the Steelers were maybe worried about the Saints taking him too. So they were potentially going to move up to get Kenny. Colbert said that they didn't think he'd be there at 20. So everything that they're saying is happy. They know everything about the kid. So if you watch him for 4 years, and I trust that they think that they know who he is and that they think he's a first rounder. So I'm very, very ecstatic. And then the cherry on the top is Mason Rudolph should be cut any day.
All right.
Now.
Cut him. Cut him now.
All right. Yinzer Depp. What's up, dude? Great to see you back, Nick.
Good to see you as well.
You had a hell of a night. A lot of cocaine references.
Hey, it felt like you probably had to be on some to make it through that, but hell of a job by all you boys.
Thank you. It was a fun night. Thank you for all your work. Foxy, great work in the back.
And a baby Foxy.
Zito, way to spin the plates.
Thank you, Z.
Hey, Gumpy, way to get the internet involved.
And a baby Goose.
Hey, way to rip there, Bill. Way to go, Bruce.
baby,
Way to go,
baby,
Daddy. Way to go,
Bruce,
CFL.
Bill,
Phil.
What do you say, boys?
Thanks for all of our guests. I am running on fumes today, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
I got SmackDown tonight.
I know.
Oh, shit. Good luck.
Yeah, have fun.
Boomer, huh? Talk about your fucking...
Yeah, boom. And he took a few days off last week, too.
Man, what a life. The draft is cool, man.
Yeah.
It brings so many fake storylines. This morning I saw Stephen A., who I got a lot of respect for, battling against Swagoo. Did the Pittsburgh Steelers make a mistake in drafting it? How the fuck do we know? And I'm okay with our show being the only show that says we have no idea how any of these draft picks are going to go.
Absolutely.
For years and years and years, there's been the instant reaction that has led to fans having instant reaction, which has led to organizations having to deal with expectations in players' careers almost being undercut before they even get started. 32 dudes were drafted last night. One of them might be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
20 of them might be a Hall of Famer.
Cole Strange.
We have 31 of them might be a Hall of Famer. Cole Strange might be the only one that isn't a Hall of Famer.
Whoa, that's not true.
There's a chance of that happening.
No, that's not true.
No, there's a chance.
No chance. No, there's no chance that happens.
Listen, Mr. Strange is going to do his thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and after seeing him, he is huge.
Yo, he's huge.
That guy might be covering kicks.
Yeah, he's a house.
That dude might be covering kicks with how yoked I seen him. But nonetheless, we have no idea about any of these dudes, how they'll fit into the system, how they'll fit into the culture, how they'll fit into the city, how they'll fit into with the coaches. Because you got to remember the coaches that they've had throughout their entire careers. When they were in high school, they were by far the best players. When they were in college, definitely Cole Strange. They were by far the best players. Not that the offensive lineman would change. But when you get to the NFL, there's a different level of, everything around you. How will these guys adjust to all the greatest players of their generations and the 4 generations before them all being in the same locker room? We don't know. It's so incredibly difficult to predict. But it's easy to say that a couple teams seemed to have a great draft last night. Those who had multiple picks in the first round, you'd assume that they'd done good.
Yeah.
For instance, Giants feels like Giants did good.
Yeah. Couple studs.
Way to go. Hopefully it works out. We are very pumped for him. Hopefully, if Thibodeau becomes an absolute stallion, champion,
Yeah, chomp.
we're going to have to remember that for, how the draft smoke and mirror bullshit conversation happens, because he was number 1 in January. He goes to 5 to the Giants. I assume the Giants are pumped.
Sure.
Giants also get another pick in.
Evan Neal.
Evan Neal, who's
Best pass blocker in the draft. Probably.
he was the first guy off the board in everybody's eyes like a month and a half ago as an offensive tackle. Then you think about the Jets. They had 2 in the first round, and then they traded in to get 3
Jermaine Johnson,
in the first round. So the Bills are the Bills. The Dolphins have gone all in free agency. Bills Patriots are the Bills Patriots.
Bingo.
The Jets made a fucking massive play in the draft last night. They had 2. They got one, got another one. I feel like they did good.
Yeah.
I feel like they done very good in there as well.
And then I like the Giants not fucking around and taking Hutchinson, and then Jameson Williams, who, if he didn't tear his ACL, probably would have been the number 1 receiver off the board. And I love that they decided, like, hey, let's fucking trade back in and go get our guy. Like, I thought that was a sweet move.
You know who else I think won?
Who's that?
Detroit Lions, baby.
Yeah, 100%.
Does it matter? This is what we were just talking about.
Yeah.
Does it matter? Now, Darius Butler last night, immediately upon old Cuzzy getting drafted to the Lions, Jameson Williams, he goes, I feel fucking terrible for that. Which, quite a reaction from the internet. Orlovsky said, oh, shut up, Darius. Tej Lang said, fuck off, Butler, is what he said. Evan Fox, immediately upon hearing it, I think you just kind of scraped it off because you hadn't slept in like 4 days or whatever at that point. But the Lions made some big, get Aiden Hutchinson over there.
Yeah.
Michigan man back in the building, maybe a pillar culture builder for MCDC. Penei Sewell. I mean, you guys got to be excited in Detroit.
I love the Hutchinson pick because it was a no-brainer, but them being aggressive moving up to get the receiver. That's something I've never seen them do before. This is going to sound crazy, but for the first time in my life, I actually think I trust the Lions front office. Even though they've only been there for 1 year, they have not made a bad move. I don't think they've made a single bad move yet.
Paid Jared Goff like $150 million.
A lot of money.
Got rid of Matthew Stafford.
They had to do that, though. Stafford was going to leave no matter what.
I don't know. You said some things. Yeah.
Stafford was gone no matter what. They actually made a pretty good trade. And now they've turned that into a wide receiver, the best wide receiver in the draft for what most people are saying.
Okay, maybe. With that being said, you guys paid Jared Goff a salary nobody else thought what they were going to be able to pay, and he won a couple games for you guys.
Couple games.
But it is a transition period, and I'm happy that Detroit is happy. Hey, you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm happy you're happy. I'm pumped you're pumped.
I like what they did.
I love what you're doing.
I actually walked in today and said, I have the best team in the office now.
Yeah.
He did.
Verbatim.
All right. See, that's
to
the problem
write it
with the
down.
draft.
What?
That's the problem with the draft.
No, it's a great.
Yeah, I love that. That's the best part.
The best defensive end in the league and now the best wide receiver in
The hope in that guy's voice
What?
is awesome, and it makes it even better when week 4 rolls around and their season's already over.
Well,
Like,
week 4, I don't think Jameson will be back yet by then. Because he's ending up on the PUP, the physically unable to perform
He's
list.
tough. He can make it back. He's pretty tough.
they have.
Well, he is Detroit tough. And that is something that, that would what previous regimes would do in Detroit. Hey, pal, let's force you back here and just fuck up your
need you back
entire
week
career.
one.
We don't
Yeah,
care.
you're right.
Yeah, not MCDC and Brad. No way they're not doing it, especially with Sheila. Sheila Ford-Hamp's running that thing well. Hopefully they'll pay Calvin Johnson and be able to get out of that curse. There was another team I just wanted to chat about.
Well, Fox, you just mentioned about trades. If we're talking about trades, I think the Eagles were the ones that
There it
really
is.
ran away.
Yeah, Howie Roseman, the accountant that's running a football team over there in Philadelphia, where just a couple of years ago felt like everything was on fire. They built a statue for fucking 2 guys that they literally ran out of the building.
Yep.
Less than a year and a half later, they had Johns in Philly eating horse poop off the parade streets. That's how pumped Philly was. First Super Bowl in like 50 years. Philadelphia was ecstatic. Go 13, 14 months later, the entire franchise and program is in disarray, a full disaster, absolute hellhole. Philadelphia's like, here we go again.
Yeah.
Obviously, we've seen what happened in Philadelphia during the entire last couple of years. Philadelphia, we're dead, we're dead, we're dead. Jalen Hurts seems to be a guy. And if you look back on what Howie Roseman did with his picks for Carson Wentz, trading him, and now, he's going to be a great commander.
That's right.
He gets Devontae Smith with one of those picks, and then he gets fucking A.J. Brown with another one of those picks. Howie Roseman with his cool hair and super accountant-like look, he has gone through, the entire wave of, I'm good, I stink, I'm back on top again. The Eagles got to be pumped about last night, and we saw a video of Mike Vrabel coming out of the war room. I don't think Vrabel was necessarily exactly thrilled that fucking A.J. Brown was on the move from Tennessee. Darius Butler starts responding, who's Tannehill going to throw the ball to down there? They got to figure it out. They picked up Treylon Burks out of Arkansas.
Just
Arkansas.
Pig Suey! Pig Suey!
Happy birthday, John Daly, yesterday, by the way.
Happy
birthday, John.
Woo, Big Suey.
Shout out.
So they get a young wide receiver. It's going to be cheaper than A.J. Brown, and his comparison is to A.J. Brown. But, just like we're making comparisons, I don't know, like Calvin Johnson and Julio Jones and A.J. Brown.
Yeah.
Who knows if that's going to work out? Let's assume they will. They got good coaches down there. But anytime you lose a guy, Hollywood or A.J., the whole entire program, franchise is probably going to be a bit pissed, but business decisions have to be made. Joining us now, NFL insider for NFL Network, NFL.com, and the league as a whole. Somehow he has managed to not be too boozed up in the city of sin.
Wow.
Joining us live from the NFL draft in Vegas, ladies and gentlemen, the host of the weekly wrap-up with Rap Sheet and Friends. He being Rap Sheet, us being friends, Ian Rapoport.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Trying to check your voice here to hear how banged up you've been getting out there in Vegas. You all right?
I just, not too many details, but was showered a little bit earlier, did my voice exercises in the shower. We're good. Feel great.
enough.
You sound a little different. Is that Vegas flu in the throat there?
No. It's the excitement over the big draft last night, which is why my voice sounds like this.
All right, let's dive into it.
Oh, hold on. I don't want to be rude. How was your extravaganza or spectacular or whatever it was?
Oh, fuck off. It was better than anything the NFL Network or ESPN or anybody else put out. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Looks like you had good guess.
Well,
I can tell.
Well, you couldn't join us because you're, on the television. You're doing the television, which is, hey, you crushed on there, by the way.
Baby,
All right, speaking of, you guys are supposed to be insiders. We rely on the likes of you and other networks, insiders, to let us know what's going on around the NFL because we don't have those connections, do we?
don't.
Not at all.
If we had those connections, we would hope to give back to the sports media world. Hollywood Brown was traded from the Ravens to the Cardinals a month and a half ago.
Yeah.
He was on a plane from Vegas yesterday during the day before the even draft to get to Arizona. How did nobody know about this, Ian? And how do you think the Baltimore Ravens fans are handling this entire thing?
Well, I think for the Baltimore Ravens fans, Eric DeCosta has done good enough work, really good work over the last decade or so that they should probably trust that he knows what he's doing. You're right, though. This was like ultimate secrecy. And I think for Hollywood Brown, he kind of mentioned it. Like, he tried to do it the right way. He requested a trade, had actually done it a couple times during his second season, during his third season. It was about the offense. It was about getting to a place where he could thrive and flourish. But for the Ravens, I think what they wanted was and I think people knew the Ravens always need receivers or looking for receivers and draft receivers. I think Eric DeCosta really wanted people to think that, really wanted people to kind of think that he was picking or thinking that he was going to take a receiver, or kind of, he wanted the uncertainty there. He didn't want it to get out that they were trading him just so people would kind of have like a guessing game as far as where he was actually picking. So from what I understand, it was basically like, we're going to do a deal. We're going to trade Hollywood Brown to the Cardinals. And if it gets out, we're not doing it.
Oh, really?
And so everyone involved kept it secret. I didn't find out, honestly, like some of these things I found out about early, like AJ Brown, I found out about yesterday, probably 2 that it was in the works. This one I did not know, just because everyone kept it so private.
Okay, hey, take your pods out. I think that's why you sound so boozed up.
Pods up?
Yeah, are you in your room? Oh, jeez. Just hung up.
Yeah, he must have pressed the pod button.
Man, I think it was the pods, though. It's not actually Ian that's boozed up.
I agree. But, probably a little bit of both because we know he was out till 4 a.m. last night drinking.
I can't say anything. I was up till like 5 a.m. this morning, 5:30.
Yeah, but you weren't, at the blackjack table asking for, booze till you fell asleep.
If it was there, though, I probably would have.
Probably.
Yeah.
We actually had a couple beers last night around downtown Indianapolis.
What?
You and the downtown boys?
Yeah, one time. Yeah, exactly. Me and the single. No, not all. I guess Bruce isn't single, but yeah, the single downtown boys. I was out and about. Well, Mitt also isn't single, so I was.
Just the boys.
Just the downtown
boys.
The downtown boys. Yeah, I went out and had a couple beers. The first place we went to said it was open, was closed.
Okay.
Was not open until because we got out of here like 12:45, 1.
Yeah.
Went to my wife's friend's place. It was going.
Unbelievable.
Had no idea what I was walking into. Hadn't been there in years. Had a beer.
What?
Experienced. They had some raves.
Okay.
Smoke machine.
There was a smoke machine. There was a rave going on.
Yeah.
Everybody appeared to be on Molly.
Well,
I think everybody in there
Well, there, yeah.
was
No windows.
rolling.
Yeah.
It's down in the basement.
On Johnny Depp's.
Had to be there. We left. I think we went to. We tried to get into another place. We were not allowed in.
No.
They had people inside. We were not allowed in.
A lot of people.
Firefighters convention in town. So a lot of mustaches around town.
Good ones.
From around the country in Indianapolis, which is what Indianapolis does. It was great to see Indianapolis hosting again. The convention was here. Couldn't get into one of the bars.
Nope.
By the way, I will say, it was kind of a shot at my ego that I could not get into a bar that had a lot of people in Indianapolis. A ton of people.
Ton of people.
In. Yeah. So we had to go to another place. We go to How at the Moon. Fucking alive.
Yeah, still plays.
Had a beer there. That place has been the same exact bar for 15 years here in Indianapolis. Still going. Had a beer there. We meet a bunch of firefighters from Long Island and Boston and all over the place.
Really?
Have a beer. We get out of there. Then we go to a final stop. Security guy says, sorry, I can't let you in or whatever. I'm like, what the fuck? Have I lost all the juice? I feel like I've gotten more popular. I haven't been out in years in Indianapolis. I can't even get in. They finally let us in, wrap up, have another beer, get home around, I don't know, like probably 1:30, 2 o'clock-ish, up till 5. did not get boozed up. Joining us now, a man who was probably, and I would have been with him if it was available.
Oh, yeah.
In Las Vegas, joining us a couple hours removed from his last beverage. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rapoport. What's up, dude?
Hopefully you can hear me. Did you get any of that stuff last time?
We did, actually. We did. We heard all, but you sounded like muffled. We heard you, though. We heard everything you said about how
AirPods are not good enough. I need a better performance there. Anyway, what's up?
Well, Ian, it's not just the AirPods.
Yeah.
We can really dive into this. Like the new iPhone is shit, too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Compared to the previous ones.
You think? Is that why you think?
Well, I would just assume the new AirPods also shit because they're worried about this camera being awesome, and the camera is awesome. I mean, it is amazing, but they kind of have thrown the actual functionality of the phone. It feels like by the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
This newest model's shit. I think personally.
Yeah, I mean, I would.
Here we go.
All I really need is just good enough performance to do this right here. That's really what
I'm not asking for much. Please.
Anything else? Oh, That's it. I FaceTime a couple different people. You're not the only person I FaceTime, but I just need this to work, and it's not really too much to ask.
Well, it comes together for us on a regular basis, so we shouldn't be too negative. And I believe I forget which canceled comedian did it, but some I think it was Louis C.K. was talking like his kid about his phone not working.
Oh, yeah.
This thing sends a fucking thing up to a satellite in space.
Yeah.
Okay, then it comes all the way back. Sorry, you have a little buffering that's going on. So we do have to take it all in stride. I think we do have to take it all in stride and understand that this is crazy that we're even be able to talk to you, and we are thankful. Back to the trade. You said that DaCosta of Baltimore said, if anybody finds out about this, we're not doing it because we would still like to have leverage play, and also we don't want to deal with our fans being pissed off before night one of the draft. So if this gets out anywhere, Cliff Kingsbury told us there was about 4 people that knew that this trade was happening. Do you think that's on both sides or that's just on the Arizona side?
I would say, if I had to guess, I would say the people that knew about it were probably Cliff Kingsbury and Steve Keim, Eric DaCosta and John Harbaugh, Hollywood Brown, and his agent Tory Dandy. Your boy Tory Dandy. That is it. And it's rare for something to keep that quiet. But there wasn't a lot of reason for other people to know. First of all, there was no contract being negotiated. He's going to play in his current deal. Second of all, the draft is big business and the stakes are extremely high. So people take their leverage very, very, very seriously. And I think Eric DaCosta did not want anyone to know what they were doing, where they might trade, what round they might pick, and the fact that they could come back into one. I think he took that very seriously. And there was a lot of respect there that did not leak.
Tory Dandy had to be thankful that trade was agreed to ahead of time because he had to deal with A.J. Brown day of. Yeah. How quickly did that come together? You said you knew that yesterday. We see a shot of Vrabel from the War Room. He looks pissed, obviously.
He's not happy.
He's not exactly thrilled.
So first, I saw the clip of Vrabel, and I'm trying to it's tough to know what actually is going on. But my read on his body language, and we're all social media / body language experts, I feel like he was kind of had to do that because they could have kept A.J. Brown. They absolutely could have kept him, but the contract they offered him was nowhere near what the Eagles offered him. From what I understand, it was more it was up to $20 million a year, but it was really backloaded to the first couple of years were more like $15 or $16 million, not top receiver money. And so the Titans made a very clear choice. We are going to take a younger player who we hope is A.J. Brown, who, by the way, they took in the second round, who we hope is A.J. Brown, and we're going to let someone else pay him. And that is a bet, essentially, because if Treylon Burks is what A.J. Brown is, he's a lot cheaper.
Might be.
Could be.
Yeah. Could not be.
And then as far as when this came together, so the Eagles were really big game hunting all offseason as far as targets and...
Hey, I like the way you describe that. Yeah. I like the way you describe that. That was really... Huh?
You can steal it if you want.
You think you created it? I do like the way you described that, though. That is maybe your term there in the entire, free agency.
Could have created it. It's true.
These guys are hunting exotics out here. Big game hunters over there. They were in the market, Tyreek Hill, right?
I think all of them. That's what Howie Roseman does is every big trade he wants to be in the mix. So here's how this broke down. I would say about
I want to hear what's going on.
2 o'clock local time, so 5 o'clock Eastern time, I got a tip that this was in the works and happening. Called around, checked on it. It wasn't there yet. Checked back. And then basically last night around, like when, probably a couple minutes before it got out there, they agreed to terms on the contract, and it had to be. And then you can't do a physical, but you can send some scans back and forth. You can send some medical reports just to make sure everything is okay. They did all that. Deal comes together, and once the contract was agreed to, then the trade goes through, and it all happened that is really, really fast for a blockbuster trade to come together. In the end, he gets 4 years, $100 million. So I would say A.J. Brown's probably pretty happy.
57 guaranteed. Report it like you reported Aaron Rodgers.
57 guaranteed.
All right, yeah, okay. You're out there reporting these fake numbers while Hollywood Brown's hopping on a plane right in front of your face. I think out of Vegas.
Yeah.
Him and his girl were in Vegas, and they flew down to Arizona to make that draft party. That draft party in Arizona looked fucking epic, by the way. Whew. That photo, that dude's doing, hey, I like this new, look at that draft.
Yeah. I mean, that really is awesome.
Is it not? I mean, that is... What other team had that? Did any other team have that type of...
No way. That place is packed.
I don't know. It's also crazy because, everyone gets all excited about the first round pick. Who's it going to be? And then instead of that, you get Hollywood Brown, and then he's literally there. I mean, the whole thing is wild. And as far as the Cardinals, we've all obviously spent so much time talking about
Hollywood. Hey, who is that? That's the third time you've been interrupted there. Anything good happening? It's draft weekend.
I've missed a couple calls. We'll see. Hopefully it's nothing crazy. I blame you guys if it is.
We'll just check Ari Mirov because he had all the news.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of you.
Go ahead. Sorry about it.
Still walking around with his one AirPod, probably.
Whoa! Hey, that one AirPod's all the picks ahead of you guys.
Connected to everything.
Hey, he was tipping picks last night. We loved it.
Hey, I am a firm believer in non-pick tipping. By the way, hold on. You want to say hello, Tom?
Is that the arrow?
Brady?
Oh, shit.
Arrow.
Look how good you look, Tom.
Oil change.
You realize Ian's talking to you from just like somebody's hotel bed right here in the suite that we're doing the live shots in?
Yeah, he had AirPods on earlier. He was all boozed up. He sounded too bad. We had to take him out. Yeah, we understand that, Tom. Great to see you, dude.
You too, man.
Hey, Tom, how did
Thanks for having me on the show in the last 9 months.
Oh, you just came on.
Tom, you're on the show right now.
You're on. Literally right now.
Yeah, okay, so we made it.
All right, bye.
See you.
He speaks for the NFL. It's hard to have a conversation with him. You know that, Ian. Do you ever tell him that? Like, every time we talk to him, it's literally like we're just talking to a memo. It's like, all right, there's no give and take. Like, whenever we say something to him, it's like, don't you think that's kind of a... And he's like, well... And then he goes to, like, clause 40.
NFL jargon.
It's hard. It's like, all right, Tom.
He was wearing a sweet suit, though, I have to say.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, you kind of look like a hungover guy, and he looks like he's ready to go to work on the draft. You know,
I do not have my makeup on. When I put my makeup on, it's all going to come together.
Agreed. All right.
Plus, and I know you were going to ask, so I'll just interrupt you. Sushi socks today.
Okay.
What?
Did we vote on that? Did the people vote on it?
They were plus 300 to go day 2. I know that.
Wow. It's crazy.
That was pretty good. That was actually pretty good.
Not really, but whatever.
No, that was funny.
I mean, you were the one making a big deal out of the fucking socks. Remember there was an entire NFL Network post? Oh my God, what socks is he wearing? The sushi
Make
ones
sure
today.
you vote.
Yeah.
What happened to the Hulkamania one?
Yeah.
Hey, brother.
I wore them last night, and they were a huge hit in the community.
In the community. Which community? I know which community does.
These are my people now.
All right. Well, all right, let's move along.
Be careful,
Tory Dondi, obviously, an incredibly active night last night. Does Deebo Samuel hate this fucking guy now because he was able to get AJ on the move, Hollywood on the move? We didn't even know he repped Hollywood, by the way. Oh, this is Tory Dondi right here. Is Deebo on the move today? Is that what that is? And what do you think about Baker? Because the Carolina Panthers didn't take a quarterback. Does that potentially happen today or later on?
Okay, start with the Deebo one. So the Jets offered pick 10 and a pick swap. So basically, would be the equivalent of between pick 13 and 14. So pick 10 and a little more. For Deebo Samuel, and the 49ers wouldn't do it. Lions had an offer on the table.
Wow.
49, and of course, obviously, the Lions ended up moving up for Jamison Williams, so they got their guy eventually.
Hey, you want to tell this Deebo guy to go fuck himself? Bring him to Detroit. All right, sorry about it.
No, sorry. 49ers just wouldn't engage. And I think everyone was sort of waiting like, all right, well, obviously they're just going to do this deal. They're just going to – and they just didn't. And so now, like, he's not happy. When's he going to show up? I don't know. And I think they're going to try to make this better, but, like, will they? Like, there's a lot more questions than answers on the Deebo Samuel situation now that he didn't get traded last night.
Crazy to hear that there was actual 2 legitimate offers, because remember the reports were that the Jets were going to make an offer they couldn't refuse. Turns out they did.
Yeah, and they refused all of them. And it didn't even sound like they engaged at all. Like, we've heard teams talk at press conferences. You know, Mike, it was either, I think it was Vrabel who said he can't envision a situation without A.J. Brown, then traded him. 49ers were telling the truth. They basically were like, we don't want to do it, and he's too good of a player, and then they didn't do it.
Vrabel was on our show chit-chatting about A.J. Brown. He said he loved him or whatever. We'll figure it out. But I think that's what he had to say at the time. John Lynch was the one that said, I couldn't imagine a time not wanting Deebo. Let's move on. So, Deebo, you don't think Deebo's moving then? There's no reason for them to answer calls on second night if they're not answering calls on the first night, right?
Right. I mean, I guess somehow they could do it, adding a pick for next year, maybe. Possible. I just haven't sensed anything that changed. You asked about Baker.
Bingo.
So, you know, obviously there's some interest from the Carolina Panthers. They did not take a quarterback last night. Took a really good player, but did not take a quarterback. So, you know, if the value is right, I could say they would do, you know, they could do a deal. But if you're the Browns, you know, you do have a little bit of leverage here because you could just keep Baker, who you have to pay anyway, and wait for a quarterback injury for someone who has to have him. If you're the Panthers, you do kind of need him, but you don't want to overpay for someone another team basically can't keep on the roster. So we'll see who gives in or see if they can figure this out a little bit, but it is kind of a complicated deal to make happen.
So Tepper and Haslam are just staring at each other right now. Just staring at each other. You don't want that guy on your team.
Of all the things that I said, that probably is the best summation of this.
Yeah, they're just staring at each other trying to figure out who's going to do what. But they still got Sam Darnold, too. Like, you know, there's some people around the NFL that are like, by the way, Baker, if you hear this is not my words, okay? I am an observe and reporter motherfucker.
Bingo.
Okay, I see other people say it. I say it because we got to fill 3.5 hours every fucking day. That's right. People have said, is Baker that big of an upgrade over Sam Darnold that you're going to pay him another $19 million? And the overall consensus is like, no, the Browns are going to have to pay him if anybody's going to take him. But if they're going to pay him, why would they move on from him? They're going to have to get something in return there, right?
And we don't know what's going to happen with Deshaun Watson. Could be suspended. And having Baker Mayfield, who, whatever you think of him, and across the league it's pretty split. I probably like him more than a lot of people. I think he could be pretty good, but he's still better than anyone else you would have to play however many games Deshaun Watson is suspended. If he is suspended, that is the Browns' leverage because they shouldn't want to give him away. They're going to be a good team. They'd want to stay competitive if Deshaun's suspended.
Jacoby Brissett was brought in there, too. He's an absolute dog if he has to be with a good team. Go ahead, Tone.
Ian, what a lot of people were wondering this morning, Jermaine Johnson was projected to go top 10, and he fell all the way to the 20s when the Jets traded up to get him. Is there a reason?
So this was one of the things I was trying to figure out last night because he should have gone around like 10, 11, 12. Instead, he went – it was either 25 or whatever it was, 25 or 26. And I honestly, I couldn't find a reason why he quote unquote fell. He probably went a little later than we all thought. You know, he's a little bit of a different guy. He doesn't have any off the field concerns. So it's not like that. Maybe a reserved different personality. So he's probably not for everyone, but should that cause anyone to fall? Like, I don't think so. I think he fell because it wasn't a fit for some of the teams that took other players. Like, it's like when JOK fell to the Browns, everyone's like, why? Sometimes these guys just fall because they're not fits on the guys who would have taken them.
Only one quarterback was taken last night. Kenny Pickett turns out to be the guy. Malik Willis has obviously been hilarious on Twitter ever since then. He's from Liberty. I assume he has enough chips on his shoulder of people not thinking he's the guy. This is kind of what was being said, like, leading up into free agency period. Like, there is not a lot of quarterbacks in this draft that are first-round caliber. Then there was a lot of smoke that these guys were going to potentially get real expensive around the draft. That did not happen at all. At what point did you get a sense of that being the case? Because we were watching along, and after 6, we're like, okay, so literally, It's going to be a while here before that happens. Did the quarterbacks know that going into the night, or was there an actual thought out of this quarterback class that it was going to get hot on the quarterbacks at some point last night?
I think by a couple hours before the draft, it was evident that Carolina wouldn't take a quarterback. Once that happened, then it was like, okay, this could be a while, right? Because, the Saints sort of maybe have a need, but I didn't get the sense they loved any of these guys either, and I knew they weren't going to trade up for one. So no one else needs one. Because that's like what you were saying, we talked about all this before free agency. Everyone filled their needs. So nobody had to get one. It's not like 2 years ago when the Jets basically didn't take a quarterback because didn't sign a quarterback because they knew they were going to get Zach Wilson. Everyone filled their needs. No one had to reach. So once Six didn't take one, it was like, okay, this is going to be a while. And then I'm looking, it's late last night. I'm looking at like 21, 22, 23. I couldn't find any quarterback teams. Just, they weren't there.
So what you start doing, you just cracked open a whiskey and just started chugging it. How many drinks did you have on the air last night? We didn't get a chance to watch it.
You weren't watching?
I think you were on.
We did have NFL Network.
We had NFL Network.
You said good job, but if you weren't watching, did someone tell you that I did a good job?
No, we were.
This is what I say to everybody, though, Ian. You know that. Like, at this point, everybody knows. I say, hey, you killed it. I've never seen anything they do. But I did see a couple clips.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You looked amazing. You were inside, right? He was inside.
Gale Force wins.
As opposed to outside because of the winds. But were you on NFL Network last night, or were you on, like, the Ocho?
Oh, I was on NFL Network.
We had NFL Network on right here.
Yeah.
It looked like, judging by the things that I saw, it was like when a
Saw Kurt Warner a lot.
when a certain player was going to
Kurt.
get picked, Ian was already like pre-programmed, like, hey, you're going to talk about this guy.
What do you mean?
Whoa.
Tell me I'm wrong.
I didn't sense it was that way at all. What I try to do
He was like
is
Tom
get
Pelissero?
insight as to
No,
what
it was like,
happened or
hey,
why
when this guy gets picked, we're going to go to you. No matter where he gets picked, we're going to throw to you, give him some background information on
Oh,
this guy.
so he had a couple guys, and then somebody else had a couple guys.
Actually, like what does happen is I'll go through all this, I'll take notes or whatever. And there's guys who, like, when they're picked, I'm like, all right, I need to get to this. Like Tyler Smith from the Cowboys, who everybody's losing their mind over that pick. He had like a really interesting injury situation where they had to re-break his legs to straighten them out because he was bow-legged. And I was like, and now he's fine. So I was like, oh, that's a good thing to talk about. So when he gets picked, I thought it was going to be around 2, but when he gets picked, I was like, oh, cool, I'll come on and say it. So there's little things like that.
Tom Pelissero wrote that? Is that what he said?
Yeah, he didn't write it.
So that must have been a memo.
Yeah, he received it
That must have been a
league
memo
office.
from
A little
somewhere.
bit different.
No.
Uploaded.
We were combining. We worked on an injury story together that never ended up running. That blurb, he did put some of the words together, I would say.
Tell him we know those words were put into his Neuralink.
Beep, beep, boop, boop, beep.
When you talk to him about non-football stuff, is it just like...
Cannot compute.
That's what we feel like when we think of Tom.
We talk about plenty of non-football stuff. We've also went out to some very nice dinners in Vegas, by the way.
Oh,
together.
Tom
Had a good
Pelissero?
bonding time.
He eats?
He's tearing it down. Well, I think he plugs a vape into his
Okay, that's what I figured. Yeah, that's what I thought.
please.
I was going to say.
More motor oil.
Dude, the robots eat.
Remember that guy? Whenever he had to blow his nose, he blew his back out because the robot. Not supposed to blow nose at this time. Wham! Now he's down at his kid's soccer game. I mean, he is literally the greatest retainer of information this world has ever seen.
All time.
Honestly, I believe that Tom Pelissero is one of the most talented readers of all time. Do you
Must
agree?
know more.
Yeah, I would say he's an excellent reader. The memo, no one dominated the memo world like Tom Pelissero, who can hear us, by the way. Hi, Tom.
That boy, Tom.
Tom!
He's where? Tom, Pat's calling you.
Tom!
He's plugged in. Yeah.
Yeah, he might be charging for the day.
Tom! Tom.
What's up?
Actual question.
Yeah.
You hear me?
Yeah.
So we were a part of the book club, Aaron Rodgers book club. We sold a lot of books. Might have been the biggest book club in the world, actually.
Possible.
I've never read a book in my life, okay? I'm not great at the entire reading of a long thing and being able to retain it. Now, if it's a tweet or something, I'm pretty good. I can remember it like it's nothing.
280 characters.
Have you always had, which by the way are articles, just shorter articles. So you give me an article, I can read that and I can retain it and I'm off and running. For you, have you always had the ability just to read an entire book and then boom, be able to drop in like chapter 47 and then into 10 if you have to out of nowhere. I think that's literally how we talk about you. We're like, hey, Tom Pelissero gets the memo from Goodell, because everybody gets these fucking memos, and somehow it goes into your Neuralink in the back of your head, and then you're able to go on TV like 2 minutes later and recite that thing word for word. Has that always been an ability of yours?
I would say the greatest compliment I ever remember getting in like my school years, like college days, was one time a professor wrote on a paper, I can't actually tell if you read the book, but you made a very compelling argument.
Well, you wrote the book, probably. Your research paper on the book was probably
I did not read that book.
the book.
Yeah. I had to write an essay on it. But the point is, being able to pick out the parts that matter without actually consuming the entire thing. I don't read a 300-page memo. You know how to find the important stuff.
Well, you do a great
Wow.
job.
Absolutely.
Great job, Tom. We appreciate it. It's good to see you again, buddy. We got to get you on the show, Tom. We got to get you back on the show.
Wonderful. I'm here for you anytime.
You're the best. All right. Let's go to Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, Rap Sheet. There were a lot of rumors last night about the Packers. How heavily engaged in trading up were they actually? Like, was that ever a possibility that they were going to move up to get one of those receivers, or no?
I thought they were going to. The word I got, and you'll have to ask your favorite quarterback about this, but the word I got was that Traylon Burks was the guy that Rodgers liked, that he had done the most work on, that he kind of wanted, and he went early. Obviously we know we went to Tennessee, so we went earlier than we thought. And so yes, they made all the calls. I thought they were going to move up. Receivers went there was a quick run around 8 to 12, I think it was.
Yeah.
And then when Burks went, they were done because they weren't going to trade up for any of the other guys. So everybody, of course, was like, I can't believe the Packers, took defense or whatever. It's like they weren't going to get the guys they wanted. They were picking too far back. So my guess is they'll pick one or maybe two today.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Rapshi, you dropped
hold on. Aaron said he liked Jameson Williams, I think. And also Traylon Burks. Last night he told that to us. He said he thinks the most NFL ready was Jameson Williams from his thing. And I don't know if you mentioned Burks or not, but if you're hearing that means you probably know something. Did Pelissero read this? You tell me. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Rapshi, kind of a two-parter here. You dropped a pretty crazy story right after Travon Walker got drafted about the accident he was in. What happened there? And then also, can you confirm whether...
How long ago, too?
Yeah, how long ago? And did Chris Angel get the first 3 picks right? Because we weren't really updated on that.
It was on ESPN.
I wasn't watching that broadcast.
What?
I was on ESPN. I was clearly on ABC. 1,000%.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he was there with Desmond. I thought he was College Game Day.
I thought he. Oh, Kuipner. Yeah. I thought he was.
Right. He said, if I get this right, I want to take Kuipner's spot.
Yeah. I figured he was on every show because he's a magician.
Well, he might be.
That's actually a great thought.
Yeah, it might be.
It's wrong, but that's a great thought.
He did get it right, though.
He did?
Yeah.
Wow.
So he's going to replace Kuipner next year.
Let's go. He fucking does it again.
Chris Angel's unfucking believable.
Yeah, guys.
That guy.
I've never seen him. I feel like that would be a great show to go to.
All right, I have. Anyways.
Yeah, if you can stand and clap, you'll love it.
He wasn't throwing his fastball when I went. All right, I think he's found his love of magic again. He has a whole new show. It's very apparent he's all in. He's got the football pants when he's doing Raider stuff. I mean,
wait, hold on. So when you told him he was doing a nice job, that was not accurate.
I never told him that. I've never told Chris Angel that. I actually... That was the most uncomfortable I've ever been. I was at a show, and he forced me to give him a standing ovation. Me and AQ Shipley were actually there because we were all so hungover. It was like day 3 of us being there, and we were so hungover, so sick, and we're like, all right, we're going to delay us going to the bars. We're going to do shows like people do shows. We're going to do shows. Mind Freak's got a show in the hotel we're in. Let's fucking go to Mind Freak. Sign me up. So we go down there and get the best tickets available. We're in the front fucking row. And that was a mistake. It was an immediate mistake. And then we couldn't get out of there until everybody stood up and started clapping because he needed the energy to spin the saw to cut the woman in half. And we were the only 2, I think, at the time that weren't a part of his cult that were standing and clapping. We were getting yelled at by the people around us in the stands that the lady was going to die if we didn't stand up. So we stand up. We're, all right, here we go. Almost puking at this point, by the way, with how sick we are. And then all of a sudden, big camera comes out. Chris Angel standing in front of everybody. Me and AQ are in the front row giving him a full standing ovation. Yep. And it's like, all right, they cut the woman in half, show's over. Who knows if she lived? Did we bring enough energy or not? But anyways, his next show's better. I know it. It's with Cirque du Soleil or something like that. Anyway, go on, pal.
What was the other? I got to...
Travon.
put some makeup on a sec. What was the other part?
Travon Walker car accident.
Oh, yeah. Travon Walker. So this was on April 16th, I believe, after whatever the Georgia spring game was. It was after that. Him and Quay Walker were in a accident where they wrecked two parked cars, and it was like a serious accident. And there was no citations, and he was somehow not injured. Pretty dramatic situation 2 weeks before the draft, though.
I'd say, Jesus. Hope they're okay. Happy they're both first rounders after crashing into parked cars.
Yep.
No citations, no serious injuries. Just like you in Vegas, pal. Keep killing it. We can't wait to watch you again tonight on the NFL Network.
I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for watching. Actually, do watch this time.
Oh, you're the best. You did so good last night. Ladies and gentlemen, Ian Rapoport.
Yeah, boy.
All right, we're wrapping up hour 1 here on Sirius. Hour 2, Peter Schrager. And then hour 3, Jay Glazer. Oh! Big Feel Good Friday. See you in 10. Yeah, I hit the home run there, too.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, your guy was in that car accident.
Yeah, that's insane.
Hope we did some due diligence.
Parked cars. Yeah, parked cars.
Maybe they were just like on their phone. Driver was on the phone.
Maybe sending a tweet.
Boom, boom. I can see how that could happen. This morning, I fucking almost got ran off the road by somebody that was clearly on their phone and shouldn't have been on their phone. And that's one of those things where I know they had a big push for it back in the day. Like people were putting like gum bands on their thumb and stuff like that. Gum band Pittsburgh for rubber band on your thumb. Like, hey, don't text and drive. Don't text and drive. And I agree. If you're bad at it, you should not do it. Okay? There are people that are not good at it. There are some people that need to have a little self-awareness and not attempt it. There's people that are okay at it, though, I think, and we all see them. And I'm a motorcycle driver as well, so I have to watch all these people. This morning, I almost got ran into a fucking median because somebody was doing it. Jesus. And I was like, God damn. Like, I gave a little honk ski, and then I, catch back up next to him.
Quick jerk to the...
Yeah, I give a little catch up next to him. I look. I'm like, God damn, you didn't even know.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was happening. That could have taken place.
Okay.
It could have been that. But anytime somebody runs in parked cars, you automatically assume, got to be boozed up.
Yeah, well, and especially if you total two parked cars. Like, he's probably going in, 50 miles an hour in this parking lot?
And that's down in Athens? That was down?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so them cops ain't. Hey, you just won a natty?
Kind of like the Columbus ones.
Bingo.
Yeah, we were just escorting you out of the town.
Yeah, just won the natty, spring game.
Yeah,
just got your pro day,
We don't
2
wanna do
weeks
that,
away
though.
from the... Hope everything's okay, man. Hope those other people's cars got reimbursed.
Well, they're used to getting in car wrecks every fucking play, so...
No, those guys are delivering the car wreck. Those are big motherfuckers down there.
Well, it sounds like they delivered the car wreck this time, too.
Yeah, you're right. So they were comfortable with it.
Yeah, right.
They were fine.
Those are is that the biggest group of dudes that has ever assembled on a football team together, that Georgia team? Remember Maryland? Maryland, when they had that tight end. What was that tight end's name? He was massive.
Well, they also had the tackle who the Raiders took, I believe, because he ran like a 4.5.
And I think Sean Merriman was on that team as well. The Maryland squad had like a bunch of Goliaths. Yeah. And I remember them talking about it. There was a couple teams that my West Virginia squad would show up, and we were nowhere near as big as other teams. And we would look, and it was like, holy, if you were to take just a screenshot of this warm-up right now, with that team, with our team, everybody on earth would think that team would kiss. Temple, whenever we called that Temple game, on that Thursday Night Football, they had a bunch of fucking freak show ads. It's like, oh my God, look at these guys. That Georgia team has to be the largest, fastest, most athletic defense that has ever been assembled.
And their captain and their star linebacker, Nakobe Dean, was the only guy that didn't go in the first round last night. He's supposed to go probably in like the first 5 picks in the second round. Like, they're going to get another one here coming off the
And
board.
what's he, 6'4", fucking
he was
260?
He was actually on the smaller side. That's probably why he didn't go above these. But he was like 6 foot and ran very fast.
Five dudes.
Didn't someone tell us there's a guy on that team that's not draft eligible that's better than all of them? Or am I just imagining that?
Next year or something.
Yeah.
Next year, they got a guy who's better than all of it. It's like
Herb Street maybe told us that.
They had 5 number ones last night.
That tight end they have is unbelievable. He was the true freshman last year, so he has actually 2 more years before he's
Who's their
drafted.
quarterback? Dougie Mills?
No, it's
Stetson?
Stetson Bennett, mailman.
Yeah, Doug Mills.
Yeah, bingo.
Don't know him. Doesn't get a lot of credit. He'll be boozed up on a national television show after
Oh,
winning
yeah.
the national championship.
No big
That
deal.
was all time.
Yeah, we mocked Doug Mills early. We mocked Stetson Bennett early. And then we all the way around on Doug Mills.
I love that.
And as soon as I see Stetson Bennett, it was a fun time.
Yeah,
Man.
never mind.
Never gonna forget this. What's that, Lester Holt? I was like, I fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
Hard to lose a national championship feels like. You got 5 number ones on your defense.
I'd say.
I was gonna say that has to be like regarded as one of the best defenses
They were
ever in college.
They were, and then remember that Alabama game? Something happened. They gave up like a fuck ton of points. Alabama beat them in the Iron Bowl, or not the Iron Bowl, SEC championship, and then they got them back in the.
Congrats to Georgia. Man.
Yeah,
Congrats.
shout out, good boy Kirby.
I still don't know how you don't draft Jordan Davis number 1 overall, but whatever.
Eagles.
What do I know?
Another
They traded
big
up.
draft pick for the Eagles.
This big.
Yeah. Shout out.
This
Chris
big. Okay. This big. This wide.
Yep.
Faster than everybody in this room.
Yeah.
Faster than everybody you know.
Yep.
And can jump further.
comfortably.
Casually. That guy's going to be a fucking monster. What if all 5 of these guys are good? I'd say there won't be.
I was gonna say.
I'd say a couple of these guys are going to fall off. I'd assume the 2 guys that get in car crashes, they had that moment where like, oh my God, we almost ruined this whole thing. Like, let's go ahead and lock back in.
I hope so.
Maybe that's like a readjuster and they go.
Yeah.
That actually makes me feel almost better about those 2 guys. Like 2 weeks before the draft, we almost fucking died and probably supposed to go to jail, but the local cops kind of let us out there.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and not ruin this entire thing. Might be a readjustment of life there for them. But I'd say that a lot of the dudes last night that were drafted aren't going to make it, and I hope everybody makes $1 billion.
Yeah, and those 2 guys, the Packers, are joining a filthy defense. Like the number 1 pick, I feel like has the most pressure on him because Hutchinson's like the sure thing. Thibodeau's like the guy everyone thought was one forever, and then the random Georgia D end who flew up everyone's draft boards. He's probably the one out of all those guys that's like, okay, fuck, if I'm not.
He had 1 sack last year, Travon Walker. No.
6
sacks last year. 19.
6,
something.
I think.
Yeah. But still, like,
He's in Jacksonville though. He'll be hidden. Like,
yeah, and Josh Allen's.
That's
very
one of
good.
those things. You go to one of those teams that's not on prime time, like you get hidden almost. Like only the local fans are the people that are mad at you.
Right.
So Travon Walker probably won't be on the national scene for a couple years anyways.
Get a pass.
Get a chance to kind of like go away for a bit.
It's funny, the odds for NFL Rookie of the Year, Offensive Rookie of the Year next year. Kenny Pickett's number 1. Malik Willis number 2. Hasn't even been drafted yet.
Well, how many offensive players got drafted last night?
There's one on wide.
6 wide receivers.
I know
or is
the
it 5 wide receivers.
I know the over for offensive
6.
players does not hit.
No tight ends, no running backs.
6 wide receivers. Yeah, skill positions.
And it's right there in the middle because it's Drake London with the Falcons, and then 1 tackle, and then 3 in a row.
Garrett, Chris, Jameson.
Yep. And then Kenyon Green at the end from Penn State, and then Burks to the Titans.
No, Jahan
That's
Dotson.
Jahan Dotson, yeah. Got Kenyon Green getting drafted at 15,
Twice.
16.
Yeah, I was looking at that.
okay.
I was kind of confused. I'm like,
He's going to
holy
split time
fuck.
with
Jahan
with
Dotson's the
Houston.
wideout from Penn State. Yeah.
Same last name for old buddy there.
Nice.
Is Travon and Quay related?
I don't
Not that
know.
I've heard. I feel like I would have heard that.
They were in a car together hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Probably just friends.
Yeah.
Just friends.
boys.
Just friends.
Who's driving? Travon? Is that
Sounded
why
like
his
it.
name was mentioned and
Sounded
not
like it.
Quay's?
Probably.
Hope you're all right.
Yeah.
All right, we're back at 3 minutes, actually. 3 minutes. We're back at 3 minutes with hour 2. Peter Schrager will join us, as will AJ Hawk. Darius Butler will be back live in the studio. Jay Glazer joins us in the 3rd hour. And your phone calls on the 5 Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee and 3.
Hell of a machine.
It's 310J, dude.
Oh, top of the line.
That's when they were singing about being sexy.
That's right.
The 310J, when somebody saw it, they're like, that's sexy, and he was like, the country
Yeah,
music,
damn,
you're
yeah,
right,
it
yeah.
is.
She thinks my tractor's sexy. Oh, look at that.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, that's got a good cockpit in there.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like the Pope Mobile with all the glass around the top there, but it ain't no Pope Mobile because this one's fucking breaking grind. Hell yeah.
Party in the front, business in the back, am I right?
Well, I do believe we got business,
Business
all
on both
sides.
ends.
That's right.
Yeah, the plot down there in the front is, although a good time. It is a good time to get that thing going.
Fun.
Business is being handled, dude.
Everyone's getting plowed.
And then on the back side, whenever you start cracking earth,
Oh, yeah.
oh my
You
God.
need the excavator back there, the big dog.
And you know the thing about the seat on this 310J, it turns.
Yeah.
It does.
So it's always in the front. You know, whatever you're working on, business can be on the front, both sides.
That's right.
Controls all around.
We worried about those front tires?
No, not at
that's
all.
how they roll.
No, they survive anything.
Those are standard Deere backhoe tires.
Look at the back
Someone like you
tires,
might be worried
Foxy.
about
Yeah, exactly.
I'm just asking questions.
Foxy, it ain't about the front wheels. It's always about the back.
That's right.
All right, because these rear wheel powered vehicles that you would never
Yeah,
understand.
you don't know anything about that, Foxy.
You have no idea.
I would not know.
Wake up.
I got friends that know. I don't know.
Listen, when you're drifting gears, okay, on a rear wheel, especially for 600 some ponies, you gotta watch for like any, plot holes or debris.
Of course.
Because you can and then hit a tree. Because the back end kicks out. And then you won't drive that car ever again. Because how are you not supposed to drift it? And I guess, how are you not supposed to hit another tree?
Yeah.
Right.
That's my life. Doesn't have to be yours, though. Thank you, Andrew, for calling from the 310J. That's a beautiful piece of machinery.
It is.
Gorgeous.
Take that thing another round. Oh, look at that thing prop itself up.
Lift kit.
That's why the wheels don't matter in the front, pal.
Yeah.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat
What the fuck are
McAfee
you
Show
doing?
starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. Hour 2 on this first round Fallout Feel Good Friday, April 29th, 2022 shall begin now. Talks the tables here at Ty Schmidt, at Boston Connor. Ty, great performance last night, pal.
boy,
Thank you, Pat. Appreciate
Connor,
it.
great performance by you as well, pal.
Hey, thanks,
comment.
Great performance by
You did
you.
great. None of us really understand what you were wearing, why you had a mask on for so long, but we appreciate you doing it.
Yeah, I heard costume. I thought, you know what? I haven't seen Star Wars in a while. I'd like to dress like one of those guys.
No, well, we said like event
Yeah.
outfit.
Red carpet.
Yeah, I blacked out when you guys were saying that. I just heard costume.
Well, that seems to be a normal thing. You
exactly.
shaved your mustache. Last night you fit in well in Indianapolis at the firefighter convention.
Yeah, a lot of stolen valor, though. I didn't want to make it seem like I was a firefighter, and I got a couple of those comments, and I was like, okay, I can't be doing this.
I
to the
did.
firefighters.
Well, he had gym shorts on and something else. I mean, he looked like
Hoodie.
an asshole.
Yeah, absolute prick.
I mean, he looked like an asshole. I was like, I looked at him at one point. I was like, "You look absurd." And he was. I mean,
yeah.
there was a couple places where the BPMs were just catching our bones.
Yeah, right in the sweet spot.
You know
too.
what I mean? So he was.
Yeah, I was loving it.
Gym shorts.
Oh, he had gym shorts on. Yeah,
Mhm.
and terrible shoes. Obviously,
Terrible
his fucking
shoes.
shitty ass shoes he wears
There's
or whatever.
stains all over the gym
bad
shorts.
shoes.
too.
Nothing matched. He looked like an asshole, but his goddamn, he had a Patriots hat on, camo,
Yeah.
and then he had this mustache, and then his mullet was flowing out. And in the firefighter convention, we're talking, when I say this, I mean this. There's like thousands of firefighters now from all around the country that are in Indianapolis. And I don't want to say like stereotypes are a real thing, but there's a lot of similar looking motherfuckers roaming around Indianapolis
Yeah.
right now. Connor went to order a beer, and the bartender said, "You got a great firefighter mustache." He said, "I'm actually not a firefighter."
Yeah.
But right to Connor's left was the same exact mustache on a little bit rounder head firefighter from Long Island.
Okay.
Right to his right, another great mustache on a rather large, fat
Okay,
head.
fat.
Okay.
Firefighter from Massachusetts.
Yeah,
driving
Then,
truck.
like right behind Connor, another incredible mustache with a cap, a little bit thinner build. Oh, here's a firefighter from fucking Montana. is here. So we're talking Mustache City last night. You felt what? You got alpha? You felt like you were a beta with that mustache?
Well,
or-
I mean, definitely out of those four, and there was plenty others. I was last place in the mustache, competition, but it was more so about people saying, "Oh, it's a good firefighter mustache," and I'm sitting here like I'm an asshole. So I am not
City
one of
shorts.
these. Yeah, I do not want to take away from what these guys are
Stolen
putting on.
valor.
Yeah, I'm not about the stolen valor game, so I just figured, you know what, I'll
shave it.
Let the mustache
Because you got a whole
go.
weekend ahead of you here in Indy.
Bingo. And if I go out there and get another, you know what? Hey, you're a great firefighter, aren't you? I can't
Thank you
do
for
that.
your service.
Yeah, I can't take that. I would love to.
You texted me
but I
last
can't.
night. Do you still have that fire helmet you wore 2 years ago?
Yeah, what's that all about? You were trying to go out there and just be full fucking Lieutenant Dan or whatever the hell that guy.
Oh, I mean, I would love to be Lieutenant Dan, but aside from the wheelchair. But I do think that if I were to, continue to go out the entire weekend, then there's a chance, I get a few more firefighter comments, and I can't have that. I just can't.
No, you can't, obviously. Hey, there were some zombie firefighters last night. There were some boys fucked up last night.
I bet.
Some Fu Manchus, too. It wasn't just the stash. There's a lot of all-time facial hair we saw.
My uncle, firefighter chief for a long time in Pittsburgh. I have nothing but the utmost respect for the firefighters. Plenty of holidays where his beeper would go off and he'd be gone because somebody fucking put the turkey in too long.
Sure.
Like, I have nothing but respect for everything that they do. Run towards danger, away from it. Last night, though, it sounded like they were all running towards the bar.
Oh, yeah, they were ripping it.
There was a lot of boozed up firefighters around Indianapolis last night. And you know what? More power to them. Enjoy it.
Yeah, go get it. That was one bar we were talking about that was closed, but there were still about 200 firefighters around the bar inside, and they wouldn't let any more people in.
They literally look at the exact same, too.
Yeah.
We drove down the street, and I'm like, there must be some sort of fucking white person convention going on down here. And then we get in there, we start seeing all the mustaches, and they're like, somebody comes up, they're like, I'm pretty drunk. Are you Pat McAfee? And I was like, no, I hear it all the time. You're really boozed up or whatever. He goes, no, I've never been to Indianapolis. Fucking another guy comes up. He's like, we literally were like, we're going to Indianapolis. We're going to see Pat McAfee. Like, that was a joke we were making. Like, you're actually Pat McAfee, or am I way too drunk right now? I'm like, I'm not Pat McAfee. We should take a picture, though, tomorrow morning when you come out of your little blackout. You'll realize you took a picture of somebody that isn't Pat McAfee. Who are you? They were like, my name's Dan. I'm a firefighter, Long Island. This guy's a firefighter. This guy's a firefighter. That guy's a firefighter. And then it was at that moment we were like, firefighter convention.
Okay.
So everybody here is firefighters. He's like, yes, everybody. Our entire fucking department's here. Like, look down and dance floor. That's the Long Island Fire Department right there. They were fucking killing it or whatever. It was good for them having a night.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody. Enjoy Indianapolis. And hopefully these bars around here will be a little bit fucking more hospitable. It's unbelievable what happened last night.
Yeah.
Those
Wild.
bouncers were trying to cost their bartenders a lot of money last night.
Yeah, and
I couldn't even fathom. He was a little guy, too. Hey, you get snapped in fucking half, pal. Unless he knows karate. I'm not 100% sure. That guy needs to relax a little bit. Tone Diggs, big night for you last night. Joining us now is a man who exited the Draft Spectacular in the most vulgar fashion of all time.
Yeah.
Absolute prick.
I'm not doing this anymore. Just hangs up on the entire show, hangs up on our biggest night. He is a college football national champion, a Super Bowl champion, a Ryder Cup champion, a COVID Cup champion, AJ Hawk. Why'd you hang up on us, dude?
I 100% did not mean to. I was, I think I might have been trying to vacuum something quick, and I hit the mouse, hit the X, and I popped off, and I told Zeke, I just texted with Zeke 10 minutes ago, like, I sat here for about 40 seconds, maybe a minute, said, hey, it might call me back, but I figured we were wrapping the show, so I just called it a night.
Yeah, it was a great exit. It was a great exit. Real AJ Hawk.
I really didn't mean to, honestly.
What were your thoughts on the draft as a whole? We talked about it. It was a story about runs, defensive end early, then offensive tackle, then there was corner, then there was wide receiver, then it was trade, and then, everything kind of happens at the end. I do feel bad, and we got a lot of tweets from this, because we were some of the drivers for making the Cincinnati Bengals a better organization with the indoor practice facility, which is just a bubble that's being popped up. They could have done 100 years ago. Literally, they've been doing it at Duquesne.
Yeah.
I think all you need is like two people just going, and every single winter you can get a bubble. But shout out to Cincinnati, making the Super Bowl, and then also becoming a 2022 franchise. We appreciate the hell out of you. We love the people of Cincinnati. With that being said, your draft pick so late, we were dead by the time the Bengals draft pick came along. We did not react at all.
No.
Got a lot of tweets from Bengals people saying we didn't even address the Bengals. That's what it's like when you're picking 31, okay? When it's 7 hours into the goddamn thing, there's a chance we might miss it. We might be looking at the light at the end of the tunnel, okay?
Yeah.
We might be doing that. We apologize. Bengals got better last night.
Yeah.
Bengals got better. What are your thoughts on the draft as a whole, AJ? What's the big takeaway for you?
Well, I mean, Bengals fans should be happy the situation they're in. Hey, get used to it. You hope to be drafting back here at the back end of the draft from here on out, don't they?
Absolutely. They took Daxton Hall.
Safety from Michigan. He's
Yeah, he's a good player.
Daxton Hill, he's a player.
Yeah, he can play ball.
Yeah, Daxton Hill is an absolute player. Congrats to the Bengals getting
Yeah. Hey, but I think I don't know if you guys already hit it. You probably went around the room. Oh, what's your takeaway? But at least for me, other than Chris Angel, I feel like the Jets and the Eagles most likely won the draft.
Well, the Giants as well. I mean, anybody that had multiple picks in the first round, you have
But
to.
really, no one knows, though. This is like saying who wins the offseason. Like, we got to see how they turn out. But the Jets did maximize their picks. I feel like they got some good value.
You're saying that I went around the room and said, what's your big takeaway? I didn't. But what you just said is what we did say earlier. We have no fucking idea how anybody did. The Giants and Jets got multiple people in the first round, so we'd assume that they won. The Eagles as well. They get A.J. Brown. The Cardinals get Hollywood Brown. So it's easy to say in the moment, like, seems like this team won.
Who lost? That's the question. Who lost the draft? I feel like it was a very positive draft for most teams, doesn't it? Where we're not sitting here singling like certain people out saying, "Oh, you're a big dumb stooge."
I think the negativity went towards the Cowboys. I think there was some negativity towards the Cowboys that none of us know, by the way. That might be the best fucking offensive tackle in the history of the NFL. We have no clue. But it did seem like, because there was kind of the parody of all these players, that everybody could kind of spin that they had a positive night. Whenever there's like tiers, if you don't trade into that tier, people think that you're being lazy or not being committed. So, oh, we lost. We could have won that. If you draft somebody of a lower tier, when the media is telling you that there's a higher tier person left, you could probably do that. But it felt like everybody's expectations of these players was basically the same. It's like, hey, this is basically the deepest draft or first round that we've ever seen. Although the top talent isn't there, there's a lot in the middle. And I think that's why everybody's like, hey, good draft. Good draft.
A team that we didn't talk about today, which I hate doing, they did lose Hollywood Brown, but getting Kyle Hamilton at 14 and Linderbaum at 25 or whatever, Ravens had those are two pretty solid guys if you look at their college reputation.
Yeah, and Lamar Jackson's "what the fuck" tweet was not about Linderbaum. That was about something else, allegedly. We'll find out. Joining us now is a NFL insider for Fox, but he'll be covering the draft tonight and tomorrow on NFL Network. Emmy-nominated co-host. Oh, man.
Oh, no, I know. Every time.
I was just thinking about that.
What's going on?
We don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah,
That's
hopefully he can tell us.
Oh, you're trying to say the show's breaking up?
Wow.
Oh,
No, don't put that in the universe, AJ.
I don't know what's going on. I'm trying to get educated. Don't act like everybody knows what every show is doing.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is my fuck. Can I be a human, dude? I'm sorry I got emotions. I was in the middle of introducing this guy. I'm like multiple time Emmy nominated.
Who said this? Kurt Warner said you need to feel your emotions more. Kurt said that last night.
Well, Kurt, Big Z,
2 days ago.
His wife,
Brenda,
Northern Iowa, the whole thing. They brought some emotions out of me. I'm never doing that again. Okay, unless I watch The Ultimate Underdog Story again. American Underdog. Unless I watch that movie again, I'm not going to experience this. But I am getting a little bit broken up because we watch that show every fucking morning.
Every day.
There's a reason they're two-time Emmy nominated. One of the co-hosts who might be able to tell us what the future looks like, both for the show and the draft, Peter Schrager.
Yeah, Schrager!
What's up, Schrager?
Something unpredictable.
But in the end, it's right. I hope you had the time of your life. And that's what we say about Good Morning Football. It seems like every morning you guys are having the time of your life. That's why we love you. That's why we love it. We love the gang. We love the crew.
Come on.
It's so hard to say goodbye. And it's all
To yesterday.
Sing some R. Kelly, Shregs.
Yeah, very much.
What's your problem, dude?
These are the songs in my head, but we just got to keep on moving. Let's talk draft.
Hold on. What was that that Vitamin C song that was like every single
graduation song?
Yeah, it was
As we go on, we remember all the times we had together.
All the segments about the bullshit we all bought in. Love you. We're bummed about it. We're bummed about Good Morning Football and what the potential future holds. The internet doesn't know shit about fuck, but it does feel like everybody's on the same page there. We hope you'll figure it out, Shregs, because that's where you came into our hearts. That's where you came into our lives, and we appreciate you for joining us right now. Let's talk about the draft. I don't know if you knew this. I would assume you did because you had to feel pretty good. We're keeping track of all of the mock draft experts because we had our guy, Mitt, competing against everybody, and if Mitt had the best mock draft out of all the experts, he would have won $20,000.
Yeah.
Turns out He came in last.
Damn.
Now, we will not give out the names of who came in second to last, third to last, fourth, whatever the case is. But we will say, Schrags had the best mock at around
First place.
Hey, baby, Schrags, you knew your shit, dude.
Tell you what, Pat, thank you, and I'll take my flowers a little bit. I had 29 of the 32 guys drafted last night. Now, I didn't have the right team for everybody, but I had 29 of 32. Damn. I had GMs texting me and being like, we use that as like kind of an idea of like who's going where. That is the ultimate honor. I bust my ass on that mock draft. You know how much I take it seriously. Now, I got some wrong. I don't know if I want to go through all the wrong ones, but I'll take a moment to take my flowers that I kind of had the right guys going to the right places. And we knew that run on wide receivers was going to happen. And I said it yesterday on your show. If the Packers were indeed going to get one of those guys, they had to be aggressive. They opted not to be.
Well, congratulations, Schrags.
Yeah,
you did it. Go ahead, AJ.
Schrags, so now the question, like, how early are we going to see a quarterback taken here in the second round?
I don't have a team. I don't have a place. Like, honestly, I said it last night. I was asked about it. I said, I knew Pickett and Willis were going to go. I just don't know where and when, but I don't think it's going to happen in the top 20. I was shocked. I thought Willis or Ritter to the Steelers. That was the intel I was getting. They go Pickett, who they watch every day at practice, and they kept that pretty close to the vest. They must have really liked him because, as you know, guys, the Steelers, when you practice, the parallel field next to them, it's not another building. It's not in a 5 minutes away. They share the facility, the fields with Pittsburgh Panthers. So they've had their eyes on Pickett all this time. But I think Willis will go in the third round. Or the second round, I'm sorry, and then we'll find out from there. But I've got a lot of people texting me about Breece Hall, the running back, or where do you think Alec Pierce, the wide receiver from Cincinnati, goes? Do we need to move up to get him? No one's asking me about the quarterbacks, and I'm curious to see just how soon it is if this is even the case where, hey, it didn't happen in the first round. It might be a little bit into the second round, too.
I wonder if Tomlin and Colbert were judging every quarterback they met with against Pickett. Right, because you're talking about the practice field, and practice field definitely important. Game field, game tape obviously more important than practice field. How he handles himself around the building, though, with the janitors, the chefs, the fucking wait staff, everything. Like, they were probably comparing every single quarterback they met with everything they had on Kenny Pickett. And with Colbert, this being his last draft, kind of sailing off into the sunset, they seemed pumped about getting Kenny Pickett, too. Did you see that video of Tomlin skipping into the room to call Kenny Pickett and get out there? It's crazy.
Untucked, looking like just thrilled that he fell. They didn't think in a million years Pickett would fall to them to 20. And this is kind of cool. There's kind of a cool symmetry here. When Ozzie Newsome was in his last draft with the Ravens, he traded back into the first round and was like, here's Lamar Jackson. This is my last first-round pick. I'm getting Lamar Jackson. The expectation is Colbert is going to actually move on, and it's like, hey, here's my last pick. I'm going quarterback, and you guys now have Kenny Pickett, who, as much as we were hyping up Malik Willis, I think of the 32 teams in the league, of the 20 I talked about with quarterback, most of them had Pickett above Willis on their boards.
You and Cliff Kingsbury, obviously very close friends.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Came in here.
Together.
Yeah.
My guy.
I've seen group text messages with you and Cliff Kingsbury. Sure. Like, I've seen them, okay? Like, you guys, very tight. He told us only 4 people, and Ian Rapoport's reporting maybe 6 people, including Tori Dondi and his agent and Hollywood Brown being a part of it. Only 4 people knew about that, but that was weeks in advance. DaCosta said, if that gets out, we are canceling the deal. So everybody was kind of locked, tight, sealed. We need to keep this thing in. That never happens in 2022. Did you get an inkling that the Cardinals were up to something? I assume you did. You just didn't know exactly what it was?
I'll tell you this, okay? Because I'm not going to put anyone in a tough spot. About a month ago.
Oh, geez, Drake, you're going to put somebody in a tough spot. There's only 4 people that fucking knew. So that 3 people are going to know.
Cliff and I went through the draft because it was post-combine and it was about to be post-free agency. And he was like, these fucking wide receivers are awesome. And there's a lot of them. And we have 23. And we went through, and he's like, there's no way I'm getting one of these guys. There's just no way. So he knew that Jamison Williams, who he loved, and he knew that Olave, who he loved, and he knew that Wilson and London were going to be gone. I don't think he might necessarily expected Burks and Dotson also to be gone. So they had a plan. I respect the hell out of it. They had a plan. Let's go make a plan and get a wide receiver. That player individually, Marquise Brown, was highlighted. This is one of Kyler's best friends from college. And it's also a guy that absolutely torched torched Cliff when they were in college playing against each other, Texas Tech and Oklahoma. So Cliff circled this one, and I mean, they had to keep it quiet. I did not know the trade was going down. I did know that they were going wide receiver one way or another. They were going to figure this thing out, and they got their wide receiver. And I know that Kyler, as well as Cliff, is very happy this morning.
Okay, so the Jets, a team that you were talking about, you said Sauce was basically a lock there, I think, a few weeks back. Like, you're like, Sauce is going to the Jets. This is a layup almost, the way you were speaking about it as a matter of fact. The Jets got better last night, it feels like. They even trade back in and get 3 number ones overall. They see around the AFC East, the Dolphins are going all in, the Bills are the Bills. And fucking Bill Belichick just got a guy at the University of Tennessee, Chattanooga.
Yeah, Strange, baby.
Strange, who has the duck, is how Darius Butler described it, the old school face mask there. But did they feel like they had to do something in the draft here? Is that why they traded up for a 3rd pick in the first round? Or what do you feel from the Jets in the sense over there?
Yeah, so Sauce and Wilson was who I had them taking, and they were happy that actually worked out. They got Sauce and Wilson. They would have been happy for the day. And then around pick 15, Joe D, who you got to have on the show. Joe Douglas is the man. He's looking at things and he sees Jermaine Johnson's falling. Now I can tell you this: I don't know actually if they had him ranked above Thibodeau, but they were for a while debating who do we like more, Thibodeau or Johnson, and they end up having Johnson on the top 8 of their board. So let's say if that's the case, then it's slipping.
Hey, why did he fall?
So there's a couple of his age. All right, he's 24, I believe. That was one thing I heard. His interviews were good, and this is a story that I texted with some folks there today, the Jets. I'm like, are you thrilled about Johnson? Like, yeah, we're thrilled about Johnson. I'm like, yeah, but what was the story with his path? Because he went community college and Georgia, but he couldn't get on the field. And they're like, no, he got on the field, and then he transferred to Florida State. Like, this dude bet on himself. This dude bet on himself at Georgia with all those guys. Was like, I don't know what they think of me here, but I'm going to transfer out of this program, go to Florida State, and won ACC Defensive Player of the Year. I'll tell you right now, that building, all those guys, from the scouts to the coaches, I know a lot of them, they are thrilled with how their first round went. And I haven't even talked to them about Sauce or Wilson. They're thrilled about Jermaine Johnson somehow falling and then being able to find a trade partner to move up. So again, it's like you guys said, it's April 28th. Everyone's freaking out. Oh, we won the draft. It means shit come guys don't develop. But Jermaine Johnson is a guy they are beyond thrilled about, and he's fired up too and wants to prove everybody that not only was he worthy of a top 5 pick or a top 20 pick, he was the best pass rusher in this draft, and you all passed on him.
Way to go, Jets.
Yeah, there you go, Jets.
There you go, Jets. Go ahead, AJ.
Schrags, now that we're past the first round, are we going to see any of these like blockbuster superstar trades, like guys like Deebo, Baker, Jimmy G? Like, are these things going to happen, or are we done with it now?
Yeah, I knew there would be some like talk of it. I didn't think A.J. Brown was going to be traded yesterday. If you remember, I think it was Vrabel came out a couple of weeks ago and was like, A.J. Brown's not being traded. Like, that's just what happens, though, sometimes. And as negotiations go on, he was traded. And I think the numbers didn't make sense for Tennessee, and it did make sense for Philadelphia. Tennessee's paying a quarterback a heck of a lot of money. Philadelphia is not. So they were able to make that trade. Deebo. So here I had Eric Armstead with me. Eric Armstead, by the way, awesome dude, got up at 5 a.m. in the morning to come on Good Morning Football in person in Vegas while he's here. And we're talking about the Deebo stuff. And he's like, everyone in San Francisco is saying, in that building is like, all right, just let cooler heads prevail here. This is going to work itself out. Deebo is going to be one of ours. And that's what I've been hearing from the San Francisco side. As for Deebo, I don't see him being traded over the next 2 days. I simply don't, because if he was going to get dealt, well, 10th overall is a lot more appealing than a future first-round pick. Or 12th overall is a lot more appealing. Like, the fact he went throughout first round and they didn't make a trade, I don't think there's any package involving second and third round picks or future first-round picks that San Francisco is going to want compared to what they could have had yesterday.
You and Rapoport are reporting with like certainty here. Is this something that's known that the Jets put out together an entire package for Deebo and who else? The Lions is what Rapoport.
Yeah.
Is this something that's publicly known, or is this coming out today?
It might be coming out today. I know the Jets were very interested in the connection between not only Robert Saleh, but also Mike LaFleur, who's the offensive coordinator for the Jets, was the guy who was there when Deebo was drafted and basically had him under his wing. Jets would have loved it, but San Francisco wasn't looking for – I don't know the details of the package. And then Detroit, that's the first time I've heard of that. But it would make sense if they made all those moves to go up and get Jamison Williams. It would make sense that they would have been willing to do the same thing for Deebo.
Go ahead, Ty.
Schrags, I know you had 29 of the 32 guys in your mock. But
3 wrong.
Yeah, Yeah, 3 wrongs.
Yikes.
Outside of Strange to the Patriots, who are you hearing was like the kind of biggest surprise or maybe the biggest reach of the first round?
Oh, that's a good question. I think when you look at, Malik Willis is a story, because I think everyone figured someone was going to trade back into the back at the end of the first round and go get that guy. Say, all right, we'll get Malik Willis. I think the fact that Jermaine Johnson fell so much was a surprise to a lot of people. And again, I don't have a red flag on that one. Like, I've asked around. I don't know where, but he still went. Breece Hall is the best running back in this draft. He didn't go at the end of the first round. I think a lot of people thought that might happen. But other than that, like, it went with all the names. Like, we heard that guys like Elam and Dax Hill were having this late push. I thought Big George, Karlaftis, was going to go. He did. It's those guys at the end of the first round that maybe people thought were going to go a little earlier. That was quite if anything, a little bit of a surprise. I'll say this about Strange also, because
Can you tell us about your co-host Sean McVay and Les being all boozed up doing a watch along? Did they do it? Was that a draft watch along that we saw a video from, or was that their press? They were having a good time. I enjoy the hell out of McVay and Les, the Super Bowl champions. They get that house in the hills. It's got a golf simulator. It's got all this stuff. They're doing a press conference. They appear to be having a good time. And Sean McVay goes, and there we were, think we're going to get him at 100. That shows that we know. Like, people are going to say that was a shot at Bill, but I don't think that's the case at all. Sean loves Bill Belichick, right?
I talked to Sean already today. Here's what this was. And he woke up feeling sick about the whole thing. And I'm like, all right, well, let's talk it out, what it is. And he's like, no, we were looking at him and I was busting Les Snead's balls because I'm like, this guy won't be available at 104. Why are we wasting time watching?
So he was publicly talking shit to the GM, like, oh, yeah, remember we were talking about this guy at 104, you fucking idiot.
Yeah. Watching film of him at 104, and here he goes at 29 or wherever he went. Like, what are we doing? He also said he felt sick about the kid, and I don't know if he's connected with him, but like, they had Strange very high on their board, and he didn't want Strange. It's an awesome day for him. He's a first round pick. To have the story of his draft day, day one.
Sean McVay, tell him not to worry.
Compliment.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Tell him not to worry about that. That ain't nothing.
So yeah, Sean, he felt sick to his stomach, but I said, you'll get over it. He's like, yeah, I'll probably get over it.
Yeah, you get those hangover sentimental moments where you start feeling bad. Yeah. Did I offend anybody last night? Yeah, who? Bill Belichick and Cole Strange. Oh my God.
Fuck.
Let me watch it back. Let me see what I said. Oh my God. I was talking shit on this guy, not everybody else. Oh, man.
The Boston media is having a field day on Belichick for that pick, and they're using McVay's reaction as like justification. That it's like it's all twisted. But yeah, I don't know if we're like, if another team took Strange at 29, I'm probably on the show today like, how could you do that? I didn't know that. It's Belichick, so we're like, all right, makes sense.
Yeah, and that's how the Patriots fans are too, by the way. Schrager's like, of course, Bill. Yeah. Of course, Bill took some no-name out of some small school that nobody else knew about or had projected. Guess what? This guy's going to start for 20 years for us, and we're just going to go on and do it. And by the way, Bill's resume says that. There's other coaches or GMs that'll do that are brand new, and we're like, oh, this person's a fucking idiot. They're trying to be Bill Belichick. Is exactly what we would.
He took Logan Mankins, I think 32nd a few years back, and I say a few years when I first started doing this. And I remember talking to another GM who's probably long out of football, being like, Logan Mankins is not a first day. He might not even be a second day pick. And then Logan Mankins goes on to have like maybe one of the best careers of any of the Patriots during that regime as far as offensive line goes. So Kyle Duggar a couple of years ago, people rolled their eyes. He's been awesome for them. So again, it's not always pleasant, and it kind of is stinging when you're a fan and you don't recognize the name because none of the mock drafts had him. I'd say even with some misses in recent years, Belichick is still pretty good when it comes to analyzing talent and finding the right guys.
And as a follow-up to all those fans that don't know the person's name, like, we cover this every single day. We didn't know like 20 of those guys.
Bingo.
I mean, who knows what any of these dudes are going to become? Schrager knew. 29 out of 32, no big deal. Go ahead, Tone.
Schrags, one of the ones that you didn't get right early was Stingley to the Texans. Did you think that was a lot of late like bullshit that they were saying, like that they're doing a lot of research on this guy where we might take him, blah, blah, blah. Like, how did he end up going
it's on
there?
fire again.
Yeah, Nick Caserio's the GM there, and he's a straight shooter, and he tells me I'm not telling you shit. So he's third overall, and he's like, you're my guy, I love you, but like, when it comes to the draft, I'm not telling you. Then I got all this other teams being like, they're taking Stingley at 3. They're taking Stingley at 3. And I think even in my mock draft I wrote, 99% of the world is telling me Stingley at 3, but I don't know the track record of this GM and why that would get out or who has that and who from the building. It's all, Lovie Smith isn't telling people in the media we're taking Stingley at 3. So I went with Icky, knowing that they had him high on their board and that people loved Icky, and I was wrong. And again, a couple of years ago, it was Mac Jones and Trey Lance. Everyone in the world telling me that I should have gone with Trey, but I just was stubborn. I'm like, they're not going to take Trey Lance over Mac Jones. This was me being stubborn. I should have listened to the voices, and I didn't, and I got burned.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Schrags. First of all, obviously the Boston media calling for Belichick's head. We're also asking when they should, probably let go of him before the Mac Jones draft so they can go to hell. But you mentioned Kyler. Because of this Hollywood Brown move, do you think that kind of gives the Cardinals a year or so to kind of figure out that deal, or is that something you still think they might try and get done before the season starts?
Yeah, I don't know what Kyler will think contract-wise, but at the very least, I got to think. I wouldn't say it's an olive branch. We have to. We're doing everything we can other than doing that to make you feel loved and supported. But I would say the fact they went and got their best friend, the fact they traded first round pick, and the fact that what he brings is something that they really miss without Christian Kirk in the offense. Like, you put that speed, Marquise Brown's fast as shit. Like, it's speed now. You got Rondell Moore, you've got Marquise Brown, then you got big DeAndre Hopkins and AJ Green and Zach Ertz in the middle. Like, I don't know if you can have a better wide receivers and running backs combination in the league than what they have in Arizona. So short of paying him $40 million, they're doing everything they can to support him and give him the weapons that he might want.
Hey, looking back on the Cardinals situation with the coaches, they obviously extended Cliff and they extended Steve Keim. They didn't give him the bonuses after the playoff. That was a big deal. This owner seems to be getting everything right. Was that real or was that not real? I remember looking.
No, that didn't come from Cliff. I didn't report that. The stuff about the playoff bonuses, you've heard that. So I can't speak on it, and I'll tell you, Cliff never said a word about it. And you had him on the show and asked, and he's like, I don't even know what you guys are alluding to.
Yeah, but he would say that, right, if it was real.
Yeah, true. Post-extension.
Yeah, especially with how handsome he is and how cool he
got his money.
Yeah.
Hey, he's so cool, dude. He called us last night from a winery, I think.
Looked like it.
He was with the suit on. He looked so cool, so confident, so comfortable. All those weapons now. I mean, good for them. They're going all in, man. I fucking love that over there.
It's the only way you can live. And you watch the Rams play and how they do it. I think the Chargers have done it the last couple of years, and it's more than just a football thing. It's a philosophy on life. I think this sounds very emotional, but post-pandemic, what are we doing? You're planning about 3 years ahead of time. Go all in year to year, and let's see. The Eagles are all in for 2023, and they're doing that because they're we're going to go for it. We're going to be relevant. And if you're planning for 4 years from now, I'm not sure that's the move right now in the NFL, because you will not be coaching and you will not be the GM if that's what your strategy is.
Hey, just real quick before AJ's question here, and this is not about the draft at all. Broncos are going to be sold before the season even starts. Is there even talk about that out there in Vegas? That's a pretty big fucking deal, isn't it?
It's a huge deal, and there's local people involved. Josh Harris, who owns the Sixers and the Devils, I hear his name is mentioned. And I'll tell you, the NFL is hands-on on this thing because it's a really cool opportunity. These teams don't come open too often, and the hope is that in the next couple months, the Broncos will be sold to a new, invigorating ownership group, perhaps an ownership group with some people of color involved. We'll see if that's a possibility. The NFL would love to see that, and I think everyone else would too. So the Broncos, that ownership deal is a huge deal, and that's going to be the most expensive franchise bought in the history of sports, maybe, based on the NFL and where it's at and what a prime jewel that is in the NFL's castle of their crown.
Just real quick though, old Cuzzy gets the Cardinals from his dad, completely different team.
Yeah.
Completely different team than when his dad was running it. If new ownership and never, not saying that they haven't made moves. They got Russell Wilson. Obviously, they've done that. But that new owner is going to be antsy to have success. They're going to, just like Tepper in Carolina, that motherfucker will cut anybody.
Yeah.
I want to win right now. That, you're saying, the new wave, basically, of the league is not thinking 4 years in advance. I think as that happens with new ownership, too, people are going to get excited to kind of get going now. Why would you buy a team and then be like, you know what, if we're not that great, it's okay. It's I think that is going to become something. It's great for the league. It's great for the league.
It's great, and it empowers the coaches. I can't, Sean McVay, he cannot talk enough about the freedom he has to walk into a room and be like, I want Allen Robinson. I know it costs a lot and it seems imprudent. I want Allen Robinson. Matthew Stafford wants Allen Robinson. And they give him the keys and say, okay, we'll figure it out. They've got guys in the front office, Tony Pastors and Kevin Demoff, who are you tell us what you need, we'll make it happen.
Nice
How liberating.
Yeah, sounds incredible.
Amazing.
Go ahead, AJ.
Strings, how's that process work when they're selling the team? So the Broncos, do all the other owners have to vote on it? Does it have to be majority? How How in the world does everything pass through? I know they have a million checks and balances throughout the whole thing.
I think there are. I don't know if it has. Honestly, I should go through the bylaws, and I'm probably speaking out of school saying it. But I'll just be honest. I don't know the exact thing. How many owners have to approve it? But I do know there are several checks and measures along the way, and it's usually not going to be some guy who shows up out of nowhere and is like, "Hey, here's $5 billion." Like Tepper was a minority owner of the Steelers. Haslam was a minority owner of the Steelers. Kroenke was involved with sports, had already the Nuggets, and already had some other, like when he got involved. Like, so you've got to have a track record, but you also have to be an attractive candidate for them to bring them into the fold. Because once you get in, I mean, there's no greater business than being an NFL owner. I'll tell you that right now.
Well, especially right now as the more platforms get involved. I mean, the Thursday Night Football was announced. It's Mahomes.
How about Tony G? How about him out there right there just selling product? I loved it. Tony's my guy.
What'd he do?
He was out there and he's like, announcing the Amazon Thursday night slate of Chargers versus Chiefs. So excited. He's working for Amazon, and I guess he's their first official hire. He did it on behalf of them, where he's like, I am going to be on this Amazon football package. I'm talking besides, obviously, who they've got in the booth and all that.
And Herbie.
It was cool. Yeah, it was really neat, and it's going to be Chiefs versus Chargers as their first game. So, Amazon, I don't work for you, but I'm right here if you want.
Peter. Whoa, what's that mean for Good Morning Football?
Lunch pail guy. Hard hat. Work boots.
Oh, no.
What time do you start tonight, pal?
Oh, I got about 2 hours right now. I think I'm going to crush a nap. And then I've got to be in hair and makeup is what we call it in the industry at 1:30 Pacific. So 4:30 Pacific is when I really get started.
Yeah. Make sure that whoever did your combine makeup is not the one who's standing in front of you.
Yeah.
I know.
Come on,
That was
Shregs.
That was me, though. That was on me because I was like, I need more makeup. I don't know what the hell I was talking about. And they gave it, and it's caked it on. I know.
Shreds, you don't, by the way. You look
don't.
amazing, pal. Enjoy yourself. We can't wait to watch you on NFL Network. Going back to the Broncos being sold, I think because it's the trust, right? Ian Rapoport's like, well, since it's the trust, they actually have to accept the most amount of money. The NFL would like to not, but they have to actually accept the most amount of money. So I think everybody has to get pre-approved, and then they put in like a blind bid or something like that. I think I'm not 100% sure, but
I mean, Ian would definitely know. Ian's our guy, and like we got Ian and Tom and Judy who like do like that kind of stuff with the ownership stuff. And I would say this: I hope you appreciated me saying I was talking out of my ass before I started answering.
Yeah, I loved it, and I actually said you're out of pocket. But hey, that's what the show's all about. We're riding wave. Can't wait to watch you on NFL Network in a couple hours, ladies and gentlemen. Peter Schrager, we love you too. I just saw this tweet. I'm going to have to look at it right now. And no offense to anybody in the NFL. This is
What
Zion.
time's the draft start tonight?
I don't know. This is Zion talking about the Pelicans.
I'm always be real with y'all. It sucks watching from the sideline because I just want to be out there, but just seeing the potential. We got a lot of great pieces, and I'm excited to get on the court with those guys.
Oh, Zion, fucking say they.
Did you see the tweet above that?
No, I haven't.
They asked if he'd sign an extension there, and he said, "Of course, I couldn't sign it fast enough."
What's he supposed to say?
Well, take your time.
Yeah, Zion, come on.
Think about it. Out of there. They don't play.
No, that's a good ball club.
They are a good ball club.
CJ McCollum's a dog.
How long is he there for? How long is Ingram there for?
Let me look.
Good question.
I believe
they just got
Ingram.
CJ.
Zion needs to go to the Lakers.
No.
No matter
Oh
what.
my God!
Oh,
LeBron,
baby.
AD, Zion, Brody.
We're back.
Oh my God!
No, never happened.
Need him on national television, and that's not going to happen in New Orleans, unfortunately.
Now, if he's there with
True,
Brandon
they'll put
and
him on
CJ,
there.
they'll put
Yeah.
them on. I think that actually is approved. I'm happy to see he's in good spirits, though. He's smiling. If I was him, they just robbed him of a year.
Sounds
of
like a great teammate too.
Yes, which by the way,
we've heard otherwise.
Have we?
From who?
Not otherwise. What we heard wasn't it JJ who didn't say? He said he's kind of aloof or kind of checked out.
Yes,
not like
yes,
a bad
yes.
team.
Not, he didn't
Maybe he's
reach
just shy though. He might honestly be shy.
Well, he might be just this younger generation that is just like super,
Right.
like, hey, we're not
on the phone.
You know what I mean? Like, might be. I'm not. I don't know. And also about this young generation, I said it a couple days ago, and it really made a lot more waves than I thought it was going to. Where I said this young generation probably doesn't even know how to throw a punch. Like a lot of them probably don't even know how to throw a punch. That really took off on the internet. Like there was a lot of people like quoting me, and, like, taking the video.
Wait, were they mad at you?
No, they were agreeing. They were like, this is a big part. I became the face of a cause, I think, that I did not know was going to happen. And I just only saw it happen on my Twitter, and it was like boom, 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 boom. I'm like,
Or even throw a baseball.
True.
That's another thing, like a common thing that everybody should know at least how to throw a ball, I think.
Well, to be clear, like a football for sure, baseball. Like, who
Either one,
cares?
just not shot.
Baseball.
You should be able to throw a baseball.
Well, baseball stinks though.
It may stink, but if
you don't need to
you
play
look at
baseball.
someone and
You
they
need to
can't
throw
throw a
play
baseball,
catch.
okay,
Now,
this guy's a clown.
Yeah, to follow up what AJ was saying there, you have to be able to play catch. Like if somebody cannot be the greatest athlete in the world, in my eyes, if they can't play catch. I need to see this person do some athletic motion with their hand-eye coordination. I need to see it. I would like to watch it, but I understand that they do have some freak athleticism in them. But to be an overall great athlete, and we came from ball sport, so we obviously say this. Like, this is very selfish of us, but it's also because of, I think we're right, have to be able to fucking play catch. If you can't play catch, I can't even talk to you. I don't even know what we're even doing.
You can't claim to be an athlete if you can't just throw and catch a ball. Like, you can't say, oh, I'm an athlete. Okay.
Now, I do believe there are esports athletes.
Mm-hmm. There's different kinds of athletes, yeah.
I believe in the esports athletics. I just don't think they'll ever get in the conversation of being the greatest athletes of all time if you can only play games, you can't fucking play catch. But I'd assume a lot of those dudes and ladies that have the ability to play the video games with the strategy and everything like that, they're probably great fucking athletes as well. So let's get them in the conversation. I think there is a mental side of it and obviously a thumb dexterity spot. Like NASCAR drivers, I do believe that is a form of athleticism. The competitive stamina it takes,
I agree with you.
The amount of commitment and discipline it takes. Now, if they can't play catch, I do not want them in the fucking conversation of athletes. Though. Like, no offense, do your thing. But if that driver of the F1 or NASCAR, who is an athlete in their own right, gets out of the car, does a backflip off the car, then takes a football, throws that thing into the fucking top thing, plays catch with somebody. I'm like, all right, hey, we should talk about this fucking person being able to potentially be one of the best athletes in the world. Until then, I can't have it, though. I can't have a conversation.
That's what Dale Sr. used to do, didn't he? He used to backflip and throw footballs all in the crowd. That's why people love
him. And fucking Smoke would 40 yards on a fucking rope, dude, all the time.
That was back when NASCAR.
Oh, yeah.
That was back when everybody was Kyle Busch.
That's right.
That was back when everybody was Kyle Busch. And we running, we're winning.
Yeah, different era.
It is. Everything's different era. Guys can't even throw a punch anymore.
So the punch thing's real.
Yeah, I know. It's sad.
Your guys' generation used to fight other high schools. Like, I didn't do that with my friends growing up because of the camera phone stuff.
Yeah,
you get caught fighting, you're automatically suspended. The whole thing.
Yeah, you guys would tweet each other subliminal.
For real. I have two older brothers.
Subtweet each other.
Him and their friends always fought people.
Yeah, that's your area.
Bro, CFO Phil, who is a number crunching son of a bitch.
Yeah.
If he was showing up at a parking lot for another school, good luck to the other school.
Right.
I mean, Goon Phil was about to fucking clean up. I've seen that guy in somebody's front yard at 1 a.m., okay, after that person stole his credit card, right in front of the kid's mom. You can get it too. And the friends are just sitting there. I mean, it was a scene at some of these places with CFO Phil. Need CFO Phil to do what he did to these kids in their front yards and in parking lots and at a volleyball game one time, I think. Need him to do that to the marathon this week.
Here we go, Phil.
Hey, Phil, need you to beat that marathon up, dude.
Phil and I were at a party, and we drove to a school parking lot one time, and they were standing there with a set of golf clubs waiting for us. It did not stop, Phil.
Mitt would like it to be known that he did fight and that Foxy is soft.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Me and Foxy are like same grade, and it was just we did have a few
scrap or two?
Few scraps with the neighboring towns.
Phil was awesome. That fight, the one that they won to, I was there, and I think I already committed to West Virginia at this point.
I think so.
And there was an entire discussion on hey, you should not go to this. So I did not. I think I was a part of the conversation on why the fight started, though. I think I was a part of it. Mm-hmm. So I felt terrible about this. I'd been in a couple other scraps in the past representing our high school. In this particular one, I was told not to. So me and my guy, Chris Larman, we got hammered drunk. We were the only two people left still at this party, right? We were the only two people. And as everybody came back, there was fucking blood on shoulders and on shirts and on faces. And as everybody was just kind of rolling back in, I had my pitcher with Red Bull and beer in it.
Hell yeah.
Welcoming everybody. Go ahead and get some ice. It's in the kitchen. Gonna need one on your face, I think. Good work. Hey, what happened? They're like, oh, you should have seen what fucking Phil did. Phil ran into a goddamn baseball bat. I was like, all right, cool. Let's have a good one. Cops probably coming in about an hour and a half. So go ahead and start drinking it up. Those are the old days, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'm very lucky to be a part of that generation, especially with where the world is now. By the way, I don't think that was the right way to go about things.
Well,
I think you do have to have that in you every once in a while. But back in the day, people would fight for fucking no reason. I mean, it would be you accidentally looked at somebody. It was like, well, there's literally no consequences here if we just fight each other, other than people might be like, oh, you're going to be suspended. That's it. I think it's much better now that people don't automatically just throw bombs, but also you should be able to at least defend yourself.
I agree with that.
You were a part of it because you guys went 3-0 on them in volleyball, and then the next day we 15 run them in baseball, same school. They were not happy.
Yeah.
And then.
Well, Phil also in the volleyball. Okay, and we used to get people in the gym to watch our games. Now we had a
Phil played volleyball with you.
No. Phil played baseball. Baseball was in the spring. Volleyball was in the spring. I didn't play baseball, so in the spring instead of playing cup soccer my senior year, I just played volleyball. If that makes with because the rest of the soccer team played volleyball. By the way,
volleyball's fun, man. I get it. That's awesome.
I was very good at it too.
You can jump. I believe it.
I don't want to say that was probably supposed to be my sport, but that was I was fucking very good at that sport very quickly.
You can still do it.
And I loved
the 2-man sand volleyball. Go back out.
Nah, I'm 6'1".
Be the setter. Get a big lanky dude, and you're setting it to him.
Yeah, I know. And then in beach, you can do that. And that one guy who's done it,
Dahlhauser.
And who's the other one? There's the little guy that's with him. There's somebody that's with him.
I know his nickname is The Alchemist, but I can't think of what his actual name is.
The Alchemist is a book?
Mario Lopez?
No. Phil Dahlhauser, and then the
Alchemist. The little guy, yeah. But I don't think that's normal. I think
Todd Rogers.
Todd Rogers. I don't think like the little guy being that good is normal. Because I was actually talking to schools for volleyball, and I was outside hitter power, and then like a setter, and I could do it all or whatever. And I could jump. There's like photos of me like up over the net, like from a warm up or something, like going 10-foot line. In these schools, I talked to them, and they were like, I was like, yeah, I'm a hitter or whatever. They're like, no, you're a libero for us. So what's that mean? Oh, you're in the back row the entire time just fucking eating spikes? I'm like, no, I can fucking go. They're like, oh, actually, we have a 6'9" guy from Serbia. He actually has he has a 45-inch vertical. Yeah. So if you would like to, you can compete with him, I guess, or maybe just play the back row that you'll just read. Like, well, that doesn't sound like a sport for me. But anyways, we used to fill up the fucking gyms. People would come watch our games, like actually come watch our stuff. It was fun. We sweep this school. Phil goes into our closet in the gym, grabs the broom. He's running on the court basically while the game is like closing up and ending, like final 3 points or whatever. And it's a rival school or whatever. And they have their student section as well. And this is going to sound very arrogant, probably because I'm playing, by the way. They probably brought their student section to, say terrible things about me. So Phil is right in front of their faces, like actually putting dust in their face. Then Phil and the baseball team the next day hammer them. And then there's
beach ball situation.
There's like a mutual friend that says, hey, old buddy wants to talk to you, and then meet in school. And then that was the weekend. It all went down, and I had I was the welcome home committee. You guys did great. Sorry about throwing you into that, but I couldn't fucking lose a scholarship over you guys eating drivers to the face in the middle of a elementary or a junior high now parking lot. I mean, fucking awesome stuff. That was the old days, though. That was.
I had a buddy a couple years older than me. He was at home. He actually said he was taking a dump at like 1 a.m. Some kids called him. One dude called him wanting to fight him. They had some stuff going back and forth for a while, I guess. He's like, no way, man. He hung up a few times. They kept calling. He's like, fine. And this guy is a savage. He got in his car, drove to this park. It was a setup. They were going to ambush him and all come out of the woods and just pound him and kill him. And he beat the first guy so bad, everyone ran. He chased him through the woods. He ended up going to jail for it. But
Hey, this is Centerville? Is this Centerville?
Yeah, he went to jail and missed. He had to go to college late and everything. Yeah, it was a rough deal. He was, like I said, he was a savage.
Yeah, there were penalties, I guess.
Sure.
I didn't think in Centerville, though, to be honest. I would have never thought.
The kid was in critical care for a while, I think.
Damn.
It was rough.
Jesus.
But then we found out later, like, they were trying to jump him. So I'm like, was it self-defense?
There was an older crew at our high school that was always fucking getting into it. There was like the legendary tales of, the same school I think that Phil and Diggs went and fought in the parking lot. That same school with the older class, like the older generation getting into a fight with them, where they were all in the woods with like bricks and like all that stuff. And as soon as the guys showed up, they did get actually ambushed and stuff like that. Broken windows in the cars whenever they got there. And that story like trickled down through like, hey, whenever you're showing up in one of these things, fucking walk, you gotta look around. Make sure it's an open parking lot. I think that's why they actually fought at that parking lot, is because like if there's any woods or any back area, they're gonna ambush you, they're gonna get you. There's full strategy in there. What a fucking different time to be alive it is now. There's no way that's happening now.
No, never. No, because it would all be on film. They'd all get in trouble probably too.
Every single person would end up just like your friend in jail.
There was well, there was camera phones, but you couldn't make out the camera.
Also, a lot of people are friends with other people from other schools because of AAU and all sorts of other shit.
Online,
It's
they're all
completely
friends
changed.
from social media.
Yep.
We did not have that.
Yeah, there was not a lot of that.
Nope.
I was fucking hated by every single school around our school. I like had to get police escorts out of fucking like soccer games because the student section was like outside way. Like it was unbelievable.
Could you put yourself in their shoes? If you went to a rival school, would you have hated you?
Yeah, I was a heel. Yeah, full heel in
Did not
sports.
do yourself any favors.
Yeah, I did not. Yeah, I
You thrive in that environment.
Oh yeah, and by the way, I was good at a young age. So also, I had to have that type of. I was an asshole. I mean, I was shaving legs, full tan. I was very good, and I knew it. And I was spitting on logos and doing the whole thing. It was.
But we were also assholes when we weren't playing and going and attending other events.
Well, you would walk into the beehive.
Well, that's part of high school, though.
That is high school. Yeah, that is high school.
And I was very loud. I mean, we were very loud. All right. Let's get to a break. We need to not talk about this. All these people, though, I've met since then that I used to not get along with at all and, used to just naturally hate me. Good dudes.
Yeah.
Probably would have had great part. Like, if we would have invited those dudes to the party that we were at instead of you guys fighting them that party would have been massive. The other fights in parking lots, like if we just go into the bowling alley that's in there, probably would have had a great time together.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying about this whole thing. Let's put our swords aside.
That's right.
You did it right, Foxy.
I'm learning.
Foxy, your generation was right, dude. Your
Changing
generation.
the game.
That's right. That's right.
I couldn't even imagine.
Way to
playing
put a
someone
bow
these
on it.
days. I'd fucking never.
You crumble, you think one dead.
Oh, dude.
I just broke my ankle, dude. What? What are you punching me for? What is that all about? I couldn't even. I mean, those drunk bar fights always hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody ever really gets anything clean. It always becomes a big mush fest.
It's a shit show.
Oh, I went off a bar one time, top of a bar. Like kind of Swan
Antonio. Bombini.
I wasn't in it. It was a couple of friends of mine. I did break it up quickly. Everybody was, what the fuck? Hey, I'm sorry. Are we doing this or not? I don't know. Hour 3 with Jay Glazer's on the other side. He'll tell us some fight stories as well. I was right on time.
Plenty of them.
Dude, Morgantown.
When's Jay coming?
Morgantown was fucking Baghdad a couple of different nights in there. I mean, it was just like.
Oh, yeah.
When did Bob Huggins get there?
My last year, I think, so 2009, 2008.
School that big, too. You assume a lot of people have problems with a lot of other people.
New Jersey's coming in there.
Oh,
Then you got a bunch of country boys from West Virginia. It is quite a melting pot with everybody on the same page, though. We're here to get fucked up.
What, a Jersey people, you say?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of Pittsburgh scumbags.
Hell
Pittsburgh
yeah.
and Jersey.
Yeah, I was down there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Pittsburgh scumbag, yeah.
How many? What's the undergrad? Like 40,000?
30, I think. 30-something. But the dropout rate, very, 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 very high when I was there. Like, alarmingly high.
I'm sure it's a lot harder to get in now, right?
I hope not. Honestly, they need to keep it the way it was.
I feel like every school's hard to get into now, though.
Is it? If you pay, you're going to get in, right? Isn't that kind of the thing?
Like, you got to have decent test scores and a decent GPA, though.
You got to earn your way into going into fucking crippling debt.
28.
Yeah.
28,000.
Okay.
Sounds like it's like the SEALs almost. You make it past that first semester, you make it past that first phase, you're going to go.
Yeah, if you make it through butts.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ring that bell.
You ring that bell.
Not good.
No.
Not good. That's High Street. High Street has got a lot of people ringing the bell.
Yeah.
They go to Casa at like 3 a.m. and I am not going to amount to anything. I need to drop out tomorrow. And they do that. Nick did that. Yeah. Nick actually dropped out of West Virginia, went to Pitt. He said, I would not survive that. Is that accurate, Nick?
It transferred, is what I would like to say. But, yeah, for lack of a better term, I think I had like a 2.5 my first semester, and I graduated college with like a 3.8. So you could see how.
Jeez.
Damn.
Now,
2.5's not bad.
On the flip
2.5
side,
isn't that bad.
I had a 4.0 in my first semester.
There you go. Academic All-American.
No,
Hey, some guys are built for it.
that's right. Academic All-American. Some guys are built for it. And in that particular case, I was taking tests on stuff I'd learned in freshman year of high school, I think. So that first semester was the easiest thing I've ever. That GPA only went one direction after that first one. So you went the opposite way. I went the other way. Probably because I stuck around, you left. Congratulations, though.
Yeah, thanks.
When you start that hot, too.
Thanks for doing that.
There's only one way to go.
It's very easy you can kind of average that first semester GPA out of the 8 semesters that you're there, and that'll keep you there no matter what.
What's 2 Fs and 2 Ds?
Not good.
Oh.
I got.
Well, an F's a 1, right? Or D is a 1.
That was my final semester.
D's probably a 1.
I think D's a 1. F's like a 0, I think.
Like a 0.5-ish.
I had to pass 2 classes, and I had to have 4 classes to be eligible. So, like, I had to have...
Is it D plus passing?
No.
So I would have had to have a C then.
Yeah, it's like a 2.
So I would have had to have 2 C's and 2 F's. And remember, that was the story where I had to go to the teachers the first day of the last semester and say, just don't drop me. I have to have these classes to remain eligible, but I am not going to be here ever. Please, I appreciate you, whatever you need. Outside of here, I just need you not to drop me. You got it, no problem at all. We will not drop you. And then I did not show my face again in those classes ever. I still have not been there. And then I get an email from the professors say, like, we do not want to fail you. Like, that affects us as well. We didn't know what we were really signing up for. Will you just write 1 paper and we'll give you like a D or a C or whatever to figure it out? I told them the ship's been sailed. I deserve that fucking F.
Can't do it.
Who would you be if you did not give me an F there? So I'm still like, 6 hours away from graduation, I think?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Could have got it. Chose not to. Here I am, college dropout like Kanye, Steve Jobs, and Einstein.
Zuckerberg.
Mm-hmm.
Zuck didn't drop out, did he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You and Zuck both like very relatable humans. I get it.
Did you graduate? You stayed in school through the entire draft process.
Yeah, I graduated because I knew I wasn't going to come back if I didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I have buddies that they go back and they actually go like on campus to class, not even online. And I'm like, I cannot imagine going and sitting in a classroom.
Hey, just real quick, J.R. Smith 4.0. Let's go, dude.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm very impressed by that. I would never be able to pay attention enough or not stop the teacher and say, that's wrong. That's not true. That's not how actual life works.
Well, first semester, though. First semester, you got it.
Oh, yeah.
4.0.
So.
You know what it takes.
You've got it in you.
Yeah, you know.
You should do it. Get back in there.
There is no chance. I'm making the donation and becoming a doctor someday. I am not. There's no way I'm going back there.
Yeah, you should get a degree from Harvard or something. Just say, hey, how much money I got to throw at you until you give me a doctorate from this place, like Cosby.
Well, I saw the.
What?
All right, get to a break.
He's Temple though. Maybe you could have his. They stripped him.
Who do you say? R. Kelly, Cosby.
Yep.
Hey, you're really on one of this field.
Baby
Friday,
AJ.
huh?
Got 2 of them in.
Way to go. Hope you're proud of yourself. All right, let's get to a break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. I believe Jay Glazer is joining us in a few. I believe Jay Glazer is joining us.
Jay.
Let's try to get different information from different people. We learned Detroit and New York had a trade proposal in place for Deebo Samuel last night. They were turned down by the Niners. I'd assume Jay Glazer knows more about all this shit, though. We should dive into everything.
Oh, yeah. Jay was talking about a pretty interesting story of a top 5 pick who missed a call, so maybe he can reveal.
Oh, yeah, on his Instagram just a couple days ago.
That's right.
He said he doesn't think this player even knows yet to this day. It was going to be top 5 if he would have answered his phone. Instead, they weren't able to trade up and get him because he fell to 13 or something. I don't know. That's like probably $30 million lost.
Yeah. So he didn't answer his own phone?
Yeah, allegedly.
Okay, I can't wait to ask about this. It's interesting. If that happened, I feel terrible for this guy.
He said the guy doesn't even know still this day.
Oh, no.
Till today.
Find out today.
Till today.
Should you tell him?
Have to.
It was Aaron Rodgers.
Oh.
Wow. Holy shit.
He was the only one that I could think of that fell
Yeah.
that fast or whatever.
Still
Hey, Aaron was great last night. He seems happy. You could obviously take all of his quotes out of context and make it look like he's not, but it felt very good last night chatting with him.
Absolutely. He seemed very happy. I mean, what an awesome setting. He mentioned it, but yeah, you could hear the ocean in the background. Like, it seemed pretty nice.
Look at him just living out there.
Chilling.
In the LA area. We know you're in Malibu, dude. In the boo. We fucking know the internet.
We know there's an elevator that takes you down to your steep mountain to the beach, bud.
Directly. You don't have to walk to the beach anymore. Congratulations.
It's called a funicular.
It's a freight elevator.
That was a gondola.
No, like a funicular or something. For real. Z, check it out. We'll come back after break, but that's a great tease.
All right, we're back then. See you then. Bye. I just saw a picture of you getting out of, I think, a 757 that was from Jim Irsay. What was that, and have you ever been in that plane before?
I thought it was like the team plane to fly all of the Indianapolis Colts. Literally, I mean, it's got the logo on it, Pat, and it was awesome. But look, that's just Jim. Pat, I had a wonderful 14 years there. It's obviously the team that I wanted to play for always. I understood the decision he had to make, and no hard feelings, and for him to send his plane to fly me and my son down here, it was a great gesture. A lot of room for me and Marshall. We were throwing the football. Pretty cool experience. pretty cool father-son weekend.
By the way, as he's moving from event to event right now, you are the best, dude. Where are you headed right now?
I'm going to the game. I got Lynch, I got Faneca, I got these guys in the background.
Boys, how you? Congratulations! Yeah. Congratulations, boys! All right, Peyton. Oh, hey, there he is. Marshall, I hope you enjoyed that plane, pal. Hey, Peyton, last thing here. You talking to Tom Brady, you becoming friends with him. It was interesting to watch. Oh, yeah, take the photo. Take the photo. All right, we will wrap this up.
Well, I'll tell you, Pat, I don't think anybody can do what Tom has done. Look, I know how hard it was for me to get on the same page with my receivers, learn a new system, learn new coaches. But I had a full off season. I was injured. I was rehabbing. The fact that Tom has done this in a COVID pandemic off season, no time to meet with his receivers. He met with his coaches illegally by breaking into Byron Leftwich's house. So besides that, it's been incredible what he's been able to accomplish, and he deserves all the credit. His leadership is what's put the Bucs in this game today, and I have great respect for him because I know how hard it is, but he deserves all the credit.
Hey, how did you know Red 18 was coming?
Pat, I mean, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you telling that story and just growing the legend. That was about the 18th time I tried it. I was 17 going into that. And, you know, when it doesn't hit, you just keep walking. Nobody ever really tells you about it. So when it hit, I was as surprised as you were. And the reaction from some of the good old folks there in the casino that night was pretty special.
Well, I appreciate you doing that. You made me and those folks in the casino a bunch of money. Congrats on the Hall of Fame nod. Thank you for spending time. Enjoy yourself at the game, Peyton.
Pat, thanks, pal. I appreciate you.
The Sheriff, Hall of Famer, Peyton Manning.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome back to that show. Hour 3 on this glorious full first round Fallout Feel Good Friday, April 29th, 2022. Shall begin right now. Yeah. I left here right in a wolf shirt, AJ Hawk. We did a little research in Aaron Rodgers' house that we seen on the internet. It's a funicular.
Yep.
I believe that is correct.
I believe it's called a funicular, which is an incline, if you look at it, which is what takes Aaron from where he was talking to us last night all the way down to the beach, in which he has a full dinner set up with tiki torches and an entire show. That's what he did last night.
Every night?
Yeah, I think after the pick, I assume if you had an incline that took you from that gorgeous house right down to the beach, would you not do that? I think you would, right?
I would do that multiple times a day, yeah.
Yeah, and he probably did last night. We don't know. He felt like he was in good, but he might have just came back from it, actually. He rode up that day.
Yeah.
He's got full body massage on the beach with tiki torches, hopped into the funicular, goes up to his estate, and then he calls into us, and he's like, great show, boys.
Yeah.
It's been a great night, hasn't it? Is everything good? Everything's good. Great. Good for him. That's a different life there. You know, they talk about
the next level.
They talk about levels of shit. Hey, good for him. He's earned it. The Toxic Table's here. You guys are fantastic. One half of the Hammer, Dahn, Cowboys Town Diggs is here. And joining us back live in studio with an incredibly fresh pair of shoes on, ladies and gentlemen, Darius Butler. Hey, what a night last night. I feel like we've done good last night.
It was a good night. Got a lot of great feedback. We had fun. Great draft. Good day for the NFL.
What you expected, not what you expected there.
A lot of trades, a lot more trades than I expected. But, I mean, at this point in the offseason, who knows what to expect. So I thought it was electric. And like you said earlier, not too many people you come away and say, "Oh, they lost."
Hey,
so,
this off season. You add A.J. Brown, Hollywood Brown into that, right? Just into the offseason. We're gonna lump that into the draft, and the draft's gonna be its own thing. But if you look all the way back, Devontae, Russell, Tyreek, A.J. Brown now, Hollywood Brown, the rumblings of Aaron potentially moving, all of the play. I mean, this
Deebo.
is Deebo Samuel,
Matt Ryan,
Carson Wentz traded.
Carson Wentz. This has been insane, Darius. Absolutely insane.
It's wild. NFL gotta love it, man. They always dominate the headlines, but this year, I mean, with players, pulling their power moves, teams just, going and saying F those picks, man, you got to love it.
You're a businessman. There's a lot of new ownership potentially coming to the NFL. Broncos allegedly being sold by the season starting, then maybe the Commanders. I mean, we have no idea what's going on there ever. If he doesn't get he's saying he didn't do what they're saying he did.
Right.
He didn't steal from the other owners,
Yeah.
which is obviously what you would say if you were being accused of stealing from your business partners. But new ownership in the way the NFL is getting younger, I think we're going to see a lot more active off seasons. Like I think we're going to see this a lot more where teams are going to want to win right now, and I fucking love it, D-Bud.
I mean, you got to. The old days, you draft a quarterback, you sit him for a couple years till he's ready. You do this now. If you're not winning 2 years in, we trade your ass. Nobody's picking up. You see the Raiders; they just declined 3 fifth-year options today.
Yeah.
So that's
all first round,
that's
all three
crazy.
first-round picks.
Yeah, who's it? Abram?
Jacobs, and Farrell, yeah.
No fifth-round options. They did pick up Kyler Murray's option for the Arizona Cardinals, I think just yesterday or 2 days ago. That was breaking news, then it wasn't breaking news, then there was a source off, and I believe
AZ Bobby Mack.
AZ Bobby Mack had that first.
He did.
At AZ Bobby Mack, because he reported that they picked up Kyler Murray's fifth-year option. And Schefter said they still have yet to decide, 10 hours later. So all of a sudden, our office were like, whoa. Arizona Bobby Mack, who's got the better source? Schefter, we got a source off here. We got a classic source off. Yeah. And then Ian Rapoport came in, I think a day or two later, and was like, they have picked up his fifth-year option. So Bobby Mack knows his shit. Not as much as the man that's joining us right now, though. There's a man that's joining us that for 30 years has been telling everybody what the NFL is about to do. So much so that he doesn't even do the day-to-day anymore because he would just dominate that so much and nobody else would be able to eat. This guy is a scoop-stealing, wheeling-dealing NFL legend. A man who predicted the top 10 picks last night with his social media team. He has screenshots to prove it. That's because #JNew. Author of a New York Times bestseller, I believe. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, Fox Insider, an NFL Network analyst, draft cover. No, he doesn't do anything for NFL Network.
Fox.
Just Fox. Last time he was on Fox Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, Jay Glazer.
Yay!
What's up, dude?
How am I looking?
You look amazing. How's Vegas?
Fuck me.
Okay. All right, yeah. That's what we figured there. I don't know how everybody's doing Vegas for 4 or 5 days right now. That seems to be aggressive.
Well, my dumb ass came out. So Sean McVay and Raheem Morris, like, when are you going to draft? I'm like, I got to do it next week. They're like, we got no picks. We'll come out early. So we came out on Friday with us and our friends. We got these friends, Avi and Neil, and their wives. We came out and, I've been here for probably about 5 weeks right now, even though it's been 8 days.
Spent 5 weeks in Vegas one weekend. I understand.
Crazy glued this tooth in this morning, and the only thing I'm missing is the Tyson tattoo.
Hold on. What? Hold on. Did you actually had to crazy glue a tooth into your face? What happened? What?
Yeah, I really did.
What happened?
Like 10 minutes ago, huh?
What happened?
Sometimes you just lose a tooth.
Oh, Vegas. This is awesome. Jay, this is awesome.
No.
What's
I got a bone to pick with y'all.
What?
What do you mean?
With your fucking Jason Glazer. What's the fucking lisp? We've talked about this.
What?
I don't have a lisp when all my teeth are in.
No.
And, by the way, okay, he was saying that I was out there with hookers and strippers, and that's not true. I'm Jewish. I love my money. I do not give it up.
Hold on, hey, that's not you, by the way. That's Jason Glazer, distant brother. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, hey, happy to see you're okay. There's still a few more days left. Let's make it to the finish line.
What do you say?
Let's make it to the finish line, Jeff. And nobody can, literally, as soon as you can check the tape. As soon as I heard everybody was going to be in Vegas for 5-6 days, I literally said, I don't know how anybody's going to accomplish that feat. I haven't been able to do 3 days or more there ever in my life. Even when it was scheduled to 4, I walked to the front desk, got in a taxi, went to the airport, bought a flight, flew home. I was home by the time everybody I was with woke up. I said, I can't do another day. I can't do it. It's too much. Vegas is insane. I'm happy to hear you're enjoying it. What are you hearing about the first round and why it went the way it went? We saw you tweet out a picture of your notes section of you predicting the top 10. How did you know? It felt like this year nobody knew. #Jay knew, obviously. But do you know what's going on? Did you know what was taking place there? Because the trades came out of nowhere, and this offseason's been insane.
But here's what happens. I don't do a mock draft because I don't want to lie to the fans. So if a guy says to me, listen, we're going here, and this is what a lot of teams will do, and this is what I love doing. I love being the inside guy where a team will say to me, listen, we're going to let you know what we're going to do, but you can't use it. But where do we have to move? Do we need to move up? Do we need to move down? Are we okay where we want to stay? And, for me, I don't want to lie to the fans. So if a team says to me, listen, this is what we're doing here at number 4, but you can't say it, Glaze, then I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to lie to the fans. So I stopped that years ago. I sat one year in the Saints draft room before they moved it to 10 minutes, which, by the way, if people want to know what it's like in those rooms, it is not ADD conducive.
Oh, yeah.
Boring as fuck. If you have a pick early on, and then especially back then when you didn't have just one day, I mean, when one round in one day, it was like 3 rounds in the first day. It was a lot of that, man.
Are you the reason they changed it, I wonder? Jay Glazer can't do it anymore.
Hey, bitchin', no. But, as a result of that, I'm like, man, I know what they're going to do. I can't put it out in a mock draft. And as a result, all my guys have appreciated over the years, and they've said, hey, we kind of want your help here. Just, I don't tell them who somebody else is going to take. I just tell them if they have to stay where they are, or, hey, why don't you temper your expectations here for your owner that guy's not going to be there. Or these be there. So as a result, they tell me what they're going to do going in, and I usually do it for Fox Sports Radio. I kind of set it up beforehand, and that's what I love doing. I did it for a couple of years for NFL Network also, but it's pretty cool. I love doing this. But for me to go 10-10, usually I'm like, I'm not that much. And my guy Scott Schmertz hit me yesterday. He said like number 7 or 8. He's like, have you looked at this? I'm like, no, I'm on radio. He's like, you got the first 8 so far. He's like, how positive are you on 2? I said, I'm pretty good on 2, the next 2 and 3 and 4. And man, it was pretty cool though. Even for me, I was just like, it's because of the trust that people give me.
Hashtag best thing. Hashtag Jay knew. Jay knew. That's what it is. It's hashtag Jay knew. You know what I mean? That's just
trust. It's pretty fucking cool. I gotta say.
I agree. Go ahead, AJ.
Jay, without you don't have to kill anybody, but who do you think may have struggled in the draft or didn't have a night that you thought they may have coming in?
Well, here's the thing. Let me go back. Can I first say who I think did great?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Both New York teams. Man, love what the Jets did. Love what the Jets did. Yeah. Love what the Eagles did. It's so easy to kill Howie Roseman, and all of a sudden, yesterday, even his own players were like, we love Howie. I think there might have been a free Howie thing on there somewhere. I don't know. But he's an easy target. Love what they did. Love what the Jets did. Love what the Giants do. Giants, they've got to start changing their some culture in there. And I love what Joe Shane and Brian Dibble are doing there. As far as who didn't do well there, man, Green Bay's still not coming away with a wide receiver, even though where they were was hard to get a receiver. I think New England's pick was a stretch all the way up there.
Whoa!
Really, and I'll tell you a funny story. My guys also, when I'm on the clock, when they're on the clock, a little bit before I'll say who you're going to have, and somebody from the Saints room texted me, place. And I'm like, place? The fuck is place? So I'm like, what? And I'm like looking through all my notes, who is place? Because you never know. There might be a guy that fall in love with in the 6th round. And then I'm like, fuck, I don't want to bother this dude. I'm like, place, who's place? He's like, my bad, autocorrect, Olave.
That's amazing.
So when the Patriots pick him up, somebody in there sent me the same thing. And they're like, strange, 10 chat or something like that. I'm like, this must be another autocorrect. Well, another team's going to want to keep bothering this guy. And they're like, what are you talking about? Finally, one team, when I said, hey, strange, 10, they're like, Tennessee, Chattanooga, strange. And I'm like, for Patriots in 1, they're like, no, that's no. Go back and ask your guy again. So I was like, there's no way we got this guy later on. And I was like, no, it really was. So listen, for me, you never know because there may be a guy that sit there in the first round and ends up being a huge steal later on.
Strange.
But we see too many of these guys that just don't make it. I just think it's a different league these days.
What a game the draft is, it sounds like. Honestly, there's so much information trying to be accrued by everybody who can learn, who can smoke and mirror somebody too. You know, who can sell somebody a little bit. Go ahead, Jay.
I thought going in that there was going to be runs, like specific runs. So I thought once those tackles went boom, right, there's going to be a quick, once the first one went, there'd be a quick run there. Once the first receiver went, bam, there'd be a run there. And it did. Also, and everybody started trading up. Once there was a couple corners later on, bam, all these defensive backs were taken also. So I thought there was going to be runs, but it's still, the biggest surprise for me is, I was talking, and by the way, there's Raheem Morris calling right now, probably to bitch me out that I just said we were in Vegas together.
Hey, cheers, Coach. Cheers.
At least they're listening. I think the day before the draft, I was talking to Mike Tomlin, and he's like, man, there's no way those two quarterbacks can be there for us. I said, Mike, I think at least one of them will. I thought the sweet spot there was Carolina. I didn't know Carolina wanted to tackle. I know the owner and head coach eventually going to want a quarterback. Are they going to be able to, withstand some of the pressure to try and get one of those guys early? Because you can get them later, even though they don't have a 2 or 3. But this really is a draft for quarterbacks in that 3rd and 4th round. I said, man, if Carolina doesn't go, which I think they end up going tackle because that dude from NC State is just a beast. Mike, I think you got both these guys looking at you. And Mike, he's like, nope, no way. Jay, no way. There's no way somebody's going to sit there and just going to let them drop to us. No way. People are going to make a run at this. I haven't had one team say that are asking, they're trying to trade up. I'm just telling you. I don't think you need to either. And so I think he was shocked yesterday when both were sitting there at 20.
Well, thanks, Jay. I think all Steelers fans are saying, because there's a video of Tomlin walking into the room where he's going to call Kenny Pickett, and he's literally like skipping, like, all right. And then he's like pushing somebody out of the way. And then he's like, hey, Kenny, you want to stay in Oakland, basically, which is where University of Pittsburgh is and where UPMC is. He looked elated about it. Tone, go ahead.
Jay, with that, you mentioned 2 quarterbacks there. So if Pickett was gone, do you think they would go Willis? And you think them traveling around all these pro days, was that smokescreen? Like, did they know Kenny was their guy the entire time?
No, they flipped back and forth. After the combine, they went over to Malik Willis, and they spent more time. But Kenny Pickett's been in their backyard. But that, here's just, the thing of the combine, we're all ready to anoint people in certain draft picks right out of the gate, right? And then all the interviews start happening. Even at the combine, you get 15 minutes with these dudes. It's really those top 30 visits, top 50 visits that you'll start to get to know these guys a lot more. And that's when, and here's the other thing, gang, teams do not set their draft boards until the week of. So every time you hear or see a mock draft, they're not set. And then what happens is, then once they set their board, then they bring people in there and they have their own mock drafts. And they kind of argue over those. And they say different scenarios. And when in some of those mocks, they're like, oh, that guy could actually be there for us. Then they start almost readjusting their grades again on that Tuesday, on that Wednesday. Thursday, teams are still shifting around what they want to do. So Thursday, you've had 365 days to get ready for this thing, and you're still shifting these. I put something out the other day. There was a day, the Cowboys one year. For weeks, they were set on Sean Merriman with the 11th pick of the draft. Set. And then they came in that morning of the draft, and they're like, we started watching DeMarcus Ware again last night. Let's change over to DeMarcus Ware this morning. And that really happens a lot more than you guys might know.
It worked out, by the way, whichever way would have worked out there. There was another story you told on your Instagram, and I actually shared it. You said that there was a guy who didn't answer his phone who probably would have won top 5. Because he didn't answer his phone, the team did not trade up and get him, and they actually just got lucky enough that he fell to them in the teens. That's like a $30 million missed call in the old CBA. We don't know how long ago this was. You've been covering the draft for 30 years. That's a real story, and you even said in there the person probably doesn't even know to this day. What a heartbreaker. What a heartbreaker for that person.
It was a team that was sitting in the top 5. They were trying to trade out with somebody. A team was trying to trade into the top 5. And because the player they wanted was not a top 5 player, right? He was later on, but that was their guy. And that's where they're trying to trade out. They just didn't like the draft capital they're getting back. So at one point, there's like 5 minutes left on the clock or 3 minutes. I go, you know what? Tell him trade is off, and let's just call the kid and tell him we're going to select him all the way up high. Well, yeah, the kid didn't answer his phone because he never thought he's going to go that high, I guess. Never answered his phone. To this day, has no idea. So the team took it as a sign. Well, didn't answer his phone. It's a sign. Let's call that trade partner back, and let's see if they'll up their ante. They did up their ante. They ended up making the trade. That team went all the way up top 5. The original team came all the way back into the teens, and they still selected that player in the teens. But, yeah, that was a very expensive missed call.
Did that player go on to have success?
Yep.
Are you friends with that person? Have you ever gotten a little boozed up and almost told him?
What?
I stay away from that because I know I wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to help myself. I was like, Sean, you know you're supposed to go to Dallas right there. He's like, yeah, thanks for telling me, man. Appreciate it. Thanks.
That's amazing. Light switch would have been loved in Texas. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jay, you mentioned Carolina not taking a QB. Have you heard anything about the possible QBs on the market, and also, San Fran? Do you know anybody in there and what their thoughts are with both Deebo and Jimmy G?
I mean, Jimmy G is just hard right now because of the shoulder. Deebo, unless they don't want to trade him. So, and look, guys, there are contract situations that have gotten messy and sloppy over the year. Look what happened with your guy Aaron last year, even though it wasn't contract. But, man, it looked like he was gone, then all of a sudden everything's good again. So there's always ways to mend. I remember when I was at CBS breaking into the NCAA tournament that Michael Strahan, who just broke the sack record, is absolutely done with the Giants, will never play for the Giants ever again. And I absolutely believed him. And if it was a time during Twitter, it may have happened that way. And he didn't go to camp that year, and they've since retired his jersey. Right? So there's ways to mend. I think in this situation, the 49ers do love him so much, and they wanted someone to blow him out of the water. Nobody blew him out of the water. Like, they wanted to get 2 number ones. And they didn't want to get that either. They really don't want to trade him. So somebody needed to really come and blow him out of the water and convince them with some sort of trade. And as far as Carolina, you could look at Jimmy, but he's, again, the contract and the shoulder. And Baker, for all these teams that have had any talks with the Browns and Baker, they want the Browns to pick up some of his money, and they won't. So that's kind of the holdup in that situation.
Jay, I think the guy who's going under the radar the most is probably the top overall pick. Travon Walker, he goes to Jacksonville. I feel like we don't really talk about him a whole lot now. Being the number 1 pick is a giant deal. You think this is the right pick by Jacksonville?
I wouldn't have wanted to be in that top 3 or 4 or 5. That's tough because there were so many holes in guys. I say holes because you got to be kind of damn near perfect, this 9+ grade if you're the first pick in the draft. So here's a guy that wasn't featured at Georgia. He did so many other things there. What I was told that teams really started to fall in love with is they got the practice tape from Georgia. Because if you just look at Georgia, you're going, man, this guy is just, what is he? He's playing 3 technique. He's over here. He's over there. He's just, how come he doesn't win these one-on-ones? It wasn't really focused for him. So if you get a defense that's set up to focus on him, the way Michigan used Hutchinson, then, man, you might have lightning in a bottle. But they got a lot of practice tape, and they said in practice, the stuff he didn't practice was just ludicrous.
Oh, that's such an interesting thing because you can be judged on that because there's a lot of practice.
And you're playing Georgia.
Well, yeah, but there's a lot of practice heroes too. Like that is almost something that's even talked about. Like, hey, this guy practice hero.
Thursday All-Americans in college.
Yeah, exactly. Not that Walker wasn't a stud on game day or whatever, but the practice film is fascinating because then you can see the real upside. And it's like, how do we get this to show up on game day? Which, by the way, Doug Peterson has proved he can coach in the past.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead and get that thing done.
A lot more just, look, you guys have seen, right, straight up one-on-one pass rush drills and things like that. Where in a game, the scheme may not allow you to be in that situation.
I saw Robert Mathis hit a great tackle in Anthony Costanzo in a one-on-one drill with a fake spin, another dip-de-do, 360 up and under thing, and Costanzo blocked air on that one-on-one, and Costanzo, I think, threw his helmet or took his helmet, and that clip got sent around in a lot of text messages. Look what happened to Costanzo today. So those one-on-ones, by the way, very unfair for the fucking offensive lineman normally, but there is some exposure that can happen in those things.
Oh, yeah.
Robert Mathis used to.
Yeah, I can imagine.
He fucking went hard every day, though, that guy. Like, every fucking day he was going.
I used to sit there. Here's how old I am, but I used to sit there and watch Jumbo Elliott against Lawrence Taylor in practice on one-on-one pass rush drills, and holy fuck, was it unbelievable. And Jumbo used to fucking poke him in the eyes and grab his throat, leg whip him. And LT turned around, fucking Jumbo. And they just used to get after. I mean, dude, it was a Tyson Fury heavyweight fight every single time. It's just one-on-one pass rush drills. And a lot of times, there was one, I think it was before the Super Bowl in Buffalo. Parcells specifically put like those guys against Jumbo to piss him off. Because if you got Jumbo pissed off, like, watch out. And him and LT got into it so bad, they were like, okay, whoa, that's it. Drill is cut off. They might have ended practice over it.
Nah, there had to be a fight, I assume. The one-on-one drills were awesome. So
Jumbo said something, LT said something, Jumbo said something back, you should have said, and then they're like, well, that's it. And Jumbo, no fucks given. And even LT is like, oh shit, this guy just went there. And yeah, they had to like stop. And I think they might have ended practice on that because they just didn't want an all-out brawl. But they're just trying to make sure that they got under Jumbo's skin because he had to go against Bruce Smith. But that was Super Bowl week against the Bills.
Oh, geez. We did not know that was Super Bowl week. I think everybody assuming that was training camp during your stories because I was about to talk about. Hey,
I think they're practice Super Bowl week in a short week.
Jesus. Here's the rankings for one-on-ones from a spectator standpoint. If you're at a practice, so what you need to go. The linebackers and running backs, worst one. It is so boring. It's probably hurts.
Most collisions, you go right in the A gap. You're watching guys just annihilate each other and end careers.
I agree, but goal line, you guys are getting beat up in that, but it is not spectacular to watch at all. I mean, there's big collisions, probably concussions, but it is pretty standard operation on what's going to happen there. Goal line drill is going to give you the same exact thing, but with a lot more people. Then you go, to the defensive end tackle one-on-one. Mm-hmm. That is prime time viewing, especially if you got two guys. Like if you got two guys that are really good, it's a good battle. Wide receivers, DBs, though, one-on-one, that is must watch. I mean, it is, as soon as that whistle blows, me and Vinatieri are on a beeline over to the, all right, who's going to make our team and who isn't going to make our team right now. It was electrifying to watch.
Unfair on the DBs, too, man. No pass rush, bullshit-ass routes from the receivers.
10 seconds.
Everything's against you. But that's when you find out, who the dogs are. Because the real top DBs, they want to go against the top receivers and vice versa. So it's definitely fun. Definitely a fun part of training camp.
Super Bowl week, seeing two of your guys just start brawling. Yeah. They're running one-on-ones, by the way, Super Bowl week. That's awesome. That is the change in football. That would not be happening nowadays. That's a wild time. Jay, we appreciate your time. We know you got a lot going on. I want to talk about the book, though, man. You've had so much success. We've gotten a chance to chat with you before the book was released, as the book was released, and now after it. How's the whole process been? Have you been enjoying the unbreakable being an author process? And it feels like you're really interacting with a lot of people with it all.
Yeah, it's been great because I'm trying to get mental health to be more proactive than reactive. Usually we go get a therapist. We talk to someone when the sky is falling, right? We don't do that physically. Physically, look, you're going to sit there and you're going to punt 1 million balls a day, right? So you're making sure you're always improving. We're always getting better. Mental health, we're not doing this. And I just went down and talked to the whole USFL. Eric Shanks, our boss at Fox, credit to him. He said, look, listen, I want to get ahead of this for this whole group of players. So I want you to come down and see if we can get a little proactive. And I went down then and I was like, listen, we don't have enough therapists for all of us. So we've got to be each other's therapists. So not just when the sky is falling, not just when that gray between our ears is getting dark, at all times, so it can help us out. And I had my son Sammy with me, and you had 400 or 500 players in that room. Fox bought all of them books. You can see they didn't want to be there at the start of it. But halfway through, I turned them, and every one of them got up, stand up afterwards, and asked to talk to me, like one-on-one after, just saying, Mr. Glazer, man, I have this anxiety, or I got this depression, but I never knew who I could talk to. And then all of a sudden, their teammates said, hey, man, you can talk to me. They're like, for real? Like, yeah, you can talk to me. That's what they're here for. And every one of us, we have some shit, and that's okay. Like, I'm fucked up, but I'm good with my fucked upness. And the more we could push this, Pat, like, I got to be honest with you, I thought it'd be rainbows and unicorns when I came out with the book. But I stopped all my treatment to write the book.
Yeah, we heard that. That was wild.
Because I wanted to be as raw as I could, because I wanted to help as many people as I could. And I'm like I said, I'm fucked up. Like, I got that darkness, which makes me where I am. It motivates me to get there. But I've never really gotten I never got back to where I was supposed to be. So as I've kind of taken this on, people lift me up by telling them how much it's helping, giving them the words now to talk to people and confide in their brothers and sisters or husbands and wives. It's lifted me. I still got a little room to go because I took off those 8 months. Me taking off 8 months of doing any sort of treatment is not good, because I do these IVs. I'll try the next greatest thing. I do meditation. I talk to therapists. I talk to my friends. But it's I kind of still have my ups and downs, and that's why I want to write this, because I'm going to be in this in real time with y'all. Because we got to do this shit together, man. We got to walk this walk together. So I appreciate how much you guys have pushed it. We've saved a lot of fucking lives together so far.
Well,
and I want to save them, but I want to continue to empower lives. We got to use our gray. The same way we're proud of our physical scars, we got to start being proud of our mental scars and start telling people, hey, I overcame this depression. I got this anxiety attack today. Man, I overcame this. This is how I did it. And start sharing it with each other.
Hey, team, fuck the great, pal. We've been following along the entire journey. Keep it going. The book's unbreakable. We appreciate you, Jay. Good luck the rest of the weekend surviving and talking about the NFL draft.
It's crazy glued in right here. All right, there you go.
Hey, get it together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Jay Glazer. Yay! All right.
God knows it all.
Hey, great mission statement. Great mission statement there at the end.
How did he lose his tooth?
That's the thing. Like, sometimes we get a connection with somebody where our voice cancels theirs, so we can't hear them. And it appeared as if he was just saying, like, Vegas or something like that. So what?
Yeah.
I mean, I have fallen down a flight.
From the Hangover movie, Ed Helms has his tooth knocked out, and then does he get the Tyson tattoos? So did it really come out, or was he just talking about hey, it's been a crazy trip?
It was he just saying, like, oh, Vegas.
Yeah, I thought it was maybe a Hangover reference, but then you asked, and he said he really did have to super glue his tooth in.
Yeah, he just put his face to the...
Pretty good super glue.
Oh, it's Jay Glazer.
Jay doesn't lie to the fans.
No.
Jay said a lot of things in there, and I would like to take a little time to chat about. Is Jay consulting every single team in the draft?
Like
yeah.
What's up, Darius? You don't got
and
an
the
answer?
USFL.
Darius, you don't have an answer for that?
I don't.
What's up, D-Bud? Come on,
D-Bud, fucking tell us your thoughts.
What do you think?
D-Bud, give us your fucking take.
I wanted you to finish your question.
So, because
he was 8 for 8 to start, and then he
10.
told Tomlin,
and
then he told Tomlin, you guys are going to be fine. So I mean, that's what 9 teams right there.
So think about this: if he didn't go to Mexico,
yes,
okay, Matthew Stafford, I don't think goes.
Yeah, that never happened.
To the Rams.
Nope.
So they're not Super Bowl champs. Okay.
Did he get a ring?
Probably.
I fucking hope so.
Yeah, they should get one.
I would hope
It's one
so.
every year.
Well, Whitworth did the running hot tub jump too. Remember
that was Drew Brees. He was with Whitworth. Drew Brees ran in and jumped. Remember?
He was in Whitworth's
Correct. Thank
suite.
you. I'm sorry.
Yes.
And it wasn't a hot tub; it was a skinny pool.
Yeah.
It was like an
infinity
lap
pool, if you will.
Yeah,
Much different.
plunge
Much
pool.
different. Okay.
Much different.
Yeah, it's a super nice place down there. It was a plunge pool.
Plunge pool. Yeah,
you're right.
That is the term.
Those are big now.
Anyways, let's move along now.
You can just stand in there and pee and not swim at all. It sounds like fun.
It's a big toilet.
That's what a plunge pool is.
That's exactly what it is. Plunge half your body in here, take a piss, and then act like you just did something different than what you're about to go do, which is go sit there and stare at something, take in sun. Now you plunge, now you're living.
Boom.
Anyways,
Hell yeah.
moving on. He told Tomlin they're both going to be there. Now you guys need to start focusing on who you actually want. Jay Glazer might be pulling the goddamn strings. With that being said, Darius, did you know that was happening?
No clue. And he was on the radio while this was happening too. So, shit.
Yeah, the radio.
You were tapped into the sources, though.
Yeah,
Hold on,
you were
doing this last night.
Yeah, but shit, a couple.
Not every team.
Hey, he's
What
been
a
in
deal,
30
though.
years, though. You know.
True.
D-Bud, hey, think about that. D-Bud, if you write a book, he said Fox got them all books, like 400 or 500 guys. Like, that's awesome. I'll come speak. You guys buy 500 books. That's how you do it now.
Yeah, I can't fucking talk to him all one-on-one after, though. I mean, shit.
I ain't got time. They're going to have to pay a little bit more.
But the teammates now can help with each other.
Did he talk to fucking Devion Smith, who got fucking fired for eating pizza over chicken salad? Because I'll tell you what, that'd bring me down if I lost my opportunity to play in the USFL because I want to eat something that tasted good.
And it was a clip that everyone got to watch online, too.
Yeah.
I followed him on Twitter for 4 days. He did not follow me back. I thought we were going to get him on the show. He's a different...
He might be completely zero dog 30 though. On
No, he's not. He's active.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, he's active on it. I was hoping to get him on the show because we do need to hear some of his thoughts. Still middle of the season, though. He doesn't want to probably burn.
Who was that coach?
That was Pittsburgh Mauler's coach.
That's right. Did you happen to see the clip from the USFL practice today, by any chance?
Of course not.
Guy was smoking a cig during linebacker drills.
Had a cig in a walkthrough. look like a cig.
Legend.
From the Gomblers, I believe TikTok account. It said,
Go get him, Belichick.
I thought it said has a sig during the drill. But I don't.
This dude's getting fired for eating pizza over chicken salad, and another team in the same league has got a guy blowing a Marlboro Red in the middle of fucking linebacker. The USFL is a melting pot.
It is. Gobblers don't care what you do as long as you play ball.
Oh, that was the Gomblers?
I was just going to say, it's the Gobblers difference. That's why they just, whatever you want to do to get ready for the game, go ahead and do it. I don't care if you're smoking.
Is it definitely a cig or is it a pre-roll?
It looks like a cig. Oh, yeah, he even gets interviewed after with the cig in his mouth.
Definitely a cig.
All right, this feels like that kid yesterday who sent in the video of him laying on the ground pouring beer in his mouth.
You think this dude is like, you know what, I'm going to put a cig in for linebacker?
Yeah, like, this is going to be funny. This is going to be sweet. Yeah, I get it. It is funny, bud.
That was posted on the team's TikTok?
Yeah.
The USFL.
See, they know. PR
here?
USFL tweeted
Look at this
that.
guy getting good reps behind him, and that guy at number 2.
Now, to be clear, I had met, big farming motherfucker. For a long time, farming motherfucker. Came from a farming family. His father farmed his father's farm.
Wow.
Okay? So he started chewing tobacco when he was like 11 or 12 years old. By the time he was 26, 27, his teeth were fucking
gone.
Terrible. So he actually started smoking instead of chewing because his teeth were so bad. I think this motherfucker been on John Deere a long part of his life. This guy used to be a chewer. Now he can't do it anymore because his fucking teeth are all... That is a cig. Yeah, it is.
Cig, yeah.
I love this guy.
This guy's the man.
I need a jersey.
It's a marketing plan.
How about Deebo there? Had a cig in the walkthrough. Think about the conversation in the locker room after this walkthrough, when everybody's learning of this dude having a cig during the walkthrough.
I mean, all right,
I'm with AJ.
What do you mean it feels weird?
Oh, this is a work.
Why? Because you don't.
D-Butt, you got me. D-Butt's with me.
Hey, come on.
I want it to be very real,
It's
but
kinda try hard.
I didn't see any smoke during that little interview.
You can't smoke on the field.
I will
And
say,
if you really like, Connor, you'll tell us, if you really like burning heaters, like, you're not going to hang out. Like, you're going to actually smoke, not just talk about it and try to look cool.
and also you're going to showcase your finger motion of how you smoke too. I think that is something,
depending
But those OGs a lot of OGs don't even use their hands to smoke cigs.
I was
Are you
just
talking
gonna
about just
say.
letting
Yeah, I
it
feel like
hang
it's a
from the
little more
mouth?
to the side, but
Yeah, you can let it hang. Like if you have to do something with your hands, and that guy is probably doing an interception
In that interview,
drill.
he's definitely going to utilize. He's going to showcase his swing.
and yeah,
He's
not
going to showcase how he, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean that is no.
It's
doubt.
not lit.
the first time
It
I
was
saw
lit. Run that. The top of that thing's lit. I think.
Unfortunately, it looks like he tweeted that it was a fake cig.
Yeah, see, there.
Wait, it's not even a real cig?
What? This guy fucking stinks.
It could be a vape cig.
Says
He
you
should get cut just because it was fake. Because if it
Bro,
was real,
I
it's one
agree.
thing.
If pizza's getting you cut, fake sig needs to get you banished from the league.
Yeah.
And real sig should get you a C on your goddamn chest.
hell yeah.
Let's get to a break.
Captain Sig.
Yeah.
Show me some kid with a water bong out there next walkthrough, and I'll respect him.
Hey, Laramie Tunzel, that NFT, that thing's up, by the way. The gas mask.
smart
We
man.
are going to be in the market.
Yeah.
We are going to be in the market. The Thunderdome is coming, and it does need some decoration.
Hell yeah.
And an NFT of something that I will never, ever forget as a positive for somebody.
Yeah.
As the entire world was looking down, he did not cough.
Yeah.
You ever hit a gas
Beast.
mask? You ever hit a gas mask?
No. Never.
Never. Seen one?
Seen one. Never hit one.
You're
I actually
retired,
saw
dude.
one
You're
that
allowed to tell us the
made
truth.
out of shoes. But
No, I'm not talking about that, dude. That's not it. Was that a Yukon? Guys are smoking out of shoes and
No.
Yukon?
It was
Jesus
a
Christ.
gas mask, but it was made out of like some Jordans. It was like some. like, it was dope. I'll look it up.
It was
But nah, I can't fuck with that. That's gas mask, the volcano, moon rocks, all that shit. Nah, just give me a regular pre-roll.
Hey,
cuz.
Volcano's okay. It doesn't do much. Volcano doesn't do shit.
No.
With the
The
bag?
bag.
I don't think it does anything.
That 12-foot bag.
I honestly, that is my least favorite way of going about smoking.
Where we used to huck that bag around the room. With
Yeah. Dude, fucking crow hopping and throwing that thing.
Oh, yeah.
That's like one hit, you're good. Right?
I don't know. Not for me. It was. I was
Supposed to be healthier for you.
I was trying to smoke that thing like a helium balloon, dude. You know what I mean? I wasn't getting nothing. Gas mask will kill you, though. Gas mask will take out the best smokers. That's why when Laramie didn't fucking budge, I was like, get that dude on your roster.
This guy can play an NFL game underwater. Yeah.
He might be a fucking Iron Man.
Negotiated his own
100 mil.
respect.
I'm a big fan of Laramie.
Yeah.
Respect. He said he's been trying to put that day behind him or whatever. I assume that has affected some of his
Did you
conversations.
see it? Hey, I saw he talked to Complex and he said, I'm talking one time about it. What did he say? Did he tell you what the story was?
I think it was he wanted to move on from it. That's why he's doing the NFT.
But who put it out? Wasn't it like a family member that put it out or whatever?
Yeah, stepdad, right? Something like that.
Wow. What a shady move.
Yeah. Wow. Somebody paid him off?
Yeah, probably another team, right?
Wow.
Really? Another team said, hey, you got this. Go ahead and do
It had to be
that.
like a personal thing. Like,
dude,
you really think a team reached out to a guy's dad and said, hey, put this video out of your son?
They had to be on the outs, right? I would assume.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I'm guessing you don't have a great relationship if you're releasing footage of your son like that 4 minutes before he's supposed to be drafted.
Well, unless you're getting paid well, yeah, because you're losing out on a lot.
I don't
of
care if
money.
he paid $10 billion. I mean, it's your kid, right?
Yeah. Biggest day of his life.
$10 billion, though.
Well, listen, I don't want to say Chris Jenner's ever done anything like that, but if the money outweighs what the signing bonus would have been, you have to think about it. But
Is it your son or is it a source? Who is it?
Or are you Ian Rapoport or are you a human?
I'm saying how different
All right,
people
me
look
off.
at things, in different viewpoints. So I'm just trying to put myself in their head.
I still don't fully comprehend how that was an outright negative in everybody's mind that was on TV at the time.
Not with me. I was with you, and I don't know anything about that world like you might know, like with the gas mask, how impressive it was. But I was like, this dude's awesome.
And I think he had a bong attached to the gas mask.
Yeah.
So normally you have like a steamroller, which is just a pipe that you put in there and you have to block the front and then you open it and it goes right in. That's attached to the gas mask. Normally that's like, I think, standard operation because the way the gas mask. He had a bong attached. By the way, steamroller down here on the level of how much you're getting. Bong up here and then gas mask up here. He had those two together.
Yeah, combined. Double stacked.
He had those two together and he didn't fucking even call. I was like,
Might have went up by draft board.
He did.
To be honest with you.
I think I texted Chuck, if I do recall, like, hey, fucking
Go get this guy out.
Listen, I know you guys don't smoke a lot, but that is one of the most impressive feats I have ever seen with somebody's lungs. And he takes it off.
Yeah.
All right, fuck it. Let's go to work out of here. All right, we're back in 4 minutes with Darius Butler, some phone calls and more chatter about breaking news. Have you chatted with Hollywood Brown and all? Some quotes have come out. He said, told Lamar, hey, this ain't about you. This is about the system that we're running around here. We'll talk the business decisions that are being made, what could happen tonight, and more in 4 minutes on this fallout of the first round. Feel Good Friday, April 29th. Goodbye. SmackDown Rumble Championship weekend.
We just had another Super Boost.
Oh, yeah. What a fucking 3-day run. I'm lucky to live this life, and I'm thankful that you all watch.
Hey, here we go.
All the wins. Yeah. Everybody gotta get a no call to quits. Yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets. Yeah. But I'm moving out the way 'cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You might get my home. You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out.
Please work with us, Jerry. Hey, my dude.
Squeeze the Bible. Yeah.
Wow, that's what I was trying to do.
I have a good
I'm giddy. I am so pumped. It's like the night before the first day of school when you were a kid. I know it's being said that the GOAT of the NFL, Tom Brady, is retiring. Well, the GOAT of the WWE, Roman Reigns, is in his prime at his peak. Hey, happy birthday! Happy birthday! All right, our sources haven't confirmed whether or not Drew McIntyre can be standing up, but come on, Cole! Come on, Cole! Feel it, Cole!
You better move, you might get knocked out. Knocked out. You better move, you might get
Coltrane has gone to the sky.
I'm dangerous, down, wonder when I'm anxious. Ain't no limit till I tank. I'm running on fumes, the opposition don't amaze. The road switching through the pavement, get your hands out of my bag. I know this because I've been in it. Where's that? Guess what happens when you taking care of your business. But some family, you do the math. I'm out of my pocket. You still got a problem, I ain't perfect, let them.
Oh, fuck you, Pin.
Cole, that is one of the worst of all time.
The worst pores of all time. And a baby Foxy! Just so everybody knows what he's doing right now. And a stick. Chameleon gold and magenta jacket. Big Cuban link, obviously good launch, pinky chain. Gold-plated Steve Madden's.
When I woke up this morning in beautiful St. Louis, the air smelled better, food tasted better. Tonight, dreams come true, surprises are in abundance. It's Royal Rumble, let's go!
It is an honor to see the man.
Once your ratings get this low, then I'll come to Buffalo.
That's why you're a good guy.
A jackass has entered the Royal Rumble. Jack, great to see Wee Man is still alive after Brock Lesnar put him through a 4 seasons table last night. He is dressed like a jackass, he is a jackass, and he's in the Royal Rumble. He looks good, it sounds good. St. Louis is ready. The alpha male of our species is infuriated. Jump over the rope bed, buddy. You got 2 tours. You got fans, you got music to make. You want to poop your pants immediately? Be in the Royal Rumble when this man is announced. I'm buying all of the depends that they have because Brock Lesnar, after a brutal fight with Bobby Lashley, comes into the Royal Rumble. It is an absolute ass-kicking machine.
We just had another Super Boost. Back to back. Back to back. What?
If you had a long night last night, but still need to be productive.
Oh, like today.
Yeah, like today. Well, Roman, today's sponsor, has launched Roman Focus, a nootropic dietary supplement that boosts your cognitive function and brain health. Big words. A team of Roman's in-house team of doctors obsessively researched ingredients to formulate this proprietary blend. The caffeine and L-theanine to support calm.
L-theanine.
L-theanine?
Theanine, yeah. Does this have the dong medicine in it too?
Is this nootropics?
This might be nootropics. There's no dog medicine in this. This is for focus, and those are Roman swipes also available.
And they also have testosterone stuff, which they say is for the dong. This is a different thing, though. This is a Roman's is a men's health brand all around.
They cover everything now. It's crazy, the new products.
Hair, skin, dick, sex, and
focus. And they also have American ginseng to help promote memory and cognitive function.
In the middle of that you did so good.
Just 2 capsules deliver the same amount of caffeine as 1 cup of coffee. If you're ready to lock in, go to GetRoman.com/Pat for $15 off your first order of Roman Focus plus free 2-day shipping. GetRoman.com/Pat. Hell yeah! Here we go.
Hey, L-theanine, you said?
Yeah.
L-theanine, I think. I don't know. Depends
you
on
do know.
Yeah,
this is something you do know.
You work at the GNC on the weekends. We know.
Hey, if you work at GNC, you got to know everything about every single thing.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah, and you don't got to go there.
I'd have worked there in high school.
What is L-theanine?
I don't know.
Yeah,
you fucking. You were
just said it.
You were correct. You were Jay Glazering him.
I've heard people talk about it. Whatever. I have no idea what it does.
Hey, Darius has some questions on the entire process of the USFL speech Jay gave, and then afterwards. Have you ever been in a football room where somebody spoke, and then if everybody asked to speak with him,
500 or 600, right?
400 to 500. I forget. I don't know.
Yeah, 400 to 500.
That's
400 to
manageable.
500.
Manageable.
Hey, that is a tough room. That is a tough crowd to speak in front of. That's why, and this is going to sound.
That's some good ones.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's
John Durham, boss.
If you can speak in front of a football locker room, an NFL locker room, who everybody in there is successful. Everybody has a story, by the way. Yeah. And if you, everybody's from different. There is so many different. If you can do that, you should be pretty comfortable. I actually felt really good going in and do stand up in front of a bunch of people because I was like, well, I fucking have spoken in the locker room before. What are we even fucking talking about here? To speak and get everybody to turn, and then want one-on-one meetings afterwards. Fuck, he's making some change, Darius.
Hey, I think it depends on what time of the day, too. You catch us at the end of the day or after a walkthrough, guys ready to get up out of there. It's different. Maybe he caught these guys in the morning, fresh off of coffee, some flower seeds, motivated.
Some seeds. Think about it. If it took place of a football meeting, then you guys would be locked in. You want them to go for 2 hours because you're like, hey, no, because we got to go to special teams after this. You can keep going as long as you want.
Oh, let's go to special teams.
Yeah.
Hey, let's focus on special teams.
I'm just saying. Then we're trying to miss as many meetings as we can by this speech.
The best meetings of all time, NFLPA, always scheduled about week 13. Everybody's hitting about the wall. Week 14. 14, end of Wednesday's day. Wednesday is install day. So, there's the first special teams meeting, then there's a team meeting, then there's individual meetings, which they're so long. Yeah. You guys have to watch so much. I'm working on cornhole. I got some other stuff going on, obviously, while this is taking place. Then there's a walkthrough, then there's lunch, then there's practice, then there's another meeting, and then guess what? Boom, let's put that NFLPA meeting right at the end, the yearly one. This thing will start at about 6:30 at night, all right? And we got this opening video that's 13 minutes long about why the NFLPA is the NFLPA. We got your Madden checks, all right? We got your Madden checks.
Not till the end, though.
Not till the end. Yep. And by the way, we will have questions, a chance for questions. So after that 13-minute video run is 7:45 at night. It is the middle of the season. It is Wednesday. And we got checks on the other side. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, perfect. Here's your $11,000 from Madden. Here's your $11,000 from Madden. Here we go. Thank you so much. That's off and running. It's proper placement of a meeting, depending upon what part of the day you need it in. Those meetings were rough.
Yeah, I used to hate, and somebody always had a fucking dumbass question, too.
They're not going to answer it. Okay, don't ask. Whatever you were asking,
come talk to us after.
Yeah,
talk to us after me.
That is in all jobs in all walks of life. When you have a meeting in Cube Life and someone asks a fucking question, you are not a popular human being.
Yeah, and you always got to feel it out because every once in a while, some of those speakers have like a question they want an answer. But nobody wants to speak because nobody wants to extend the entire thing. But then somebody needs to get the fucking answer right too. So it's like, all right, how long do we got to do this little cat and mouse game? Mm-hmm. How long do we got to do this? There was a couple great speakers though that came in. You remember that? Was it the E.T.? E.T. came in. You remember when he said, "Where we used to do the voiceovers in the basement." Camera guy in the back of the room. Camera guy in the back of the room was holding.
Who's E.T.?
The terrestrial.
Eric Thomas.
Hip hop preacher, Eric
Thomas.
Thomas.
Oh, walk into the ocean and drown yourself.
Yeah. When you want to succeed, as you want to breathe, only then will you be successful. He came in, and we had all known him, right? We had all seen this guy on the internet. Now we got to feel it, in real life. And he had his camera guy in the back, and there was some give and take between him and the camera guy. And the camera guy had a little small camera, so literally the entire room turns around, and that guy gives an answer. It was like, all right, okay. So it's a little interactive, and he said, raise your hand if you're from the bottom, And everybody was like judging everybody's bottom, who is from the most bottom. And then that is awesome in NFL locker rooms, like who's from the toughest, who's from the hardest, who is the baddest.
You're never gonna get to the bottom of it.
Boom. So everybody raised their hand, right? Everybody raised their hand. And I was like, man, I literally lived at the bottom of a hill, in a hilly town, in a small house or whatever. So I almost went to raise my hand, and I feel like E.T. looked at me, and he was like, no, who's actually from the bottom? As I was raising my hand, I was like, all right, not me, I guess. Not me, E.T. I apologize, but that was a good one. I enjoyed. He had a lot of energy in that. I enjoyed.
Navy SEAL. I think that was probably the best one.
Oh,
you're a little heavy. I forgot his name.
Know your why. What's your tribe? That whole
sharing your scars. He was talking about some of the missions. He was a good one.
That's awesome. He was the one who he was big boy. He played football. I think for Navy. He was a fullback.
Nice. Yeah.
He was a SEAL team. I think.
Damn. Frank Luntz killed it.
Okay, so Frank did stink. In ours, did he do good in yours? I don't know if he did. In ours, it was training camp, and it was at the end.
I believe he gave the save presentation to us, and he tried to get clapped off 4 minutes in.
There's a lot of that. Training camp meetings.
I felt terrible. Felt awful for him. That hit me.
I felt awful.
Yeah.
I
bet you did.
Guys, stop doing that. This guy doesn't deserve this. Way to go, Frank. This guy does not deserve this, you fucking asshole.
I did not clap him off, but I was encouraging guys.
Okay.
You
let it clap, bro.
I did not start that.
Frank Luntz was the guy that was trying to tell us to speak like presidents, basically. He was like, he was the one, he had American flag shoes on. He was dressed like he was dressed like an asshole, I thought. But he had a pretty good message. He was talking about social media. He came in early with social media. He was after Avis. Avis Roper spoke one time. Those fucking meetings.
Yeah, they sound terrible.
The worst.
Well, didn't AJ do the slam poetry in front of the team for the rookie symposium?
Remember those couple guys? I think they were from your room.
Yeah.
That was from your fucking room.
That was bad. They made us look bad.
I cannot believe it.
Hey, that was from their fucking room, too. Like, that was a very...
I mean, what setting is that good?
Slam poetry
coffee
places?
shop.
Yeah, when you're at that...
Starbucks?
Like an open mic or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Was it like emotional?
Yes.
Oh boy,
it was very real. Like one person did it, and then the next day somebody tried to do it
Did
again.
he expect though? Do you think he expected to finish and like people were almost like tearing up and everyone's like, "Yeah, respect," as he walking up the aisle?
What if he did?
Well, he had to. That'd be unreal.
What if
he probably thought he was gonna get hugs from everybody?
Yeah, he's fucking pouring his heart out. But I mean, you gotta learn. That's when you fucking learn. When you're standing in front of a group, that's when you learn. Man, I was
Takes a lot
stressed
of balls,
out.
though. I give him
Hell
credit for
yeah,
that.
I was stressed out about the rookie shit. Like coming in because everybody's telling, "Hey, you can't do this, don't do that." We had to get up fucking early in the mornings and practice up in New England. That was probably one of the more stressful things in training camp.
You got to learn the defense, got to learn the team, got to learn the
learn
NFL.
teammates in New England too. So we had to know like O-lineman's name. I had to know where Matt Light went to fucking college.
Oh, yeah. Like, remember the
fucking
Titans?
know your team and have some
Purdue.
fucking respect for this guy.
Goddamn right.
Hey, Matt Light has a vodka right now, I think.
Yeah, he does.
Oh, I bet it crushes.
He's
awesome.
awesome.
Did you
Matt
know
Light's
that?
awesome. I did not know that.
You'd learn about
from
new
Ohio.
teammate every day, like remember Titans?
No, it was just you just had to stay on your toes.
Okay.
So he may ask you like, "Who's this guy?" You didn't fucking know him. Be like, "Oh, it's fucking Matt Slater. He's been to X amount of Pro Bowls, blah blah blah." So it was a good, team building.
Hell yeah.
Exercise.
That's actually a very good idea. I think more people should probably do it because there's a lot of
Patriot
mailing
way.
it in on. All right.
Hey, I'm just saying. It sounds like that is not something that's common, but it happens in New England.
It's not.
All right, let's go to the phones here in this last minute
Fucking
of the show.
Cole Strange, baby.
Right here.
Yeah.
That fucking guy.
Is Bill gonna get another Super Bowl?
What do you mean is Bill? You mean when is Bill going to get another Super Bowl?
Let's go to Steven in Massachusetts real quick. Steven, what's going on, pal?
Hey, what's going on, man? Thanks for taking my call.
Hey, no problem. You only got like 20 seconds. What's up?
Hey, so I just wanted to talk about the Patriots taking that pick, man. I thought it was funny that McVay was just laughing at it.
Well, we
All right, thank you, Steven.
Dynamite.
So calls. I told him he only had 20 seconds, AJ.
I wasn't talking to him.
Lamar Jackson's what the fuck tweet.
Yeah, clapping him off. I saw something on my TV.
Great
Yeah, I
save,
bet.
by the way, for Lamar last night.
We didn't know. We still don't know. Obviously, you knew about the trade a fucking month ago.
You think?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Chris Mad Dog Russo will have more information on that on the other side. We'll see you Monday, dude. Hit it. Nailed it. I don't think you know.
He knew.
Oh, okay.
They
Well-
said he knew.
And then Hollywood came. He said on
Well-
last night that he told him a couple times.
Calling you right now?
Is that Hollywood?
No. It's my guy.
You're like, well, that's what we're saying.
Lamar?
Not Hollywood.
Come on,
Lamar?
D-Bucks.
Lamar Jackson?
D-Buck, can you take the phone off so just in case a number pops up? Thank you.
Well, but I mean,
It
unless
almost
someone-
happened last night. That's why I asked.
What's going
On his phone?
Yeah. You can see it with the camera angle.
Good looks, Foxy.
Is that Hollywood? Good eye. Nah.
That happened with the Ravens last night. Their entire draft board was on TV.
Got revealed.
And then somebody tweeted it. They try to hold that in very high regard, I guess.
Wasn't it Jerry Jones too? He was like going to show them a
Hey,
paper.
look. Hey, look, I can fucking show you the. Hey, listen.
Jerry's hilarious.
Just 3 days ago, this fucking guy.
That's what we had him ranked.
Hey, zoom in on that one right there. This is where he was now. Just 3 days ago. Look, here's the asterisk. This is him. I actually drove that. He was here. Oh.
I shouldn't fucking.
Well, except for the quarter. None of these guys are available. Oh, shit. Listen, that's funny that we just did that. Jerry spun that thing real quick. Real quick. Mike McCarthy laughing about it, just like, oh, my God, what am I doing? Our practice field is surrounded by office buildings that anybody could buy. Here's the video of Jerry Jones giving away their entire draft card, basically. Their top 50, almost. And somehow nobody has tweeted this actually zoomed in or in focus. Here's Jerry Jones at the press conference after they make the draft pick of the Tulsa offensive lineman named
Tyler Smith.
Tyler Smith.
Of course.
Let me put it like this. We have both of them.
Okay.
This was printed 3 days ago below him. Both of those players are below him. Can you see that?
Steve.
Don't show him that. I'm not going to show him.
Jesus Christ. And McCarthy. Yeah. Happy you said it.
I feel like these are always the Saturday Night skits.
I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. No, we really did have them rated below it. No, we really did. Both of them.
Big Mike looks fit.
I love Big Mike's the man.
Well, hey man, let me just say this. The other part is I'm looking.
Good news is most of those players
I don't see.
are gone.
I'm trying to see who's on here. I'm trying to see who's on here. There wouldn't be, but if you take out the quarterbacks, it won't be anybody on here.
No, so he didn't do anything. Jerry knew.
Yeah.
Jerry knew.
He had to make sure after.
Hey, D, but Dallas Cowboys seem like a place I would want to play at. It just, honestly, at this point, it feels like with the ownership, with the way they allegedly you're taken care of in the community, you're going to be on national TV every single fucking week. But for whatever reason, you're not going to lose. It seems like a great place to be. Why don't they have
Not
success?
going to lose or win?
No, I'm sorry, not going to win.
Yeah.
Why don't they have success, you think?
That's a tough question.
What is it? I honestly wonder what the fuck it is
I
about.
don't know. A lot of teams don't have success, honestly, but it's been a while. It's just they're so hyped up so much. Like you said, though, a lot of pros come with it, though, especially after your career. You can go on TV, probably come back 10 years later and do autograph signings and make $50,000. So it's definitely worth it.
They
Go out there and
stink,
play for
though.
Cowboys.
Is that part of it? Like every year, it's like, hey, this might be the team that goes on and win the Super Bowl, and then it's okay. So if we don't win a Super Bowl, we kind of failed here.
Oh, everything's expectation in comparison to.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bad year in comparison to what we all thought they were going to be because Jerry Jones has hyped his team up so damn good.
Mm-hmm.
They got all-stars. They got superstars everywhere across the lineup.
I like playing for the Lakers. I just started Winning Time, too. You watch that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And Jerry West is not happy.
Supreme Court.
I didn't expect him to be based off his character. I mean, he's pretty.
He's a volatile character.
Yeah.
Looks like they got him accurate. I'm only about 4 episodes in, so.
Oh, hold on. Me too, I think.
Yeah.
Just wait till they get to Boston.
I have not got to Boston. When's that, episode 5?
I think that might be, is it?
So it's hard to watch
Not
now
caught up.
because I thought I was watching a documentary. And HBO has come out and they have stood by it. They said, we understand people are upset, but this is after years and years of research. We stand by, even though it's not supposed to be a documentary, it is not portrayed as a documentary. We stand by our writers and creators and how they are depicting it. So HBO is coming out and saying, no, like our research says that this is how you were actually as a human. And sorry about it to Jerry. And then Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is like, did you see him give the entire breakdown of how shallow all the characters were?
No, not the whole breakdown.
Oh.
But I do have. So you saw
Caricatures.
one of the early episodes when the kid came up and asked Kareem for autograph. Hey, fuck off, kid.
Yeah.
I did see a
Movie
couple
set.
people that I know say, hey, I met Kareem as a kid. I got the same treatment. So that part of it is for sure accurate.
Depending upon the day, you know, how sore his back is.
Yeah.
Obviously a superstar in there. You are unbelievable at basketball, D-Butt.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, man.
Well, not 5, though.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You lose.
Yeah, I
in
get
this
my ass
office,
whooped.
you
I'm
lose.
not really, I'm a gamer.
Oh, you have to have a little bit of.
I'm a gamer. It's got to be like really on the line. We're playing, competitive juices flowing. 100, money, all those different games. Pig, horse, I lose in that type of shit.
Oh, because you're.
I'm a gamer.
5-on-5 guy.
That's a game, though.
No, 5-on-5, 2-on-2, 1-on-1.
Yeah.
You play knockout with your kids. AJ plays knockout with his kids every day.
Mm-hmm.
That's a game.
Never
Which one's
wins.
knockout? Is
Knockout, you shoot 2 people in a row, and then the people behind them shoot.
Oh, the layup?
Yeah.
Yes.
I never played that. I've seen
Never
it.
played.
It's a great game.
Knockout's awesome.
I was actually a 3-time knockout champion at my summer basketball camp. Not to brag. But
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Hey, guys, D-Butt, please. Thank you. Jesus Christ.
I hated knockout, personally. Hated the game.
Why?
People tried harder than me, they won. All right, good for you.
Are you playing the knock balls?
Self-handicapping?
I'm not self-handicapped. It's going to be hard for me to try in this game, I think. Like, this is going to be a difficult thing for me to want to break a sweat playing right now. But people break a sweat playing knockout. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Like, if we're going to break
Just strain your shots then. You don't have to sprint if you just make all your shots.
Well, that's the style of knockout player I am. If I go 10 for 10, I'm going to win. If not, I'm going to lose because the person behind me is going to try harder. They're going to hit my ball. I'm going to get pissed, too, by the way. Goddamn, I got to go fucking too quick. All the way over to get my ball. I hope you're happy. Dude.
Yeah, hitting the ball, that's a completely different game. If that's activated inside the knockout game, then you really have to put on your running shoes.
You did not win with the ball hitting.
No, because that's kind of like the street ball version of knockout versus the professional version of knockout, which is no.
Yeah, don't you play like at the yacht club, Connor? Is that where you won?
Exactly. No. This is basketball camp in the town, AJ. At the yacht club, there was ball hitting. Okay.
Of course, you scumbags.
Yeah, come on. What are we talking about? We're just
Oh,
having
blood
fun.
and guts over there.
Yeah.
Do you stand
Talking
by
about
saying
fights.
the quarterbacks are the second best basketball players on an entire?
I mean, if A-Rod said bump the receivers up, I can follow that. I can listen with him. But most quarterbacks, I played with some good quarterbacks. Most of them have a jumper. Josh McCown probably is one of
he's
the
a
best.
baller.
Tyrod Taylor, really good. Even Orlovsky can go a little bit.
Tannehill's a good player.
Yeah, a little bit. He can shoot.
Tannehill's probably a player. That's wide receiver,
Yeah,
right?
he's that. Yeah, Tannehill.
Aaron said put the wide receiver up there. He's wide receiver and quarterback. Josh McCown, that was the surprise of the internet, I think. When he was fucking
big time.
He was going on guys.
There's
there.
clips of Devontae Adams in high school, and he's an absolute baller.
Yeah.
Brady has a good J. He put that video post up his son.
Oh yeah, on his kid. He's got a little Dirk in him.
Yeah.
He's got a
Well,
little Dirk stuff.
quarterbacks, Glennon, I bet, is fucking nasty. Like 6'8", probably just smooth from 15 off the glass.
Yeah, but bro, his eyes on the court, he
Sees everything.
has got that. Yeah.
Playing point forward.
Yes.
Magic
Saw Nick
Johnson.
Foles drain a deep jumper.
Is he in the NFL still? Where is Nick Foles?
Still in Chicago.
Bears? Oh, yeah. He's there.
In this quarterback world, he has not even been chatted about. Have you ever
Got a
played against?
statue.
He does. He got a statue.
For now.
Him and Doug Peterson both got statues, and they're both gone. Howie Roseman, though, went from penthouse to outhouse. This guy fucking stinks. Why do we have an accountant as our general manager, is what the Johns were saying in Philly. Now, if you look at his Carson Wentz trade, he got Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown for this picks of getting rid of Carson Wentz.
Unreal.
That's impressive.
That's a hell of a move.
Getting the contract off the books is the biggest thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, but picked up $57 million here from A.J. Brown, I guess, but got off $100, I guess, million with Carson Wentz. Good for everybody, man.
Smart. Well, I don't know about everybody, but.
Yeah, good for everybody. I hope everybody makes $1 billion.
Oh, yeah, the people. I was going to say it wasn't good for the Colts at all.
We need Terry McLaurin. That's what we need.
Here?
Yeah, here. Matt Ryan.
Yeah.
That's exactly who Matt
Bring
Ryan
Terry
is.
home.
We got the money to pay him. He's from Indy. Great locker room guy. If we're not going to re-sign T.Y., you need like that type of leadership in that room with some young guys. Like I said, Matt Ryan, that's the type of weapon he needs, especially even if you're going to draft in this draft at the receiver position. I think Terry Mack needs to come home. We need to get him home.
Is he on the move? Is he just in that?
He wants his money.
Yeah.
He's a part of that group who,
Yeah.
1 year left on his deal. The Commanders just drafted
Jahan Dotson.
Dotson in the first round, so we need to get Terry here.
Well, wasn't Terry who's his agent? Is it Dondi? Is Tory Dondi his agent? Is Dondi the representative of all these wide receivers that are potentially on the move? Dondi's quite a dandy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dondi's a champion over there.
Dondi.
Dondi had two wide receivers traded in the first round last night. Deebo's like, hey, Tory Dondi's your fucking magic run out, pal. What's going on
Terry
over here?
McLaurin is with Exclusive Sports Group. It's an indie-based agency, so
Buddy
I
Baker.
don't think that's Dondi.
Who?
Buddy Baker.
Oh, I know that.
Buddy
That's a big
Baker.
name, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know
Indy.
they were indie based.
Yeah, Indy.
All right, shout Buddy. Go get
Thank
it.
you, buddy.
Bring him home, buddy.
Jim
Done,
knows
buddy.
Jim knows Buddy.
Oh, yeah, got to.
Jim Irsay knows Buddy.
Yeah.
Jim.
Chris.
They have dinner together every week.
Buddy and Jim?
I don't see why not.
Jimmy from the Colts.
I don't think Jimmy from the Colts got time for Buddy Baker. No offense, Buddy Baker. I think Jim Irsay's got a lot of living to do. He's got his band. He's got his museum.
Right.
He's got his golf.
Right.
Did you see that photo of him last night? He fucking
Oh
looks
my
so
God.
cool right now.
Crushing it.
Did you see
Where
that?
was he? No, where was he last night?
See, I don't know when the photo was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, is that photo from recent? Have we done any research on that?
Not sure.
Mid
Didn't see
has
him in the
no
war
idea.
room.
He looked unbelievable. This photo of him,
Shades.
Holy shit.
he had like blue light glasses on that were blue and round. Look at this.
Boom.
Okay, Jim.
That's what I'm saying. He looks fucking very good if that's him right now.
It's probably not right now.
How do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, he looks great, but
Who the hell are you to say?
Is that his
I'm just
profile?
saying with how it's set up.
This is from yesterday.
There we go.
What is that? What is
Oh, eh.
So it could have been.
Go back.
Just his hair's a little longer here. That's what I'm saying. It's shorter
suit,
there.
different suit, different suit.
Might have been the
Still
day
blue
suit.
though, because he's a Colt owner. Go back to yesterday. Zoom in. Oh yeah, what did he tweet? Oh, we thinking about making a move? I like that they're trolling. I like
Yeah.
it. Hey, by the way, I think he's joining us on the show on Monday. Oh. I mean, that just came out of nowhere. Probably should have made bigger news for that. Yeah, I got a text last night from boom. Yeah, Jim Irsay's coming on the show Monday.
Let's go.
Nice. Go,
Look at
Jim.
Ballard's
like
arms
those
and
legs.
vascularity.
Yeah, Chris Ballard's, you know,
He's
Oh,
jacked.
yeah. Shredded.
he is.
Him and Belichick probably the two most ripped GMs in the league.
Well, Belichick's doing squats. We saw him.
Yeah.
Yep, and benching in his garage.
Ballard's doing it, I think, all day, every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim's coming on the show on Monday. I completely forget. They watched the show, I guess, in the
war room.
Yeah. I don't know if Jim was in the war room the entire night or if Jim was just watching it wherever he was or he had somebody carrying a phone around, which would be awesome.
That war room, too. There, I mean, when
They
Ballard
needed
showed
us.
the room,
Oh, yeah, they needed juice.
They were not.
They got some picks tonight. Let's see what they do.
There you go.
This is where he hits, I feel.
Yeah.
Like. This is where, if you think about Darius Leonard and
Julian Blackman.
Naeem Hines, and this is where Chris
fucking Jonathan Taylor.
He finds great value in these picks, and he's like very confident in it almost. He is too patient in my eyes. Like he needs to fucking,
Yeah, go get Julio.
Jarvis.
Odell's
out there. He's gonna get healthy. Did you see his closet?
Andy said.
Hey, did you see that fucking guy's closet?
Odell?
Yeah.
That was
Unbelievable.
Yeah, that was a dope ass.
How do you even go? Who do you talk to? Do you talk to like a mall? You go to a mall and say, "Excuse me, I need this store in my house." Like
That was house in Cleveland?
Yes. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah.
The lighting, the structure, the setup,
the chairs with the ottoman. It was fire.
He has a store in
That
his
was fire.
house. It was unbelievable. I don't know who you go to. AJ,
Laura Hawk.
Yeah, I was about to say that's like what your wife does, I guess. I'm for the high
I
end.
haven't seen Odell, but she's definitely done some closets for athletes that were awesome. And my wife's like, okay, this is cool. Now where is your wife or girlfriend gonna put her stuff? I'm like, oh, don't worry about that.
Whoa, Odell's not doing that. Odell's a romantic. Odell has.
Joke, guys, settle down.
No, well, I'm sure there's
What's wrong with having
Is
your
this a
own
Foot
closet?
Locker?
That's what we said. Yes, that's what we're talking about. That's his fucking closet in his house. $3.3 million. By the
Wait,
way.
he did this in Cleveland?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Look at
Sneaky ping pong
That
table
was
there.
that was the part that surprised me.
Yeah, I do see a ping pong table there in the back room, and I would assume that it is a higher ceiling than in this particular room.
Is this the
Skateboards up
basement?
there or
What's that, pal?
skateboards or?
Yeah, I think it looks like skateboard. Who's
Yeah, it looks
is
like
Tony
a
Hawks?
Yeah, Birdhouse. Bob Burnquist? No, Tony Hawk's boards are from Birdhouse.
So the reason how Odell got these boards is Tony Hawk was actually doing his do a kickflip tour.
Yep.
In Ohio, and Odell was gaming it. So like because Tony used to pull up to random corners and just say to whatever skater it was, "Hey, do a kickflip." And if they did a kickflip, he would literally pull a board out of the back.
Yep.
Odell met him at every corner that he was at in Cleveland. He put on a different hat and just fucking kickflipped.
Got
his
like
way.
25 boards from him.
Yeah, straight from Tony
You know
Hawk.
those chairs are comfy?
No.
I don't know.
Maybe depending on how tall you are.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
What do you think they're made out of?
Gator.
Fucking leather.
is that fucking?
Ostrich.
Is that croc?
Looks like
Is that boa?
it's like Cayman croc.
Could be, Bo.
That's Gator tails. Right
That's
there.
Gator.
Oh, they got a little Cayman in there.
Oh.
I need Cayman croc chairs so I can look at my goddamn shoes.
What's that one piece of art?
Look at the different lighting on each.
believe it's
fucking
Is he selling this or what?
Yes,
Taylor
3.3
Swift?
million or something like that. Look at the different lighting on each shelf of the goddamn shoe rack.
Does it go by color as well?
I mean, that's easy. You could do that yourself, though.
I know,
There's
but
nice LEDs at Walgreens.
I understand you could do that, but who's actually doing it?
That's a lot of wiring.
Are you doing that?
I have it on my TV. Yeah.
Whoa.
People,
Your
those
TV,
LEDs are
okay.
huge now.
Shout out to your TV. 80 inches? You're living well? You got an 80-inch TV?
Yep.
What is that? That's a fucking 4,000 square foot area. You think that's no problem? Just ping, tum, tum,
You
tum.
stick it up there. It's adhesive. You do it. My daughter has it in her room.
So maybe I could do this.
Jeez, your
You
daughter
could
has a big
absolutely do
room.
it. We could do it to your desk. It'd look pretty sweet.
Probably looks even more
Actually,
dope with the
your
lights
desk
are
does
off.
have
I was going to say, doesn't it do that down there?
We do have it.
Oh, yeah, that's
we
right.
do have these in the bottom of the stage.
Forgot all about that.
That was a big piece that was added.
Oh, there they go.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
Turn the lights on.
Nice little blue hue.
Turn it. We have no cameras to show it. There it is.
Yeah, there you go.
You can change that color, though. Can't you change that color?
Oh,
Yeah, there it is.
Dang.
Oh, yeah.
Looks sweet.
That had to be there.
Hey, Odell, come to Indy. Check it out.
feels like
Oh, here we go. Welcome to First Round Fallout Feel Good Friday. We were a night show there for a second. That was pretty cool.
You think that's good for resale in Cleveland?
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
I assume Amari Cooper.
If LeBron comes back,
sliding right in.
yeah, you got to trade that house with Amari. You got to trade houses.
Yeah. Easy.
Maybe
Someone
Deshaun
from the
Watson.
Guardians
Just
will
get
buy it.
Deshaun.
Deshaun Watson probably got a lot of shoes.
$230 million. He's getting more than $3.3 million house.
That's all. Yeah.
Ohio money goes a long way. That was $3.3 million, that house.
Yeah, I mean.
What did LeBron have? He had like a $30 million house. Didn't he in Cleveland or something like that?
Built like a whole cul-de-sac. He built his house.
Ohio.
Yeah.
Indiana, Ohio. People are like, Pat, why are you in Indiana still? It's like, I got like 2 episodes of Cribs Houses at this place. I couldn't do that anywhere else ever. Like it is, the money goes a long way. That house in L.A., it's like $50 million.
Yeah, it's absurd. And I mean, you just mentioned Deshaun's contract. He's going to be able to get like an AJ Hawk-sized house.
Yes,
which is saying.
Why would he do that in Cleveland though? You don't do that for your like forever home.
So that's what I'm saying about Odell here. Like Odell was planning on staying in Cleveland. It looked like he really.
The fact that he even
invested.
bought a place in Cleveland.
He moved all his shoes there.
Yeah. Takes a lot of time.
He was only on his second year of his deal, right?
Yeah. He was planning on staying, and then his dad was like, "We can't do it. This fucking guy doesn't even look at you."
And then he won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, Baker.
Hey, that's your guy. Darius has gone on numerous networks now and been the guy for Baker.
Top 10 quarterback.
What were you on? You were on Fox?
Yeah, top 10.
He was on Fox.
To start a franchise with. He's a starter.
You were on there with Acho and I think
Joy.
Acho and Joy. And the thing was like, Baker Mayfield's on the move. And you were like, whoever gets him in a Super Bowl immediately. Wow. And then you were on with Jim Rome. I think same thing.
Yep.
Like, hey, what are your thoughts? What is your thought on Baker Mayfield? You're like, thank you for asking. I'm actually the authority on Baker Mayfield. I've watched film on Baker Mayfield so much. This guy, top 6, top 7, you put him in the right position. And then on this show, you did too.
Media spins it. And I knew it was spun when Orlovsky hit me. It was like, hey, welcome to the club. But no, not in that, I'm not in whatever club that is. Baker. I think Dan said he was more as accurate as a quarterback as Drew Brees that he's seen. But Baker's a starting quarterback. Top 20, 25. So I think... especially only one going in the draft last night in the first round. I think he'll get a job starting opening week.
Dan Orlovsky, you went to college with him.
Yep.
Friend of ours. Friend of ours.
Well,
yeah. Friend of.
Whoa. Friend of most of us.
What the fuck?
What's that all about? You shaved your mustache, now you're a fucking asshole?
Yeah,
Dan Orlovsky's coming out and saying a lot of stuff about the Patriots. Last year, they had a top 5 offense. This year, he doesn't think they're going to make the playoffs. I mean, this guy flips and flops like a fish.
Well, it's a
new season.
As information is unfolding, remember, he said Mac Jones is in the scariest situation in all of the NFL because he doesn't have a consistent voice in his ear. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, he's worried about the Patriots.
Yeah, and then Rob Ninkovich comes on and says, who's better to learn about NFL defenses than Bill Belichick? And I think that makes a lot more sense than what Dan Orlovsky's spinning. But hey, this guy also said Carson Wentz is a top 5 quarterback.
All right, okay.
He did.
But
he was in the MVP conversation after the trade.
Dan Orlovsky steps in the batter's box on every single topic.
Has to.
Okay, he steps in, and he's not just watching the ball go by. No. He's taking fucking hacks at everything. Mm-hmm. This is your guy. You went to school with him. You
Did he have any reaction on the draft last night? Any teams?
Yeah, he said the Giants.
Said the Lions are going to be a problem.
Yeah, for the Packers.
Hell yeah. I believe he said.
Hell yeah.
There you go, Abby.
Hell yeah. Foxy in the back. The Giants, I think he said, had the greatest draft he's ever seen.
Something like that. History of the league.
And then if it was,
since they drafted
Lawrence Taylor. Yep.
That's what it was. That's right.
What's your problem? Why are you laughing like that?
I mean, he's on TV every day, man. I guess that's what you got to do. Yeah. So,
hey, our friend Dan has made fucking quite a name for himself.
Yeah. Has talks about everything.
He's
the authority of quarterback.
He is
a quarterback.
He was right about Stafford.
Bro, he stands in the paint though.
Got to.
Like he stands. He is always right underneath the hoop. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I respect that.
He says, "Oh, this is the greatest of all time." So in doing that, he's just stepping right under the hoop with his feet still moving. Mm-hmm. So there's no charge coming, but everybody just comes on his head, basically. Boom, boom, boom. And then guess what Dan Orlovsky does? He fucking gets right back in.
Damn right.
This guy.
AJ.
Come on. Go on.
Get your head out of the freaking gutter, buddy.
Okay, guys. You don't think any of the fans of this program were thinking the same thing?
No. Not until you. Oh, geez.
Yeah. All right.
This coming off the Austin Theory situation, like, I just don't want it to be a habit.
Theory.
So
it's theory, buddy.
I beat the Austin off him, all right? So anyways, he's going, every day, though, he's going right back under the hoop, shuffling his feet and getting yammed on.
Yeah.
Okay, he's getting yammed on.
Directly all over him.
Has he always been like this? Is this what Orlovsky's always been like? Just come on.
Hey, he's a confident guy. He watches the film. And like I said, you're on TV every day. You got to go out there. You got to put your neck out there, man.
Do you respect the film study that he does? I feel like you do some of the best film study on the internet. And Dan started out as a very bland film guy on the internet.
Here this guy is.
His first cup, no, that's not what he sounded like at all. I don't know what this is all about. Honestly, I don't know what this is all about with Orlovsky.
You got some real Dan beef over there.
It felt like it didn't. It really
He was
didn't.
informative.
Yeah, his first couple, though, when he was first getting into it, he was great.
Oh, yeah.
He was great immediately, but there was just...
Put you to sleep.
Yeah, it was a snoozer, though, the entire time. Then he kind of became... and he is very good at what he does, but now he is Dan Orlovsky. So, like, everything Dan Orlovsky says is going to get attacked.
I really love when him and Ryan Clark are up there together. And they're talking about the offensive perspective, the defensive perspective. But yeah, that's how he got in. Actually, throwing the videos up on Twitter, and then execs and people paid attention to it. But once you get on TV and you got to do it every day, and you got to have these takes, especially on these different networks. You got to come with some shit every day. So
I don't know. We're live every single day.
Yeah.
It's different.
We just fuck around.
We do. Well, we give our takes though.
Oh, yeah. True.
We give our takes.
Yeah. Cole Strange, Hall of Famer.
Okay, that's one of them.
Boom.
Fair.
Was he gonna wear this in the NFL?
Yeah,
got to.
You're goddamn right. He's gonna wear that.
Hey, what got you to the dance? You know what I mean? Not being able to see a portion of the field that everybody else can see.
Yeah. Look at him.
Science.
Absolute stud.
Doctor?
Yeah. He's a doctor of fucking kicking ass.
What?
And being nasty.
This guy's a doctor?
Doctor of fucking football, yeah.
University of Tennessee at Chattanooga's handing out doctorates? What is he a doctor of?
PhD in pancake blocking.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
He's not an actual doctor, no.
Yes, he is.
Why do we fucking toss a doctor in front of this guy?
Because his last name's Strange. It's a Marvel comic thing.
Go on.
You don't know
Doctor Strange.
You don't know what Doctor Strange is.
Of course.
What does Dr. Strange do?
Fucking
everything.
Defensive lineman for breakfast.
So, Doctor Strange is in Marvel. Was that in the movie that I watched where they all battled against each other?
Yeah. Actually, he was the guy that created all those. Oh, no.
Oh, he had the lasso?
Bingo.
That was the travel
Yeah,
thing?
and he was like glitching, looking at all the time scenarios. That's what Doctor Strange does on fucking running past
He might have
blocks.
one of the time stones.
Yeah, he does.
He's a pretty important piece of that.
Very, just like Cole Strange.
Oh.
So Dr. Cole Strange.
Doctor Strange is our guy.
Teleporting around.
Exactly. Into the secondary, fucking busting open holes.
He did a lot of recruiting, didn't he? That guy that was fucking throwing the lasso time portal thing around?
Yeah. He was getting everyone together just like he's going to get the whole offensive line together.
He was just popping into people's fucking days. They're just walking around and boom, the guy with the lasso travel portal thing's here. And hey, I need to come try to kill yourself.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Doctor Strange in the secondary, blocking safeties and linebackers.
Thank you. That's what this show brings.
That's right.
That's the type of stuff you can't hear anywhere else.
Bingo.
These will be counted before Wednesday.
Hell yeah.
Winter Wednesday, all the winners will be announced from the Draft Spectacular. D-Bud, how many are in here?
1,578.
Oh,
that's a good guess.
Is there a reason you went with 78, not 77? Did you see one late?
I just like even numbers.
Yeah.
God damn, that looks good.
Yeah.
There's been a couple times today.
Should we eat them all and count them?
Yeah, someone going to eat them?
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Like, if I eat
Might be
one
way
right
too much.
now, we have to write that down as a +1?
Starts as 1.
Because people were guessing last night with this.
Correct.
Still.
That amount.
We should divvy them up and just all eat them and count how many we all
Who
eat.
poured them in? Anybody got like a ballpark or just no clue? Nobody has a clue.
I poured them in.
So you got a ball, if it's like over
What's the range?
1,000.
Yeah, don't be.
I just
not giving anything away. I actually
Between
did the
what?
math,
Between
so-
800 and 1,500?
You and AJ both. Listen to AJ right now. AJ's trying to win this thing. Actually.
Yeah.
Like he will tweet out the
not?
like what he. Okay,
Bill,
you too.
Bill, put that tweet out for me, Bill.
All right, Bill. Bill's in your basement. All right, get him out. This thing can't close though.
He's behind you.
Because of how much is. It's a big bin.
Huge.
That is.
It weighs a lot too.
Hey, you might want to tape that top on there because you know that's going to fall and spill.
It's not. This thing is
Okay.
sturdy.
Yeah. You don't know
Yeah,
shit.
well, it'll make it to Wednesday.
It will. What do we?
What's your fucking deal?
How many were in the water bottle last year?
Well,
It is.
I believe
That
like
thing,
178.
It's pretty heavy.
That thing fucking crushed someone's
Oh,
skull.
that's not 1,500. Then. If it was only 178 in a bottle.
You don't know that though. I don't know that.
178 in a bottle. What are we even talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, in the Gatorade bottle. Is that what it was?
It was around there because I remember it wasn't filled up all the way. If
Yeah, it was 3/4 filled, and it was
dissolved from the water.
there's water in there, so we had to count it.
What size
sticking to
Gatorade
our
bottle?
fingers.
32 ounce?
I'm not
32.
telling. Okay.
Oh, you're right, D-Butt.
Yeah, there's no way.
What's that?
We're
The
too
number
high.
is way too high.
I'm going
It's got to be under 1,000.
1,157.
794.
Wrong.
I think that's close.
That's not right. You guys are completely wrong.
Hey,
I
did
think
you
I
guys
just hit it.
Pat, did you know the Poopy's got his hand bitten off by a shark a couple months back? or a couple years ago.
Who?
Poopies, our guy from Jackass.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, you will know Poopies. Poopies might be the dumbest human ever. He's entertaining though. They found another dumb white to go ahead out there.
It's all a bit. It's a bit.
No way. No way.
Either way, he's a star.
Jackass will be able to do that forever. It feels like just find some
Poopies.
Poopies is a star.
No, there's no more Poopies hanging around. There's only one Poopies on the earth.
Have you seen Jackass? Were you ever into the Jackass?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, they're not still doing it.
There's another one. They have a next generation of them, and one of them's name is Poopies, and he is a treat. Poopies is a treat.
Let's go.
It's a long run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they're 20 years after the first Jackass.
Yeah.
Or the last Jackass. I forget.
First one, I think.
First
First movie came out in 2002.
They're going. A lot of dick.
Impressive.
There's Poopies.
That's Poopies.
That's Poopies right there.
Poopies.
Weapons.
What you're thinking of Poopies right now, times it by 10.
He got his hand bit off by a shark.
I don't know if that's true. I don't think that was
during Shark Week. Yeah, I saw the whole thing. This happened before the Jackass movie, like 2 years ago.
This is how Poopies was probably introduced to Jermaine to come to Jackass.
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
He was swarmed by sharks. It was serious. They had to rush him in, and his hand was hanging and everything.
Isn't that kind? There's Poopies getting bit by a snake for like the fourth time. It's like the fourth time they did this because he couldn't get the shot. They said couldn't get the shot. Line him back up. They're just fucking with Poopies, and Poopies just man, I thought we get it. You know, we did the whole thing. Shark Week though, if Poopies came in and saved Shark Week, that'd be awesome. Because for 10 years, all Shark Week was. A different group of whites would get into shark-infested waters every 30 minutes, and we'd be watching to see if they get fucking bit. It was always during training camp. I had nothing else to do. Everybody's in meetings. I'm watching this. Nobody ever got bit. Sometimes didn't even see a fucking shark. Mm-hmm. We really thought there'd be a great white here, even though they all have trackers on them. Apparently, they're not even in the area. We'll be back tomorrow. It's like, you're wasting our time. We know you guys aren't going to get bit. Poopies went in there and just got fucking bit, you're saying?
Yeah, they chummed the water a bunch, and then they took him. He was being towed from a jet ski over a ramp with a wakeboard on, and as soon as he went in, boom, bit his hand, and then they're trying to get him out, and there's sharks everywhere, and he couldn't get the wakeboard off. It's pretty serious.
Man, I did not know Shark Week had a fastball. What the fuck? I did not know Shark Week had a fastball.
Yeah, I assumed everyone knew.
Oh, yeah. Shark Week fucking stinks. I haven't seen the Poopy segment yet. I'll look into it, but Shark Week is the most overrated.
Yeah, I don't watch it.
I've gotten to the point where I'm angry at it.
Oh yeah, I haven't watched Shark Week in years.
That's a photo of it.
First 5-6 Shark Weeks, so awesome, and then you learn, I'm being conned. This ain't Shark Week.
Yeah.
This is swim in water.
Right.
Unfortunately,
that's what this is.
It does look like he bit his thumb off the shark.
Oh, that's no big deal.
Poopy gives everything a good 9 out of 10. What do you got?
I got a shark cage before.
Where, Bahamas?
Bimini.
Yeah, wow. I think I've been. Yeah.
Bull sharks.
Did you have the thing over your head, like the spaceship thing?
No, I just got in the. It was like a cage, and you had obviously where people video.
How'd you breathe?
Scuba stuff.
I just go under there.
Oh, so you had the snorkel or no? You just went free dive in there.
Do we have a snorkel?
It
was like a deep one.
I had
no. Go back up.
I had that.
We literally came walked into this little cage, jumped in. You go under, and they throw the chum in there, and they come in, they get shit.
You touch one?
Hell no, fuck no.
Yeah, they probably told you directly, do not touch one of these sharks.
They were throwing the shit. I had to, throwing it too. They were, trying to be funny, throw it right at the cage. And you got this space where, they record, and you kind of floating a little bit, so, you get a little. That shit was scary.
You never do it again?
I'll do it again. It was fun.
Okay, so you would dive back in there, chum the water up a little bit more. Let's go ahead and dance.
Just throw it a little out there, just get them close.
Oh, you want to see it, not feel it.
Yeah, I don't want the chum to, actually get in the fucking cage.
I went down to the Bahamas. I had they have one where you go out in the ocean, I think, too, in the Bahamas. Yeah. They have a bunch of shark shit. I had the one where you put on that space head, and it gives you air, and you can kind of swim around, basically. And it was
if you go out, I got a guy who'll take you down there with some hammerheads.
Oh.
He does it every day.
Does he feed them beforehand so they're happy so they don't bite me?
No clue.
Do they give them drugs and kind of calm them down? What do they do?
No, man. They're comfortable out there, though.
What's that, AJ?
They got them all. They find all the sharks. They give them Xanax.
That's awesome.
You got to wear a chain link.
Yep. They come open up like an old folks home or a psychiatric hospital. Hey, take your meds, guys. And they open up and they throw it in their mouth.
That's sick.
That's awesome. I would assume if they were.
They did not do that for Poopies, unfortunately.
No. Hey, one of those sharks missed the daily pill. At least one. Seemed like
what happens.
All right, let's get out of here. What a week.
What a week. What an incredible week.
Good week.
A lot of M&Ms. I will tell you, I was trying to count this here while you guys were talking, just this one row here.
And you can multiply.
I was going to think about doing it, but these peanut M&Ms are so fucked up shaped.
Yeah.
There's no real rhyme or reason in it.
No, it doesn't stack evenly.
What's their problem?
Well,
all right.
They're coming in.
That's 24 grit.
A little smooth.
They're feathering the edge now.
Yeah, a little smooth. A little work. Thanks, everybody, for their hard work. Thank you to Rapoport. Thanks to Schrags. Thanks to Glazer stopping by.
Thank you, Glaze.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks to Deebo coming in the studio. Appreciate you, man. AJ, great week. Boys, great week. Incredible week. Enjoy the weekend, huh? We got SmackDown tonight.
Hell yeah. Hey, enjoy it.
Hammer Down's in 15 minutes.
Hell yeah.
Dahn.
YouTube.com/Hammer. You all were the best. Winners will be announced on Wednesday for the PMS Draft Spectacular. Bruce got to go to work. Let's
go.
I'm the one that did all the work. I don't know how much you were in the original things that I was dumping out.
No.
I don't even know what the estimation is, so I couldn't even tell you.
I have a rough estimate.
1,058.
Final?
Yep.
Final?
888.
758, you said, or something?
794.
777.
969.
Actually, pick it now. 888. Wait, maybe Mitch. 2.
Shut up. It's 639.
6.
Yeah, I was going to say 624.
Z?
2100.
Okay. Price is Right rules will be in effect here.
Yeah, smart.
Okay. Closest without going over. Gumpy?
907.
All right, give me $1.
Wow.
1,078. 1,078.
No, 1. I'm just taking 1.
Don't box
Oh,
me in.
lightest one. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm going 1 because it is Price is Right rules.
True. So if everyone's over, you win.
Yeah. But you said 600?
Yep.
Why'd you do that? I wanted to do the one
You
thing.
boxed you.
Yeah, I'm 624. I'm screwed now.
1,007.
Well, I got it right on the button, so I did the math.
Can I go? Can I have 2?
No.
Sure.
a
What's your
joke
second
to
one
you?
you want?
2.
You're a terrible guy. I don't have 1 anymore. I'm not a part of it because that would be rude if I was part
True.
of it.
And if you might win. If
In,
there's
in this room, if somebody's closest without going over, what are they winning?
You could
all the
eat
prizes.
them all. You could eat them all.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, we'll ship them to you guys. You were pretty locked in. You've been counting this thing. I don't know.
Doing the circumference.
Exactly. Do the
Yeah, but is
volume.
this
thing.
I'm
false-
sure you can find online. You can figure this
times
out.
Width times height.
Pythagorean?
That's
Volume.
Yeah, the volume. That's what you're looking
Doesn't
for.
matter though, because like you said, all of the
They're-
fucking M&Ms are shaped differently.
Bro, look at this one.
What?
This one.
Whoa.
Look at this one. Look at how tiny this one is.
Yeah.
And then look at this big son of a bitch.
Yeah, it might have 2 peanuts in there.
You know what I mean?
Might be
too
closer.
Big difference. You know?
That's only 2, huh?
Jesus.
And then look at this one. This is 1. This is not 2. This is 1.
Some of them, yeah, that has 2 peanuts in it though. That may
Doesn't
be 2.
matter. Nope. Doesn't matter.
And then this one is the same. You know? So, like, I don't know how.
It's tough. 969, I think, is the one.
All right, good luck to everybody.
I already won.
Grand champion prize of $15,000 for one that watched me last night. Thank you to everybody. Have a great weekend. You are the best. Bye. See you Monday. See you, AJ. Have a good weekend, AJ.
See ya.
Thanks. You too.
All right.